yesterday. So both these teams pretty even. It's going to be very interesting because when we did see, like I say, Nerf Voidstone against SX6 yesterday, it ended up being a very tight first cap. So this first cap could end up being very instrumental to who ends up winning this one.
Okay, we'll have to see how this one goes. Right now, so at the beginning of the game, it's kind of curious to see where the tanks are going, where the rogues are going. Are they going to hold a rogue back and try to defend as much as possible? I think it's really important that these Demon Hunters get a good spectral sight out, because if they can deny a sap from the rogue, it'll allow their Demon Hunter to escape quite easily and pick up the flag quickly.
It kind of removes. Yeah, we'll have to be watching for that. Looks like Milk's actually being caught out a little bit here. The kidney shot comes in on him. They're forcing out a fair few of his cooldowns already. Getting Death Grip back, low on health. Datacus caught up in a Hex into a blind. Life Cocoon forced out early. Good start from Nerf Voidstone, already forcing major defensives, not only from Milk, but also from his healers. Now the Ring of Peace to try and deny him further, but I think he was already Death Grip, so he should be on DR to the Nox right now and able to just walk his way up the tunnel. Of course, catching the Vengeance Demon Hunter is the biggest part of actually killing them. Once you've caught them, it seems like they're more squishy than the Guardian Druids perhaps, so Milk having to burn through a lot of his utility there, but importantly he does hold on to his trinkets, so he doesn't have to be too scared of a smoke bomb play or anything like that.
And here's the thing though, Venom's managed to get a triple sap on Falir, so Falir still hasn't even crossed the midfield at this point. If they can keep the snares up on him and Milkman can get to midfield, he might be actually get this quick cap. It's just a matter of if Team Datacus can continue the snares, potentially get a Death Grip if Solomon can get there, but it looks like he's just really far away. And I think ultimately Falir will be able to leap away and pick up the flag, but he's still in dangerous territory. Venom's going to be chasing him down. It'll be interesting to see how exactly that pursuit works out.
Yeah, it actually could end up working out really nicely for them. If they're able to cap him, I mean, he's going to get the flag, right? Like, there's no chance they get the fast cap, but maybe they can pin Falarix down in their base and get a 6-man convergence on him. That's what they're playing for right now. Venom's is trying to get there. I'm not sure if he's quite going to have the mobility, though. It looks like he hasn't guessed which way Falarix has gone, or I guess Falarix has guessed the right way. They're getting really close to each other. Is he going to be able to get the sap? Doesn't look like he was able to. I think combat from Dean's DH was established. We see the kidney shot now. He's kind of on his own here. An Incap is going to force the trinket on High Druid, who was there to support him. I think they're most likely going to be fine here, but they've got to be careful because their team is very split right now. It looks like Falarix, though, with that Demon Hunter mobility, just able to kind of leap away in the situation.
Yeah, it looks like he will be able to get away, and that's one of the main strengths of that Vengeance Demon Hunter Milkman right now. For Team Datacus will be sitting in his base completely fine. So Reeves looks to be the offensive druid who wants to try to make a play. If he can force a healer back, that's going to be big for this team fight capability, because in the midfield right now, it is a 5v5 battle. So Reeves making his way, Milkman completely isolated at this point, and it actually looks like Falarix, he gets away completely fine. If they can get this pick on Seal, though, it's going to be really big. He's caught into the midfield, kidney shot Solomon, he's just going to be trying to run away, connecting to this Shaman. Vlad needs to get some heals, he gets caught into a bash, really good crowd control. Still really important if they can get this pick. Seal's just barely holding on, asphyxiate stun, Solomon trying to pick him off, but I think ultimately he will survive. Vlad gets out of crowd control, and Seal's going to be completely good.
Yeah, it's the DKs on this map seem really useful, like with all the slows combined with the mobility, the high mobility from the tanks and the healers. The Death Knights are really annoying when it comes to catching people, and if I remember right, I think SX6, the one map they dropped yesterday, was actually on Warsong Gulch, right? And it was the game where Oz decided to play his Elemental rather than his Death Knight. Yep. So the only time they lost was when they actually didn't run the Death Knight, and we're seeing like all of these teams are reverting to that kind of Death Knight Rogue plus X DPS combination. It seems really, really good. Falarix now taking a little bit of damage in home base. His healers are connecting to him, but there's good crowd control. Venom's all over them with the cheap shots. The kick now on Falarix. Hibernate comes out into Wild. Looks like Falarix, though, hiding away. Healers out of crowd control. Should be able to land some heals. Trinkets being forced out. The Demon Hunters also have like a lot of crowd control, which helps keep them alive as well. So lots of tools at their disposal, but still huge pressure from Datacus' team.
Yeah, big pressure. Falarix could fall. He's in a kidney shot. He trinkets out. Spirit Link gets dropped. That will keep him alive. But now Milkman could be in some trouble. Seal chasing him down. Lands a full kidney shot. Corlick is there, but it's a 2v2. It's between Corlick and Milkman. And the offense, Venoms. Pushing in right now, trying to take him down, but ultimately Falrix does fall in that exchange. Milkman sitting on the flag node will get the first point. And we do know, ladies and gentlemen, that there is an audio issue. We are working diligently to fix it as soon as possible for all you lovely people.
Yeah, an audio issue for us and a tank death issue for Team Nerf Voidstone at this point. Falrix does end up falling there on the Demon Hunter. And I mean, that's really surprising, honestly, because we were commending these guys on how well they played the first, good 10 minutes or so of their series against OX6. But here they end up falling really fast, and they actually were playing the defensive strategy as well. They had the double healer in defense, and I'm really surprised that the tank fell, because he can only have had a couple of stacks. It was only 3 or so minutes into him having the flag, so maybe he had like 4 or 5 stacks. So that was a really fast kill coming out of Datacus' team. Clearly they're out to prove themselves after that narrow defeat to Bailamos yesterday.
Well, I think one of the things that's really, really important is the consistent DPS that they're bringing. You have the Assassination Rogue, you have the Unholy Death Knight, you have the Havoc Demon Hunter. These classes do a lot of burst damage, and if you can have them all on offense, consistently doing damage to the tank, not only is it difficult for him to get away, but it's really hard for the healers to keep up. They have to spam out heals with that additional damage debuff. And I think that's why I like this melee cleave setup so much, is because it just puts out so much pressure. You can have that offense, and it seems really difficult to deal with. I mean, there's no mage that's controlling them. There's not too much crowd control. It's just raw damage. Yeah,
and I mean, that's really what we've seen. I'm just having like a little look at the talents. I'm curious if there's anything in particular between the two Demon Hunters. It looks like, honestly, Datacus' team has just been kind of walking away with this one. I'm not sure if it's 100% true on the on the Observer clan. It's the right way around. They have Cerise stone down, Seals falling down right now, Trinkets forced out on every single member of Nerf Voidstone right now, all the significant members at least. And I mean, yeah, they might just get the cap already.
I think they're going to get it. Milkman chasing in, that's going to be 2-0. Really nice job by Milkman as well as Korlek. One of the things I've noticed throughout, yesterday and today is the cool kind of plays you can make as a Mistweaver Monk and a Vengeance Demon Hunter together. You have a lot of mobility, you have a lot of crowd control, a lot of zone denial with Ring of Peace, which is really good. And when you see those two classes pair well together, it's a masterpiece. Beautiful.
Yeah, some of the plays that we saw yesterday from these teams were, I mean, you could tell that they've been practicing this. A lot of these guys do play together on the ladder in the 10v10 bracket. And a lot of the things that are true in 10v10 remain true in 6v6. Like, you're still going to have these kind of 1v1, 2v2 skirmishes. Crowd control will still be impactful on a lot of these maps and the way you use it. And these guys have some really good strategies. We see Falrix getting caught up. He actually did manage to make it to the flag finally, although, of course, we do have the 2 out of 3 for Team Datacus with that quick cap. And once again, he's just getting caught up in midfield here. The Death Knight slows. Really frustrating for him and his healers. Hydroid's out of mana. Coach gets gripped in again. The Vortex as well to suck him back to the damage of these melees. The triple melee composition looks like they may well take him down here, down to 20%. Both healers struggling. Hydroid now gets kicked short. That's going to be the kill. Wild still somehow keeping them alive. Cross CC. The crowd control has actually been really incredible here from Team Datacus. I can't believe Falrix is still alive at this moment in time, leaping twice. He's so low on health. Another Maledict will connect to him. Hibernate over onto Hydroid. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it! He's actually going to pick it up. Beautifully done by Steel Rogue. Manages to pick up the flag. All hope is not lost just yet, but this is still not looking good for them. Right now, they're down 0-2. Steel Rogue just has to survive. He's trying to cut away, waiting for Falrix to once again spawn. If they can make a correct handoff, they will be able to stay in this game. Milkman positioned very far away. He's ready. He's ready to get the cap as fast as possible. Venom's going to be moving in. Korlek, Dean. This is danger time for Seal. Can he survive? Falrix, he's going to have to be quick. Nice. Ooh, a nice shadow step up top. A beautiful handoff. And they do manage to stay in it.
That was really nice. He triggered at the sap, which is a super risky play, because if he gets stunned there on his trigger, he loses. He trinkets, steps to Falrix, gets the swap, and he actually got Death Grip just after he clicked it off, so that was incredibly close, but nicely done from Steel. And I mean, it's nice to see like those little plays, keeping them in the game. It was very close to disaster time for the team there, but they will have a little chance now We're at the 10-minute mark, so halfway through the timer on this first Warsong Gulch of Championship Sunday, and they actually get a pick off on Venoms here.
That was yeah, he overstayed his welcome. Datacus just couldn't get in range to land any heals, and that was a really beautiful pick by Seal, by Ubel, and that will give them a nice little 6-5 advantage until Venoms to spawn. Cereves and Seal, once again, they're going to be pushing in, trying to take down Milkman, but Datacus is actually coming back to defend. They realize they could be in some trouble. There's a 3-man offensive push coming in. Team Datacus, they have to survive it. Venom's likely going to play defense as well. If they can clean him up, then that's their opportunity to get aggressive, push in once again. But Datacus' team, full turtle mode at this point.
Yeah, Datacus has really been one of the playmaking druids. Like, we've seen a lot of the druids just kind of sticking with the team fights. Datacus, like, whether it's for good or for bad, he's always looking for little ways. Like we saw him yesterday on Gilneas, he was peeling off, one of the first to do it in most situations. He's been playing on offense for a lot of this game. But here, they recognize they're a little bit behind. They went for the kind of all-in on Seal, going for that 3-0 cap, and then maybe got caught out a little bit. Now they're struggling. Dean's dropping low on health. Venoms has managed to reconnect with his team. They need to wipe the offense here from Nerf Voidstone. Looks like they're doing a decent job of it. Cereves ends up falling. Seal without Trinket in a full kidney shot, likely to follow. But I mean, Nerf Voidstone, all they can really do is like throw the kitchen sink at this point. They have to go for the all-in. They need 2 caps. If they were able to do it, of course, they would win based on the tie, since they would have capped more recently, but it's an uphill task to say the least.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, especially when you're playing against a veteran team like Datacus. They're going to be able to kite around, move around the map. They know their advantage. They don't have to overcommit offense. They can basically overcommit defense, which we see from Venoms. He's looking to get another pick onto Seal, and that would just completely dismantle the offense. Seal trinkets out of the kidney shot into a cheap shot. He gets caught and likely to fall in the situation. That's just going to cripple their offense even more. You need that assassination rogue to push in, land the stuns on Milkman, and they're just not going to be able to make it happen. You can see the positioning right now from Korlik and Milkman. They're going to be using sort of this gate, this giant fence near the respawn point, and it's really difficult for teams to chase them down. They can run along this gate, knock people off with Ring of Peace. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump for him to completely be safe. You see right now, Datacus team, they're actually committing an offense here. Datacus deciding he doesn't want to just play full defense. He's going to be moving in, but it could be a mistake. Milkman's actually getting really low. 2 Maledicts. He leaps away. Korlik trying desperately to keep him alive. A beautiful Ring of Peace, and this is what I'm talking about. That play will keep him alive. Korlik and Milkman pulling out miracles.
Yeah, we've seen this 4-2 split time and time again, leave the Mistweaver and the Demon Hunter on defense, whilst the other healer goes offense, and it gives them a lot of sustained pressure. But, I mean, it does run the risk, you know. Milk, as long as he can get away, Milkman, he'll always be fine. But if he gets caught up like that, you know, there's only one healer there. A little bit of crowd control can easily take him down. We can see the 4-man offense is doing work here for Team Datacus, though. Falaric's now taking damage. 2 healers left on defense. It looks like, once again, Wild and Hydroid are both trying to keep the Demon Hunter alive at this moment in time. They all have trinkets available, but the sustained pressure coming in from Datacus' team is just too much, it looks like, and Falarix does end up falling. This should be an easy 3-0. I'm not sure, did someone actually manage to pick up the flag for them? It looks like they might have, but they're going to have to reconnect with the tank once again here if they want to stand a chance.
I think they actually picked it up in the base, so we'll have to see who it is. I think it's Hydroid picked up the flag, but he's going to get shredded through. Yet, unfortunately, he's not really going to be able to heal himself up. He's just stuck in bear form, gets kidney shot. And if he falls down with that smoke bomb, that will be the game. W-Lad trying to keep him alive, but it's just so unlikely. That is going to be it. 3-0 for Team Datacus.
Actually, Elemental might be really strong on this map because the Thunderstorms obviously are one of the more, I mean, it's the best knock in the game, pretty sure. So if you can knock everyone out, land an Earth Grab Totem or something like that, it could easily flip a card.
All right, so very early on, a little bit of a difference in strategy. You can see Falir, he's just going to be moving, collecting the cart for the Horde for his team. Meanwhile, his team is sort of left in a 6 versus 5 situation, which is obviously not ideal. Really good control coming in from Venom, just completely denying Druid, High Druid, full blind sap into a full kidney shot, and he just gets deleted, erased out of the game, deemed the huge Chaos Bolt, and this is just a massive lead for Team Datacus. Likely to get lava, and then probably in a big coordinated effort make their way over to water, but it might be a little too late. Actually, yeah. Although they lost this team fight, they're not going to come out too far behind on this.
I think this is a classic hashtag Horde advantage here, because they couldn't. I think water, like, always seems to go over to the Horde side. Like we saw this yesterday as well. The Horde just seems to get water for free, basically. I mean, you can commit resources, but you're already going to be behind on this one. So I think as Alliance, your best case is just pick up lava. It caps shortly after. Obviously, the water cart was a little bit faster, so now they should have a positional advantage getting back over to this new top cart. But since they've been wiped out basically in this fight, it actually is starting to look like they might not even be able to get there because their team is just like falling one by one. They're getting the staggered res, which is probably the worst situation you can ever have in an RPG.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. Constantly a man or two behind. Venom's maybe looking for crowd control on the Seal. I don't know if he's going to be able to find it just yet. It looks like they're just focusing on the card, getting another pick. So now that Seal res, that's when he killed W-Lad. And it's just this situation where if Seal moves in now, I actually think they're only playing one healer, by the way.
So Seal's actually playing Ret right now?
Yeah, I think he's actually Retribution, so they're just playing one healer right now, which...
Yeah, that explains probably the team wipe so fast.
Yeah, it's just definitely a lot of damage. As long as they can get control onto Hydra, then I don't really know how they can win team fights.
Actually, I didn't mind their composition. If Seal was playing Holy, I actually think their composition makes a lot of sense, right? Like the Elemental combined with the DK slows, I think would have a pretty good chance of helping them flip cards fast. But obviously, with just one healer, it's going to be an uphill battle. That said, if you weren't going to have one healer, you would want it to be a Restoration Druid, since they can do, by far and away, the most throughput healing in a lot of these team fights. So if he can do a good job surviving, you know, Ret Paladins can dispel him out of the stuns if they attempt to target him. It could still work, and their damage is actually pretty legit. We see Korlik dropping low. He might actually end up falling here. Life Cocoon barely comes out. Datacus is with him, so Datacus should be able to help him heal through, use his trinket to keep him alive. But mana is actually looking really poor for both of the healers on Datacus right now. They are in the lead on both carts though, so it is still looking good for them here.
It's actually a really nice play up top. Falrex uses Illidari's Grasp and threw Dean into the water on that little bridge and managed to recap the point. That was really nicely done. Milkman's up there kind of skirmishing, but I think ultimately he will fall, and this isn't too bad, honestly. Nerf Void Stone, they're going to be taking top. They might even take water. Disastrous for Datacus.
This is crazy. They've actually wiped Datacus's team here at water. They're able to win this. So Nerf Voidstone will take a lead here. Great trade for them with this play. They're also killing Datacus slowly. I'd love to see them just not kill him. Just split the res, but they feel like they have enough time here. Both the cards are going to cap. They can regroup in center. Datacus will have a long respawn time. It's going to be a while until that healer reconnects with his team. And all of a sudden, when we were just saying like, I'm not sure about that one healer 5 DPS composition coming in, they're able to pull out the team wipe, get the double flag, which is, I mean, that's the highest value you can ever get from a wipe there. It's going to be really difficult for Datacus' team to recover this.
I mean, on paper, you'd think having 2 healers is a big benefit, and I still think it is. I mean, Hydra right now by himself is going to fall quite easily, and now you're left in a situation where you have no healer, but I mean, I still think there's a lot left to discover in sort of the 6v6 RPG meta. This is the first tournament we've ever had, and I think a lot of these teams are still trying to experiment and kind of evolve the meta, evolve the strategies. Falrex, once again, he's been doing a really good job in this match, I have to say, making sure he's quickly going and catching the off nodes. Normally we don't see tanks on this map, but I think he's been doing a good job utilizing the Vengeance Demon Hunter with that high mobility to grab some of those off carts. Seal will fall in the team fight, and it looks like Datacus' team will easily secure lava. For now, Hydra trying to support, but I just don't think they have the firepower to really push through.
Yeah, I think they need to regroup a little bit here. I mean, honestly, even if they do lose lava, if they can take water, even though it will spawn a little bit later, they do have that double cart lead right now. So I feel like the trade would still be decent for them, considering they did lose their one healer in that fight. Like, it's probably the best of a bad situation at this point. But I was just going to say, like, and I'm sure this is something you've come across as well, Elliot. It's like, one of the scariest things that can happen in a competition is playing against a team that has nothing to lose, because all the pressure's on you. And if they do even like start winning the game, you know, that's where tilt can really set in super fast, because Datacus' team's expecting to win this. Like, it's an unorthodox composition. It's an underdog team. Like, they're just playing for fun. But if they start getting momentum, it can be really hard to come back, I think.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a fair analysis. If we look at water right now, Reeves, WLAD, and Falrix, I think they will end up taking this. So they just have a numbers advantage. Datacus and Milkman are going to survive. Venoms has to get over there quickly before it turns over. I think there's enough time for him to get in the zone. Falrix has to do a really good job crowd controlling him out. Does manage to find the imprisonment. Venom's trinkets, and now he's in. It's going to be completely safe for the Alliance, and that will be a cap for Datacus. Now, the next cart that is in contention is going to be top. We'll have to see what exactly is going over there. What's going on over there? And I opened my map and blocked everything off, so I couldn't see. But you can now see once again. High Druid. I think the most difficult thing, the person who's had the most difficult time in this matchup so far has to be High Druid. Just solo healing his team. Everyone's just targeting him down, crowd controlling him. But he's been doing a good job. Does manage to survive, try to get top, but so far it is Alliance contested, which is definitely good for Team Datacus.
Yeah, High Druid definitely is having a tough time, like especially playing against like a rogue, probably the most annoying single class you can play against as a Restoration Druid. And then having the Death Knight, obviously the threat from deadlock, it's just like a really intimidating task for High Druid here. Actually, an interesting strategy might have been if they just run the Mana Rift on Milk and just kept him and never killed him. That would have probably been a very sweet strategy playing against this one healer composition. But either way, it does look like Datacus' team has kind of evened up the advantage. They did manage to cap 2 flags on the previous trade. Now we do see, though, Nerf Voidstone have the advantage here on the lava cart, just how the reses went. Seal Pally does end up falling though, so it could still flip at this moment in time. Resources are being sent from Datacus.
Yep, and Reeves does end up potentially falling in this cart right now. If we look at the map, Alliance is almost going to be casting or capping the lava. I have to see. Actually, do you know how to close? I mean, I have to go ahead and cast. The technical difficulties for me.
This is a work in progress, guys. We're still this our first ever 6v6 tournament in 2019. We're still figuring out the add-on. Like we spent a couple of days of it. I'm sure you guys are seeing it on the Observer as well. But anyways, it is pretty even here. The Alliance have the 1 cap. They did actually manage to convert the top car as well. This could be really, really good for Datacus' team. They have the double card advantage. They're starting to really snowball this advantage at this moment in time. There was a moment where we really had a lot of hype for Nerf Voidstone, where they got that double cap, they got the wipe over on Datacus' team, but you know, they have a lot of experience in these rated battlegrounds. They've shored up their gameplay, and now they're just starting to cap every single card. This is starting to, I mean, this is being a one-man show at this point.
Yeah, and it's kind of, like you kind of said, I mean, when you're playing up against a team that has nothing to lose, that can be really scary because there's a lot of pressure on you, but it's also really scary to play against a team that's just running a completely unorthodox composition. 1 healer, 1 tank, 4 DPS. I mean, who really could have imagined that would be a composition that they would have to play against in this tournament? So I think their ability to add up to shows what a good team that they really are. Now that they've sort of figured it out, it's just been nonstop caps for Team Datacus. They are going to be collecting the water node right now, the central point. WLAD is going to be moving in, trying to reconnect with his team. A little bit of pressure here on the Datacus. He's the only healer. If they can take down Datacus, it's going to be huge. Corlic does manage to find the life cocoon on him and keep him alive, and I think this Alliance advantage here at center is just going to continue to unfold.
Yeah, it seems like they just figured it out. They're winning the team fights. I really like how the Death Knights are playing on this fight as well. We actually saw some really good grips coming in there from Ubel, able to grip out 2 members of Datacus' team. And, you know, they do have a lot of tools with, like I say, the Thunderstorm, the Death Grips, that they can convert these cards pretty quickly if it's an even man advantage. But the problem is that it's really hard for them to keep it even on men because they have 1 healer and their members drop quite quickly. High Druid now with the Infernals coming out. Chaos Balls, you see Deadlock on the side of your screen there with both his Dark Soul and his Infernals, but he gets killed tyranned out of the cart and on his Chaos Ball. That's probably the worst case situation, and actually Nerf Voidstone will cap this central cart. However, to the side at Lava, once again another cap for Datacus' team. They just need 1, maybe 2 more cards to win this one.
Oh, Reeves mounts up. You might be able to tag both of them. If he can tag both of these nodes, it's going to be really big for his team. Does manage to go to the top, but I don't know if that was necessarily the right choice. It's a race now between Milkman and Reeves. Who's going to tag it first? Milkman gets in, and I think Reeves made a mistake. I think it's more important. The priority should have been Lava there, but looks like he's not going to be going with that. They do manage to get it anyways. Milkman's kind of left all alone. Reeves and Falrix are going to be down at Lava. but he has a lot of reinforcements. Finally, Korlik will connect. High Druid's going to be running in. This actually isn't too bad. Both bases right now in favor of Nerf Voidstone. If they can hold this lead, it's going to be really difficult with 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice. Like the peeling off was fantastic, but at the same time, it's just the composition again, right? Like without having 2 healers, especially on a double cart map, like you're really relying on your DPS and tank, I guess, to stay alive. And this is a match of bodies. Like you need to get your bodies in the car. It flips the point. If there's less bodies for one team, it will flip towards the team that has the majority. And I mean, it's hard to keep your team alive with just the 1 healer. So they are looking like they're still going to take this lava cart, but this is a trade that Datacus' team will take every time, just because if they can keep getting top, if they can just get the off cart every single time, they're going to win really, really soon.
Yeah, this has actually happened twice in a row where we see a 6-man skirmish or a 12-man skirmish at one node where Datacus is already tagged.
Oh.
Team Datacus is tagged the other node.
Oh, they even got it as well.
That's
okay.
a disaster. Game's over at this point. They need to just race for top, but I don't think there is enough time. Top cart completely uncontested for Team Datacus, slowly going to be getting points, as well as when it finally caps, the game will be over. That was actually really well fought though by Nerf Voidstone. Got to give a big shout out to them for the dance party, as well as really making Datacus or Team Datacus work for it in this one.
Yeah, they made them sweat for a little bit there. They were definitely ahead for a short while toward the start of the game, but obviously, like, this is a veteran team playing a known composition. Datacus' team will end up winning this series 2-0, but you know what? Nerf Voidstone, they showed us their stuff. I'm glad they had some fun with it. This is the first 6v6 tournament. There will be more throughout the year. I hope to see these guys signing up again, and if their team name was a petition, I might even consider signing it. So, you know, good for them in multiple ways here. Happy to see them competing. And yeah, I mean, good series overall. Datacus' team, we expected them to advance. Looking forward to seeing how they'll continue in the tournament, because obviously yesterday, that kind of grudge match against Bailamos ended so dearly close. I think Datacus' team will have a lot of motivation to make further in this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it, but there's still a lot of competition in this one, but very well fought.
I hope.
I wonder.
Maybe he actually isn't playing him.
I feel like Crazy Eyes might be... Is he playing balance? Is he trying to tank on balance?
It doesn't show on the UI that he's playing tank, but
we'll have to see.
Time, yeah.
Alright, he might actually be Guardian. I think it might just be a but it would be. I think it would be definitely a bit of a mistake. So I think it's just a bit of a UI error here. Crazy Eyes most likely going to be playing Guardian, but I'll definitely see as the game moves forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm waiting for the Starship extension or the Twitch extension to update so we can see. And he is Guardian. He is Guardian. So we do have a tank. It's just a little thing with the UI. I think it would have been very questionable to go to Warsong Gulch without a tank to pick up the flags. So we will see that. The first team fight is initiating right now. Debbie's taking the lead as Posty's dropping low. He could be sent in the mail home. Looks like he should be able to survive though. Does have the Ascendants already traded out though. Big cooldowns being forced early on by the Debbies.
I'm really wondering what Doc is doing right now. He's just in the starter room spamming out Arcane Explosion. I think what he wants to do and what we saw from Doc on the Arcane Mage is just try to harass the tank as much as possible, but it looks like he's trying to take someone out of stealth. Potentially, you know, I love my dog, but yeah, no one's really going for the flag right now, so Doc is just fully committing for defense. Finally, Rev is going to get there, and we'll have to see this little game of cat and mouse. That Arcane Mage just spamming out Barrage with Chrono Shift is going to be able to keep up consistent snares on Rev, really slow down his ability to cross the map. And if Crazy Eyes can get back quickly, maybe they can get a quick cap, but I think it's kind of unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a lot yesterday. Doc playing this Arcane Mage, like and it really is a question of like, I mean, he's playing Arcane, he's really annoying. Is he achieving anything? That is the question, because yes, he has this very limited passive pressure, and I mean, I'm sure Rev hates him already for all the slows and snares and all of this. But if he doesn't actually get the job done of killing the enemy flag carrier, then you're losing 1 DPS in the team fights at this moment in time, and that's not going to help. Like the Venture Demon Hunter isn't going to get quick capped against. Rev's already out of the room. I think it's fair to say he has more mobility than an Arcane Mage, which is, you know, it's quite something. But it is definitely a fact in the situation. maybe the Rogue would be better suited to shutting him down. Hello, I'm nice with the kidney shot now. They actually forced both the healers trinkets already. Maybe they do have an opportunity over onto Rev.
So I don't think this is that bad. If Hello, I'm Nice and Doc can stay on top of Rev and Ding, I think this is actually a 2v2 they win. Doc's not going to die. It's unlikely Hello, I'm Nice dies. So that is a 2v2 fight they could win. It looks like they are going to be getting a little bit of help, but Ding's actually getting kited a little bit right now. Rev should make it back into his base. Crazy Eyes in the meantime, taking quite a bit of burst damage. Taxi getting crowd control into a bash. Spiritling Totem gets dropped out as well. Does manage to keep Crazy Eyes alive, but those are big cooldowns they've already traded out. And this offense coming in from the Debbys is really strong.
Yeah, the Debbie's offense, we saw it already against OX6. It's surprisingly strong in this combo, the double Druid with the Windwalker Monk. They have a lot of crowd control, and it just seems like they also have like a lot of damage. That said, the Guardian Druids are really tanky, and Taxi and Posty are both in defense. So it's double healer here. I think it is 4 members of Team Debbie's in the offense right now. They do have Scuba here as well to assist with it. So it's going to be very difficult for them to land any kills. That said, Scuba gets caught up in the kidney shot. No kills available. Looks like a big disorienting roar though from Crazy Eyes. And they do manage to get the kills. They should be able to wipe the Debbie's offense. Really nice defense coming in here from making it happen.
Well, Hello, I'm Nice. Yeah, Hello, I'm Nice came back to health. So he just kind of ditched the offensive push on a Rev. Doc, once again, the one-man army for their team, really trying to get some pressure, but it just doesn't seem to work. Crazy Eyes actually gets so low. They forced the Void Shift. That's big. Another huge cooldown. They managed to get a good pressure from Bailamos Dog as well as Spen. Can they continue the damage? They're so low on health, I think it's likely they fall. Ding finally getting there. Can he keep him alive? Oh, it gets there just a second too late. And because of that, Element Dog will fall, and I think that's just too much offense lost. Crazy Eyes should be completely fine. Now we kind of have to look towards Rev to see if he can survive this push coming in from Doc and Hello, I'm Nice.
Yeah, Ding actually committed to offense here, which means Rev, you know, I mean, maybe Scuba is back with him right now, but Scuba's going to have a real tough time catching him in the same way that Ding was able to. So even though we were spent the whole time commending yesterday Ding and Rev's synergy on this Demon Hunter Mistweaver, now they've swapped it up a little bit. They've got Scuba sitting in the defense, die on offense, and I actually think the Rogue Arcane, like whether or not it should beat the Mistweaver Vengeance is one thing, but they're definitely going to be able to beat it with the Resto Shaman. Like Scuba should never be able to connect to Rev. It's just a question of if they can get any damage as this double DPS. Scuba though, a lot of these people are running Kultiran, and the Haymaker, it seems to be really good for getting these positional advantages. We see Rev is sitting pretty on his own in his base right now. Neither the Arcane Mage nor the Rogue are able to connect over onto him. But that said, neither is Scuba, so if either of them could, they could definitely set up a one-on-one where maybe they would actually be able to burn him down over time.
Yeah, Doc still just trying to chase him down. Rev's been doing a really good job. The invisibility, Illidari's grasped. This is such good utility from the Vengeance Demon Hunter, where you can sort of channel a lockdown stun onto someone, and then you can throw them. And on the Z-axis, it's especially powerful. Rev needs to reconnect to some heals, though, quite quickly. The Arcane Mage finally doing some damage. Is this strategy going to work for Doc? He's been all over Rev the whole game. Scuba's still not in any position to really heal him up. He's been fighting around. He's getting controlled quite easily by Hello on Nice. And this is the push from Hello on Nice and Doc. Can they actually take Rev down? Scuba has to keep him alive. I think he still has a lot of cooldowns, though. The Spiritling Totem should be available. He really needs it. But a beautiful interrupt. They have the burst damage. This is danger time. Rev, he trinkets out into Smoke Bomb. Spiritling does get dropped out. And that will keep them alive, but at the expense of basically every single defensive cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, both these tanks honestly are trading left, right, and center, but I feel like Rev is the person who will end up falling first. Resto Shaman has got to be the worst healer for healing a Vengeance Demon Hunter. I really would love to see Ding come back. Full kidney shot, full blind, and the Debbies will lose the first flag. Crazy Eyes on the point, capping with that Guardian Druid. I just think that was a big blunder from the Debbies, quite frankly. Ding went into offense when Scuba died, but they needed to reverse that swap. Scuba just was not the healer who was able to keep them alive. They didn't have the Ringer piece to help with the kiting. The Resto Shaman's being kited constantly, and I mean, even if he's connecting, like Resto Shamans have some of the lowest throughput single target healing in the game. He was never going to be able to actually top Rev in any of those situations.
Well, that's just not the strength, like you said. You don't bring a Restoration Shaman for single target healing. You bring a Restoration Shaman for AoE healing, spread pressure, dealing with casters, interrupts. against the Arcane Mage, definitely not ideal in that situation, and I think that was just a huge blunder, a really big mistake from the Debbies, like you said. They need Ding and Rev, that sort of combo we saw yesterday, utilized so well together in this matchup if they want to stay alive, and you really have to give it up for making it happen, for getting that first cap.
Yeah, and you know what? Like the worst part of this now is that we've already seen that the Guardian Druid teams, if they really want to, they can just turtle super hard and go for, you know, max defense, put all your healers on defense, maybe even keep Hello I'm Nice back, just put Doc as the single offensive player. And that worked for Bailamos yesterday. Well, I mean, it tied it out, right? Like 20 minutes, Bailamos was able to stay alive. I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar strategy here. Maybe just keep Doc on offense single, and then that would force Ding to come into offense. I think like they would need to have a big 5-man offensive push if they were able to take down Crazy Eyes, because, you know, otherwise they're just going to be fighting 4v5, which is not going to be a winning fight, which might even set up an opportunity. I think the Arcane Mage could 1v1 the Demon Hunter if Ding is forced into offense. It's going to be really interesting to see how Making It Happen do execute and finish off this game, because a 1-0 advantage is already big. They take down Scuba, and they're really starting to push ahead here, Ben.
Yeah, they certainly are. Like, this is just looking like full steam ahead right now for Making It Happen. Crazy Eyes trying to cross the map. He has a Blessing of Freedom from Taxi. Will allow him to escape. I Love My Dog's going to get picked off as well. Life Cocoon finally gets traded out by Ding, and once again, we have Doc, we have Rev, and although the Arcane Mage doesn't do the most significant damage, you cannot die, and you are very annoying. Eventually, that damage adds up onto the Vengeance Demon Hunter. Rev's going to have to do a great job making sure he can kite away, especially without any healers around. Finally, Ding actually rolls back, and the iconic duo between Ding and Rev have been reconnected, reunited. I think that's just going to allow a much more solid defense for the Debbies. Yeah,
a solid defense. I don't necessarily think that Making It Happen can really win the offense. I actually wonder what would happen if they just went for a 6-man defense. Maybe it would be scary, maybe because the tank, as his stacks will stack up, will be in trouble. So I like to see that Doc is still playing the offensive side of the game right now. Looks like he's making a solo effort right now, as Hello I'm Nice is dropping low, but he's kind of sitting in the midfield. There's this little skirmish going on. It would actually be really impactful for the Debbies if they were able to win this skirmish. And because of that, Making It Happen are going to back off here. They want to make sure they don't lose any members. Losing members at this point would be big trouble, because then obviously their flag carrier would be exposed. He's not Vengeance Demon Hunter. He's not going to be able to kite quite as easily. Taxi actually is getting crowd controlled in the midfield here. He's really struggling to get back. Scuba is the person doing the damage to him. Hello I'm Nice is also caught up here. The Druids are peeling off. Camel and I Love My Dog are pushing in, trying to get a connection over onto Crazy Eyes, but Crazy Eyes has recognized that he's kiting towards his healers at the entrance to the tunnel here. Nice play. Once again, Scuba may end up getting picked off. Nice silence rogue combo. He got left behind because his Druids pushed to the enemy base to go for the kill. They left their healer behind, and once again, Making It Happen are all over that play.
This is just a complete disaster, to be honest with you. I mean, we kind of criticized Doc a little bit, but I like the Arcane Mage. Like I said, you have Doc pushing in by himself. He's forcing Ding to come back, and then all you have is a Restoration Shaman, and you have, you know, Hello I'm Nice on Rogue. You have Dark Pen. They can do these big setups with the Shadow Priest, with the Rogue, to easily take down the Restoration Shaman. It's just happened over and over. Now that Hello I'm Nice has sort of cleaned up that offense coming in from the Debbies, he has an opportunity to try to push and try to take down Rev, which is exactly how we saw Cap 1 happen. We'll have to see exactly how the Debbies decide to respond to this. Are they going to commit more to defense, try to wipe that offense? If they can take down Hello I'm Nice, it's going to be big, but looks like they're not. They're just going to allow the Rogue Mage 2v2 against the Demon Hunter Mistweaver combo in their base, and I think that's a 2v2 the Rogue Mage can easily win.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We do have this 2v2 set, but it actually looks like Hello I'm Nice has changed his mind. He's going back to defense. So this is like kind of the choice here, and you can see even Hello I'm Nice is very indecisive. He's like strafing back and forth on his mount, deciding whether he wants to go for the 2v2 4v4 or the 1v2 5v4. Where, of course, if he went to defense, that would be the more safe option in the short term. But as those stacks start to build up more and more over onto Rev and Crazy Eyes, potentially could throw them the game. Only one cap in this right now. Like, if the Debbies were able to pull it back to 1 apiece, they would have the advantage, since they would have capped more recently. Hello I'm Nice still being incredibly indecisive. He's actually decided he's just going to come back Looks like he has made his final decision at this moment in time.
He's just getting kited. Rev,
yeah.
I don't know how, but Rev just knows where he is. He's running around perfectly, getting away from him. Doc has been able to create pressure with crowd control onto Ding. Ding almost out of mana at this point. And this is it. Finally, Hello I'm Nice might be able to connect. Rev just getting solo. Doc spamming out Arcane Blast. I think Ding actually might have disconnected, unfortunately, as Doc and Hello I'm Nice look to just take Rev down.
That would be very unfortunate if it's true. And it does look like Rev is running away from him. Ding is not moving whilst not being crowd controlled, so that would be explaining why Rev is under so much passive pressure the entire time. I think Scuba might actually have to come back, but he's so far deep in enemy lines right now. They're really relying on Ding to reconnect at this moment in time. Meanwhile, Rev is doing an excellent job keeping himself alive. As soon as this rogue mage does connect onto him, though, they will end up most likely landing the kill. Meanwhile, the offense really needs to get work done for the Debbies at this moment in time. They need to take down Crazy Eyes, so Rev has a path to reconnect from Ding into the life cocoon in the nick of time. He actually, it's almost like he knew when he was going to reconnect there. They were communicating, I'm on the loading screen, I'm on the loading screen. Gets the life cocoon. They need to reconnect to each other once again, though. There's no way the Transcendence lasted through that, so Ding has to get back over to Rev. Looks like they should be able to do it, though. The hop, the skip, the jump, and meanwhile, Crazy Eyes is dropping low, Vern.
Yeah, Crazy Eyes getting low. There's the Void Shift, and keep in mind, if the Debbies cap this, they win. It's the late cap advantage. Rev running back to base, a beautiful Ring of Peace separates Ding and Rev from escaping. Doc and Hello Nice trying desperately to reconnect, but Crazy Eyes, he's the one that's in a lot of trouble, getting a huge heal once again. Spirit Link Totem gets dropped down. That's the Void Shift. That's the Spirit Link Totem. And now Crazy Eyes, it's a danger time for him. He's just tanking all of this damage. Posty Taxi, they're all grouped up, making them really susceptible to interrupts, like Solar Beam, like the interrupt from I Love My Dog if he has it. Could just be a matter of time, but a beautiful knock. Luckily, Sven had his Transcendence. He's back on target instantaneously, and he's just shredding through this bear.
Yeah,
but at the same time.
This is really back and forth. Rev's actually looking like he might die. Ding trinkets out of blind, gives him a little bit of healing. All of the healers are right now. Every single one. Rev falls first. They're trying to deny it though. The Ring of Peace. What a play! The Ring of Peace denying the cap from Sven. Ding has the flag, but he may well end up falling here. Or Ding dies on the other side of the map. Sorry. It just looks like they might be able to get it here. I think Camel has the flag now. Did they reset it? I think Crazy Eyes held it the whole time, right? So
okay.
They still have the stacks. Camel really low. That means he also can't move fast. This is if Crazy Eyes ends up falling here and Camel caps it, it's going to be incredible. But I don't know if it's going to happen. Camel is so low on health. Scuba's reconnected, giving him heals. Crazy Eyes does die. I think they don't want the reset though. The reset would be bad for them, surely. They need these stacks to stay high. They're still behind. Camel needs to somehow, someway stay alive, get the flag to Rev. They did manage to get the cross kill. Another clutch Ring of Peace from Sven. Sven has been playing out of his mind this game.
Most important moment of this game. Rev and Camel, they have to reconnect, and Rev has to grab the flag. He leaps away. Hello, I'm Nice. He's all over him. Wants to make sure there's no handoff. Beautiful Ring of Peace once again utilized by team. Rev over. Can he get the handoff? Is he going to be able to get it? Camel drops. Rev gets the flag. And now It's a slow, long walk, even for a Vengeance Demon Hunter at this point in the game. They just need snares. They need to control him. They could go for an all-in push onto Rev. It's going to be hard for him to actually get away. Dark Pen trying to sort of butter him up at this point, get him low, but everyone's supporting Rev. It's going to be a 5-man march back to their base.
I actually think this is a huge advantage for the Vengeance Demon Hunter because Guardian's main mobility is, travel form, cat form, and all of those are going to be completely reduced. Maximum movement speed outside of jumps is 100% at this moment in time because the stacks are so high. Rev is caught up in center field though. He needs to stay alive. Both his healers are pumping him with heals. Ding has got a fresh mana bar since he did end up dying in the previous fight. Repentance dispelled. He should have access to the life cocoon. I believe Scuba should also have his Spirit Link momentarily. So Rev should be able to cross the map here. And actually, Crazy Eyes is just starting to get in. Rev dropping low. He cannot afford to die here. If he dies here, it will be GG in favor of making it happen. The Ring of Peace once again coming in clutch. Rev dropping low though. Does not have any healing at this moment in time. The Dispel from Ding. Trinkets to land that into a full hex. Dispelled again. Kidney shot fall onto Rev. Will surely fall here. Hello, I'm Nice is not feeling nice today, but Mercy once again, he's still alive. I can't believe it.
He manages to escape Life Cocoon. Crazy Eyes caught in the base. If they take down Crazy Eyes, they win the game. They just have to kill Crazy Eyes. Sven doing a lot of damage. Red Crazy Eyes all alone. If they get this cap, it's going to be tied up. Advantage for the Debbies.
Oh my.
Get it. The hero. Unbelievable.
Absolutely insane, and it all starts with Sven. The ringer piece on the flag cap in the base. Crazy Eyes was not in position to land that cap, and 5 minutes later, honestly, the entire team had to work as a unit. The Debbies somehow, some way, able to pull it back one apiece. They now hold the lead, and I mean, the only chance for making it happen at this point is a speed cap, but with the Guardian Druid, I just don't see it. Like, the Guardian Druid has to cross the map in the first place, then he has to get back. It's going to be so difficult. The Debbies, absolutely fantastic once again on Warsong.
Yep, the Debbies, all they have to do, survive. All on defense. 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's so unlikely they'll be able to take down Rev at this point in the game. He just has the kite. You can see Doc trying to chase him down. It's really a race to the finish at this point. If Rev can reconnect with all his healers, he gets with Scooby, he gets with Thing, he's going to be completely fine. And I think at this point in the game, with his ability to kite, this game is pretty much over, barring a miracle. The Debbies, that was such an insane play. I really can't believe they managed to pull that off.
I can't believe. I mean, we were saying, like, this Arcane Rogue, we were commending them constantly, and I think it is deserved because they were able to win that 2v2 against Rev and Ding, who have been playing fantastically. Honestly, all of these teams have been doing a great job, but in the end, it's this double monk combo. Once again, these Ring of Pieces are so good on Warsong Gulch because in the houses, in the huts, you're just able to shut down any movement, any chase potential for the teams. We see Crazy Eyes falling again here. I think this is pretty much GG at this point. Rev's not going to die with 0 stacks. 40 seconds left on the timer. So the Debbies will most likely end up securing this one and taking a 1-0 lead. But what an absolutely incredible game from both of these teams. They're putting on a great show for us here on Championship Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you really couldn't ask for more. An interrupt on Ding, silence on Scuba, but like we kind of talked about with the mobility, with what we've seen from Rev so far, I just think it's so unlikely for him to fall in the next 18 seconds. And that means making it happen, it will end up coming down to their map pick. And we can kind of speculate on that a little bit later. But Warsong Gulch, really good job by the Debbies. I thought they lost. I really did. Like, I thought it was over, but a beautiful pickup by Camel. The swap.
Scary composition. Like, if you have a mage defending, we actually saw yesterday, we had a warlock defending, and the dual cap with 2 players in stealth is, I mean, even if you have a pet, like, you can't really do anything about that other than, you know, block off the duel, I suppose. So it's definitely still scary to have a mage defending. So I'm happy to see Hello I'm Nice playing the defense role. That said, or maybe actually Crazy Eyes is going to defend. It actually looks like they're setting up with Crazy Eyes in defense. So Hello I'm Nice will still be in the team fight, which I actually think this is the best setup. The Druid defense, which I mean, it's not ideal because he might be able to get Ninja Capped, especially since he's running that adaptation.
Yeah, Adapt seems so bad.
But the offense, I do feel like the offense they're going to have at Waterworks might make it worthwhile, because Shadow Priest Mage Rogue, I think, is one of the most scary offenses you can have.
It seems like Doc on Arcane, he just really likes to swing the numbers in his favor. So, like, he'll move away. I guess he's not really swinging the numbers in his favor, though. I mean, if he ends up just having, like, a 1v1 matchup with Revo or Camel's even defending, it does end up being even. But what we kind of mentioned, one of the problems with the adaptation, if someone goes over 2 mines and Crazy Eyes gets sapped, there goes Adapt, full blind. He's going to get Ninja Capped on really, really easily. So I think it's super risky in terms of talent selection, but we'll see how it works out. Doc, once again, he's going to be assaulting Lighthouse, forcing Camel to sort of come back and heal up Rev Rogue. And we'll have to see. I don't really see him getting a kill, but he can definitely be super annoying on that mage.
Yeah, actually, he's basically drawing 2 people by himself right now, which means there's no real offense. I can't see
Crazy
right
Eyes.
now. Is Crazy Eyes going for it? Okay.
He's going the Lighthouse. They're going to try to create a 2v2 here.
I mean, it's really risky going for that 2v2 because it means there's no one defending back in mines, and there's 2 rogues. If any can peel off, I don't know if they're going to win this 2v2 either.
I love my dog. He's just running. He wants to go ninja. He's breaking off immediately. If he can cross the water, if he can get away, they're going to be able to just steal the node immediately from making it happen.
Yeah, Dingle's going for it as well.
Oh man, what a mistake.
This is I just don't like this at all. I mean, like, the reason I was hesitating casting is just because I mean, I don't see a world where you win that 2v2 before one person goes over and caps this base. This just looks to be one of the biggest throws. Dingle has just walked across. There's so many members that could have done this. Like, I Love My Dog was going to get there. Dingle was going to get there. They even end up losing the 2v2, Elliot. It's just like, that was a crazy misplay, surely.
Yeah, mistakes were definitely made at that point. Crazy Eyes is going to be moving in. He's going to be looking to potentially take back that base, but good luck against a rogue. I think it's unlikely. Dingle's coming back to defend. Camel's coming back to defend. Debbie's in a great position right now. Well, they are up 2 bases in this match. All they really have to do is hold on to those 2 bases. Make sure you have at least 2 defenders. Scuba actually kind of got left behind. He's going to be taken down, but it's not that big of a deal with the positions of his res. He's going to be back over to Rev, I believe, and then they're just going to have a solid defense. It doesn't even matter at this point if Spen and Scuba go down just because of the nodes that they have.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a big blunder, I think. Like, I actually, it's such a shame too, because Doc was doing a great job, you know, like, he was basically drawing 2 members by himself as the Arcane Mage. That's the strength of the Arcane Mage. Like, he'll have this constant annoying threat. But I mean, he's not actually going to win that fight.
Oh my god, is Doc going to get it?
There's no way.
Good.
Yeah,
I was gonna cry.
I don't know. Like, they just need to commit to the 2 bases now. Like, I think they're even wasting time trying to defend Waterworks. They will eventually end up losing that. Just go for the 2 base defense. Like, you've got a strong comp. There's a lot of lack of information because of the 3 stealthers on the Debbies. They just have to grind this one out at this point and just play it safe, I think.
They could play it safe. They could keep battling it out of Waterworks as well. I mean, if they feel confident in their ability to defend, which it seems like they do, you mean, we have I Love My Dog and we have Camel. Surely Crazy Eyes is going to fall here, and then Doc is left in a sort of a 2v1 situation, which I think is unlikely he wins against the Balanced Druid and the Rogue. I mean, it could happen. I Love My Dog is getting a little bit low. He doesn't have Trinket. I don't know if he has Cloak of Shadows. Camel throwing in a Cyclone, maybe tossing out some heals. Doc definitely has his work cut out for him, but this is just solid play coming in from the Debbies. Up 2 bases to 0. Every second that goes by, they're falling further and further behind in this matchup. And for making it happen, they're not collecting any points whatsoever.
Yeah, and I mean, after having such a close game in Warsong Gulch, this has got to feel like, I mean, utter tilt, I would say, for making it happen. They came so close. They were within 2 minutes of securing map 1. Now here on map 2, one little mistake, or I would say one quite large mistake, honestly, is putting them so far behind. They can't even secure the cap on Waterworks. Spen and Dingle have been doing a fantastic job of just securing that node, or like keeping it in an equilibrium here between the 2 teams. That said, though, I still feel like, you know, Camel and I Love My Dog have been the kind of defenders at mines, and with the constant, since they don't have anywhere else to respawn on Dark Pen's team, since they haven't capped a base yet, maybe eventually they will end up getting this one. But Doc just keeps charging in by himself. He's just going to get picked off over and over again. We see the mind control coming in from Dark Pen now. They're opting for that 2v2, but Camel and I Love My Dog have looked really good in this 2v2 so far. They're yet to lose it.
Yeah, they've just been owning. The Arcane Mage doesn't seem to be working out too well for Doc. Unfortunately, he does manage to get away. Another Void Shift comes in from Dark Pen, but Dingle's in a great spot. Now, there's no chance they're going to lose this fight. It's 3 versus 2. Dark Pen will fall. We look over to Waterworks and what's happening over there right now. See a nice little team fight going on, but it still seems to be quite safe for the team of the Debbies. They're not going to be taken down right here. They can just stall out as long as possible. As long as Scuba doesn't die, they're going to keep up with this 2-0 lead. And at this point in the game, it's 610 points to 60 points in favor of the Debbies. This is not looking good.
No, I've been really impressed by Dingle, actually, on this map. Like, Dingle, he's been instrumental in the fight of Waterworks, but he's just so fast with his mobility on that Mistweaver Monk that he is able to go to mines, help out, he's able to get to Lighthouse. Like, he's been back and forth the entire time. He's been kind of playing that Datacus role of swapping between the bases, helping where his team's needed. We do see Scuba falling here, so again, it's looking better and better for the chance that we will finally have this Waterworks cap, but Spen caught up in the Cyclone. There's still little crowd controls coming in here and there. He's able to deny it once again here with his Trinket. Blocks, uses everything just to stop. Like, they're committing 4 people here to this base and they need to get it. Meanwhile, Dark Pen's died about 3 times. Yeah. Like, Darkpen's been trying to, like, solo with Doc, or... I mean, the two of them are trying to get mines, but they're just losing the 2v2 over and over and over to Camel and I Love My Dog, which must be great for their egos. They're probably having such a great time just, like, killing these two players again and again, but now they finally do get the Waterworks cap, but they're just so far behind, you know, already 800 out of the 1500 points, still a 2-to-1 base advantage. The Debbies are looking like they're going to eliminate making it happen.
Yeah, and I just don't feel like with the my main problem with the composition that we see from making it happen is I just don't feel like the Shadow Priest and the Arcane Mage really has the firepower you need. Like, I think Scuba on the Restoration Shaman can heal through a lot of the spread pressure damage that they have available, so in a team fight, I don't see them really taking someone down in a really, really quick swap. It should be easy for their teams to survive, and you kind of have to ask yourself at this point, at what point in the game is it just you win with one base? I think we're almost at that point where the Debbies, all they need to do is just hold on to one base, and they cannot lose the game with how far behind we have making it happen at this point. Finally, a node cap's over. Making it happen will be collecting a little bit of points, but oh, they got ninja'd on!
Oh no!
Great position. They finally started getting a little bit of points. I Love My Dog just perfectly plays it out. They all escape. They had to make a risky play. You really can't blame them. And they just got checkmated, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, this is just been a disaster since the moment that Crazy Eyes left his base open for Dingo to cap it. And that's good. That's going to spell out GG if anything can. The 3 bases, as soon as they start ticking away, that's about 30 points per second, I believe. That the Debbies will be accruing. They're already 1 up in the series. They will make it to the top 4 of this tournament here. And I mean, you got to give a shout out though, of course, to making it happen. They had a fantastic Warsong Gulch. They were ahead for about 18 out of 20 minutes in that one until that last second turnaround from the Debbies. But the Debbies, they've looked really good on this map a couple of times. I really like their composition. I think yesterday they didn't actually run the double rogue. I don't think Rev was playing rogue for them yesterday when they played this map. I could be wrong about that, but that's what my memory recalls. So maybe this composition could be very scary. You know, Dingle on the Mistweaver, we've seen how good he is at using his mobility. They have the Druid double rogue. This could be a scary team going into that top 4.
I mean, there's really no question about it. And it looks like at the end of the day, making it happen will tap out 2 members of their team, leave the game. There's almost no hope for that. Well, there is no hope. The reverse turnaround at this point versus doing it through Graded Power Blast with Wind Shear, with Grounding, with Knock. Then they'll pull ahead, and the Elemental Shaman, I think, has a little bit of an edge.
I'm just looking at the VOD from yesterday, and yeah, I'm confirming my suspicions. So Gore actually, Guruk, who's playing the Moonkin, he played the Vengeance Demon Hunter yesterday for SX6, and they had Juan playing Rogue. So they've actually opted to sacrifice Juan on the Rogue and put him on the Demon Hunter here so that they can have Guruk on the Druid, which kind of suggests to me that they actually feel like this Druid strategy that was implemented by the Debbies is, you know, perhaps even a better one. Like, maybe the Druids provide a little bit more self-sustain than the Rogue in the offense. Maybe they have more mobility. There could be a few different reasons why they think like that, but it's definitely very interesting because when it comes to killing a Guardian Druid, you would think having an Assassination Rogue sitting on them with kidney shots, blind for the healer, etc., would be the best, but they've actually opted out of that in this occasion.
Yeah, Bailamos going to be mounting up, charging through the Horde tunnel, playing the Alliance side on this map. He will surely go and pick up the flag. So far, it's been a little bit more difficult for Juan. He has Seth Curry all over him at this point, just spamming out disable root. Rook is able to back him up, and Juan will escape. So both flag carriers will get into the enemy base, pick up the flags, and we're down to sort of a 5v5 team fight in the middle.
Yeah, there's never really a question with Bailamos. Like, we saw some of the Guardian Druids yesterday struggling to get across the map, but Bailamos always seems to find a way to weave himself through the enemy lines, get to the flag. Honestly, he gets there just as quickly as Juan on this Vengeance Demon Hunter, and he's already pushing through. Bates going over to Graveyard, decides to go down ramp instead. Should be able to reconnect with one of his healers here, either Loxatar or Sham on the Restoration Shaman. He's actually baiting side to side. Looks like I'm not exactly sure what he's scared of, honestly. There's no rogue that could pin him down, and there's no one really coming for him other than Logstar, which is his own healer. But either way, he's reconnecting now. A Hibernate landed from Guruk. Bailamos caught sleeping on the job a little bit there. But either way, he should be able to reconnect with his healer here. There's actually it's starting to look really bad. Like, Magnus is reconnected. The fact they got hibernated near the enemy base could be really bad for him.
Well, he got slowed down. Definitely going to be needing a little bit of help from his team, but he has Loxatar there. Both his healers in a decent position to keep him alive, so I don't think he's going to die. Varen looking for a greater power blast. Manages to find one onto Rook. Rook, it seems like he's going to be fine. Bailamos does manage to escape. Good backup from his team. And now, once again, we're in a situation where we have a big team fight in the middle. Juan is in his base. Bailamos is also safely in his base. Rook looks like he's going to be pulling back to meet up with Juan, and that's sort of the classic combo we see. The Demon Hunter, the Vengeance Demon Hunter with the Mistweaver Monk provides a lot of mobility and utility. It's a really difficult duo to take down.
Yep, and they have connected to each other perfectly well. So we'll have to see what the offensive resources are here from SX6. It looks currently that from Bailamos. It looks like currently Seth Curry is the only person that's in the offense. I think Varen was pushing up yesterday, but it doesn't look like he is on this occasion. Actually, they're going for a 5-man defense here, so they have a 5v4 advantage in defense for SX6 at this moment in time. I wouldn't be surprised to see, therefore, that Juan would be sitting back a little bit more, taking the team fight to Bailamos in defense, looking to wipe them out here before they go offensive. But Burnt has all of his offensive cooldowns up right now. Those Chaos Bolts are landing. The Solar Beam comes in at the nick of time to save Garuk here on this Balance Druid. But even so, still dropping lower. And this 4v5 is actually kind of going in favor of Bailamos right now.
Bailamos, I feel like they're not afraid to stall it out. So what we saw yesterday, if the map does go to a tie, we go to sort of a sudden death where both teams do get 1 point, and we end up going to battle for Gilneas. And I mean, this could be something that they're trying to do intentionally, where they're just hyper committing to their defense. If they can survive for as long as humanly possible, and they feel like they can beat any team on Gilneas, they could be playing into that advantage. I'm not exactly sure, because in terms of offense, just Seth Curry being thrown out onto Juan and Rook, I feel like it's really unlikely he's going to be able to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't buy that it's a winning strategy to play for a draw on Warsong Gulch, like, especially if what you said is true. You know, SX6, the only map they dropped in the entirety of yesterday was Warsong Gulch. Oz is saying that he thinks Warsong Gulch is his worst map, like, and Bailamos' strategy, like, I don't actually know if they have kind of a weak condition here. They don't have the Rogue to pin down the Demon Hunter, and the Guardian Druid isn't going to be able to kite, which means that he needs the 2 healers on him pretty much constantly. So it's really difficult for them to get any solid offense going. Bailamos even dying right now.
Yeah.
See greater power blast coming through. The double solar beam beautifully landed by Garuk, actually hitting both casts from healers. Looks like now that they're out of that, they are able to stabilize some healers, and they do get the kill over onto Garuk. But once again, it is this curling strategy, Elliot, where Bailamos looks like he'll just kind of play to survive. I mean, I just don't think it's... I don't like it. Like, I mean, let's say they do draw, then that's their best case scenario if they play like this. And it would just mean that, you know, they would end up going to a map which OS6 have looked better on. And then the worst case scenario is that Bailamos ends up randomly dying at some point, which could easily happen, you know, with the composition, the Fury Warrior, the burst, potential from an elemental. Just, it's so risky.
No, it definitely is. And like I said, I feel like at this point, it's kind of a telltale sign. If they only send Seth on offense the entire game, they're not really committing. They're not trying to kill Juan. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's Seth forcing some healers to come back. It looks like Varen is going to be crossing the map, so they do want to look for a potential kill here. But he gets intercepted in the midfield by Garuk, and we'll have to see what exactly happens. If Varen can't cross the map and it's just Seth sort of left all alone, I feel like they're really not going to be able to take him down. But it looks like you can see SX6. They want to sort of clean up this offense really quickly. Lightning lasso on Varen. If they can kill him, Varen will, of course, be respawning, and that's an opportunity for them to push in, try to get some pressure once again. And like you kind of talked about, it is a really risky strategy. If you have Oz, Magnus, Garuk pushing in, getting really aggressive on Bailamos, anything can happen. I mean, Guardian Druids certainly are tanky. You have a solid defense. They've shown that time and time again, but you can get bursted down. You get a few good interrupts, some good crits at the right time, and you could easily fall. So risky strategy indeed.
Yeah, so I mean, so that said, like, I'm really happy to see that Varen actually was trying to push in. He unfortunately got a bit clotheslined there by Oz, Magnus, and Garuk. But assuming that he keeps going for the offense, as we do see the tanks just got to 5 stacks. That means they cannot get the increased movement speed anymore. Assuming they can get Varian and Seth Curry on offense, I actually think it kind of plays into their strengths, because obviously Seth Curry is a fantastic Windwalker Monk. You know, we've seen him in the Arena World Championship. Like, this guy has been at the top of his mastery of the Windwalker Monk in those 3v3 skirmishes. So 2v2, he's going to be able to excel onto Juan. The question, though, is whether Varian can get there to assist, because right now he's back in defense. And, I mean, there's no offensive pressure. The only person that can die right now is Bailamos.
Yeah, and Magnus is all over him. He's doing a large amount of damage. Bailamos goes down to 50% health. It's just Magnus right now. Finally, Garuk moves in. A beautiful solar beam. Bailamos actually in a little bit of trouble. Oz moves in as well. Good burst damage. He's going to be able to stay alive. Finally get some huge heals connected. But that was a scary moment. That's what I'm talking about. At any moment, Bailamos could potentially fall. Garuk might go down. Good counter kill there for Burnt on defense. And that's really going to limit that offense. Oz could certainly fall, but I really like that offensive push. That solar beam from Garuk, interrupting both Loxatar and Hamsham. Magnus going in on the Fury Warrior, putting out significant burst onto Bailamos. Oz running in with a big Earth Shock as well. A few more lucky crits, and Bailamos goes down. So I think this is just going to be a rinse and repeat setup we see from X6.
Yeah, lucky crits, and also the stacks are stacking up. I saw 2 more stacks in the midst of all that time. I think it does go up to 10 maximum, so we must be at least 8 stacks right now. So Bailamos will be dropping low, but I actually think the composition drafted here by OX6 is basically the Bailamos killer, right? Like, they've got the solar beam because they know Bailamos likes to play up top, and it means that both the healers will always be stacked for that solar beam. Obviously, Oz also is able to get the thunderstorms to knock Bailamos away from that turtling position. So they actually have a really nice setup for the offense here. That said, the defense from Burnt and Baron has been very, very strong. Burnt landed a beautiful Infernal Stun there to basically one-shot Garuk. And even though Bo has been sent on offense every single time for OX6, it seems like he really struggles to keep his team alive through the damage that Burnt in particular is putting out.
It's just, I'm just watching Seth trying to chase down Juan and Rook. Like, I'm not joking when I said there's actually no chance he's going to be able to kill Juan unless they literally fall asleep. So I just feel like Bailamos, their strategy is full on turtle. Like, they're forcing a healer back with Seth Curry, but that's really all Seth Curry is going to be getting done in this matchup.
Do you think, like, at max stacks they go for a play with Varen, or do you think they're just going to commit to this the entire time, the defense?
I feel like they're just going to commit to this the entire time. Like, that's what we saw yesterday. They didn't hesitate to pull off this strategy. And we didn't see later on in the game where the mage actually went in. In fact, later on in the game is where we saw Varen sort of pull back and just play full defense.
I guess, like, the best case scenario in this case will just be a draw. Maybe they'll get a wipe on offense. Like, OX6 do need to be careful, because if they get wiped on offense, 30-second res timers, there is a chance that Bailamos' team goes for something big. Especially, like, you know, they're getting the kills on Garuk super easily on this Moonkin. I'm not sure. I don't think we've actually seen Garuk on Moonkin so far in this tournament, so I'm not sure how confident he is on it. But he's been taken down in these fights multiple times very, very early on. We see another wipe here on offense for Oz's team here. Bailamos' defense working out once again. It's been really close before the stacks even got high. Now the stacks are at maximum for Bailamos, so he's taking the most damage you can take for the tank. I believe tanks take 50% increased damage passively, and then the debuff is 100% increased damage. That's a lot of modifiers. Yeah. And even a Guardian Bear with 2 healers. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that. It would be a good alternative to some of the other right now. But Bailamos, he's actually pushing out a little bit. He's left his spot, and they're actually going for an offense after that wipe.
Ooh, Burnt's going to be crossing the map. Varen crossing the map as well. What are they going to do? But this is a little scary for Seth. As Seth falls, and that is really going to hurt their defense. Hamsham and Bailamos are the only ones that are defending right now. Everyone else is making an offensive push, and this is the first time we've seen this from Team Bailamos in Warsong period, so we'll have to see what they can get done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to see it. I think this is the only opportunity we said, you know, like, if Oz's team do get too aggressive, if they do end up wiping on defense, then there will be a slight priority in terms of Bailamos' team having the members there first. They do connect over to one. Huge Chaos Bolt from Burnt. Hits him for about 70% of his health there. Gets topped up immediately by Rook, who hasn't really had to trade out any cooldowns so far to the solo pressure of Seth. Seth is so low on health at this point that it's really hard for him to commit. He's actually vivifying himself in the backlines, but he just can't get damage over onto Juan, because if he chases, he'll just end up dying, which is obviously not a good situation. But now we see the Infernal Stun coming in from Burn. He is a huge priority to shut down right now. One Chaos Bolt, I can guarantee would one-shot Juan if he gets it.
Seth, he gets a touch of death on Juan. Juan could be in some trouble. Right now, Vo's in a really good position. Throws out the Wild Growth, just overhealing Juan. Needs to keep him alive. Touch of death hits hard. There's the leg sweep. Juan trinkets out. Still trying desperately to kite away, but he's running into the entire enemy team. A beautiful thunderstorm knocks Varen across the map. See you later. It's going to be very difficult for him to get back into the fight. But still, Seth Curry will get taken down. A good defense from Team Oz, from SX6. Juan could still be in a little bit of trouble. Really, anything can happen with these debuff stacks, but it's looking like he's going to be okay for now.
Yeah, I think OX6 read the situation well there. They had wipes, so it meant their members were back in their backline. They were able to come back and keep Juan alive, but that was a really close call, and that's what I want to see from Bailamos' team. You know, like, they're committing to this turtling strategy, but when they do get the wipes on the offense, which they should from SX6, just because of their sheer number, like their numbers are, 5v4, they should win that team fight, then they can go for this push. Burn had the Infernals there. Varian obviously is such a high threat on this Fire Mage. If Seth Curry had had a little bit higher health there, I feel like he could have helped his team actually convert that into a kill, but he had to go away and top himself off a little bit since he didn't have a healer, and that was ultimately what prevented them from landing the kill, but it was a good attempt. They will have other opportunities like that if they can wipe OX6 once again, but it looks like they're going to revert to this kind of stonewall strategy again for now, and OX6 will have the chance to take down Bailamos.
Yeah, they're going to be looking to just wipe up the offense from SX6. Seth Curry moving in once again. It's going to be a 2v1 situation, actually a 3v1 at this point. Oz has just had enough, I guess. He doesn't want to go on offense. He's just going to be committing to a 3-man defense. And they weren't able to take Bailamos without Oz. If they can take him down now, that would certainly be a miracle. He gets healed up quite easily, and looks like Bailamos actually changing his position, trying to get back to that platform, that little turtle area that he's been implementing so well. It's been so difficult for people to take him down, being able to just dodge out of line of sight, jump down, use the Z-axis to get back up, implement, use the gateway Burton has available. It's just really good positioning, but he's kind of caught right now. There's been good damage coming in from Magnus as well as Garuk, but with his positioning, it's just really hard for them to finish the job.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe Oz just kind of fancies his chances of going to another map. We're 5 minutes away from the draw. It would go 1-1, and then it would be Gilneas. And we already saw that SX6 have a very strong Gilneas, whereas Datacus vs Bailamos was an incredibly close game, which very narrowly was won by Bailamos, honestly off of just a mistake from Datacus going back, leaving the team exposed at Waterworks yesterday. So maybe Oz and Co just fancy their chances. We see Juan, though, dropping a little bit low. Baron has actually committed to offense, so we have a 2v2 situation, but Oz in the back line able to shun and shut Baron out with that Elemental Shaman, winning the 1v1 with ease. But that was, again, a close call for Juan there, and now I guess most of the attention once again should be back on Bailamos.
Yep, Marin is going to be able to survive. Oz actually all over him. This is what I'm talking about. The Elemental Shaman against the Fire Mage is just, in my opinion, a counter in the 6v6 situation. So I think from Team Bailamos, the one thing I have to criticize, I think Marin specifically only playing Fire is kind of a detriment to their team on this map. I don't think it's the best choice, the best mage specialization. And if he had been playing Arcane, like I kind of talked about, but Bailamos could actually fall. Seth and Baron both got taken down. Oz charging in. If Oz can get there, this is going to be a really scary moment for Bailamos. They have to defend with only 4 members. It's not enough damage to really force Oz to get back. He's charging in. He's in Ghost Wolf.
He has Berserk in as well.
Yeah, this is so scary for Bailamos. He has to run for his life.
Let's crunch the numbers real quick. 50% damage increase, 100% damage increase, and then 50% damage increase on Oz. This is going to be one big Earth Shock if they can connect it. Bailamos is out of cooldowns. He has no trinket. He got stunned in normal form earlier. He's running for his sweet dear bare life. at this moment in time. Loxatar's with him. The team are chasing. Double healers are coming. They're really going for it, but there's no DPS to peel. Oz, so scary. Aftershock for about 80%. Star Surges coming in. He gets the leap up, and they've actually kind of juked Garrux at this point. If they can get a Thunderstorm on Bailamos, that could be it. Magnos reconnecting. There's so many threats right now that Bailamos' team have to deal with. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. If they are able to get this kill, it will be game.
That was such good positioning. Oz almost one-shotting Bailamos. Like you said, all those damage modifiers really adding up. Bailamos went down to around 10% health. Oz still in hot pursuit. And chance there to deny Garrux as well. This is still a really good opportunity for SX6. It's a lot of pressure. Bailamos with beautiful kiting, though, I have to say. The defensive play from them, their ability to kite and escape that situation was really, really impressive, but they're not out of it yet. He gets caught out of bear form. Nice bash by Garrux. Amchan's still there for backup. Oz with a beautiful thunderstorm, trying to get some damage rolling.
Yeah, we do see another knock though. Bailamos able to reconnect with his team. I actually think Bailamos played that basically exemplary, because he would have died if he'd kept tanking Oz there. Like, through any amount of healing, he was able to kite away. Loxatar reconnected to him, kept him stable. There's no dampening or healing reduction, so you need to stay with your healers as the tank. So he did a fantastic job. Now he's kiting away once again. The Elemental Shaman doesn't have the same mobility of some of these other classes, and Verin as well. Also, if he connects a couple, Magnos gets hit. Now Bailamos there, another Earth shot from nowhere. That's going to be the Spirit Link coming in the nick of time from Hamsham. Magnus is somehow alive after eating a few greater Pyroblasts there. This guy does not care. Bailamos still low. Another beautiful Solar Beam landing double onto the healers. Bailamos, Maladex connect. He's at 1% health. There's no way he survives. They get the kill. They get the cap. And SX6 go 1-up in the series. Almost suddenly here.
Oh, beautifully done by SX6. Their ability to just wipe the offense from Team Bailamos, keep up that offensive push. Huge burst damage from Garrux. Oz, Magnus keeping himself alive. The Fury Warrior was a beautiful pick. And they're going to be up 1-0 on this map with just 50 short seconds left. I feel like there's almost no chance for Team Bailamos to really come back in this map.
I can imagine Oz screaming at the top of his lungs a certain Wreckful tournament quote after this strategy has been broken through by the offense of SX6. It's absolutely incredible play from them to manage to secure that kill. Honestly, I think they were a bit unlucky to not secure it even earlier. Oz with that massive Earth Shock with the Blood Fury. I think Oz actually, I really like the way he played this one. He, instead of just staying on offense, which he could have done, he went back, made the safe play, won the 1v1 against Verin, which enabled him to basically safely push in, knowing that Verin would come back to defense, knowing that Juan would be completely safe in the 2v1 against Seth Curry. And then Oz obviously on the way after winning that 1v1, picking up the Berserking. I just think he played this one so intelligently. And I mean, if that's the...
I think you really bring the Moonkin for any sort of spread pressure. I think like you sort of said, it's really that Solar Beam, that AoE interrupt. If you can nail that on both healers, that's an opportunity to get really aggressive. I think when he has the Incarnation up as well, that's when he can, pump out some really big Star Surges. And if they can get a kill with Incarnation with that instant cast damage, that's a great opportunity to get ahead, because when we've seen this map play out in the past, the team that wins this first team fight wins the entire map with just how high level both of these these teams are.
Yeah, and actually Bailamos got, I think he got taken out at the very start of that one, so he's already committed his Vanish here. His opener's actually been completely shut down by OX6. Excellent start from them. They knock him down, he gets kidney shot. Not a great start at all. Maledic's even coming out. Rook even fancying the 1v1 in the duel, so early advantage for OX6. Garrux though gets caught up in the double leg sweep. Good cross crowd control coming in from Bailamos' team in the early stages here.
Yep, Oz win shooting Farron, but this allows Burn to get some damage out, although he has Frank Juan all over him. Kidney shot on Burn, so they're really focusing on just shutting down these high threat targets, both Burn and Varen. If they can free cast, they will be able to unleash devastation, but if they're getting locked down, there's not going to be too much consistent pressure coming in from these two classes, and that's where the composition SX6 has selected is going to be a lot more consistent in the long run.
Yeah, they actually force out the Life Cocoon here, and here come the Infernals. So when you would really want to have an answer for big single target damage such as Life Cocoon, it will no longer be available for SX6, and Garrux dropping low. Double cheap shot from Bailamos. Nice play into the DR cheap shot. So much control coming out of this Rogue, looking for the first kill. first blood, Garruk falls. The Infernals, that was actually excellently set up by Bailamos' team. Now they're looking to clean up. Rank 1 also falls, does not trinket out of the stuns. And Bailamos' team takes, I mean, a big lead on this map.
That was really impressive. And like we kind of talked about, if you can get ahead in this matchup, Seth Curry is going to be picking up an orb. Who's going to be picking up the second? Looks like Loxodar is going to be marching across the map. He can pick up the second orb. If they can sit in the middle for a long time, if they can split res, more importantly, this is going to be really, really good. If anyone from SX6 gets locked down and taken down at this point, Garruk, if he gets caught in the stun, if he goes down, it's just going to be a slow march to victory for Team Bailamos.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to look for it, because remember yesterday, OX6 kept fighting these 4v6 situations and they were not punished for it. If Bailamos doesn't actually manage to get a kill here, their orb carriers will be exposed in the 6v6 and they might end up falling behind. Loxodar caught in a full kidney shot, no trinket available. Hamsham gets caught and stunned and feared on his trinket. Beautiful play, denying the orb, and once again, SX6 are not punished in the 4v6. They're able to wipe the orb carriers from Bailamos, and actually, despite losing that first team fight, they turn it around, and the advantage should be for them, despite the slight point disadvantage they're facing. They should be able to pull that back really fast here.
Yeah, it's been a really impressive from SX6. Like you said, their ability, even when they lose someone, they don't lose anymore. And when those players spawn, that's an opportunity for them to pick up the orbs, win the team fight, and now they're in a good position. Still behind on points. Right now, SX6 at around 100 points. Team Bailamos at around 250. Both teams looking to collect 1,500 points total. And this is the ideal situation. If you can collect both orbs and you can kind of sit in the middle of the map, if Magnus can get to the middle, that's when they're going to start getting a ton of points, adding up really, really quickly. And I could easily see them surpass Team Bailamos.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could. It's very even right now. Loxodar actually gets stunned again on his trinket. The lasso, of course, we all know how lasso works. When you get the DR stun, it will go for full duration, meaning that Loxodar had to be Spirit Link there. That was his trinket. That was a lot of cooldowns. Meanwhile, though, they do get the kill over onto Garruk. He was exposed because he did have the orbs. And honestly, this has been very back and forth. Both these teams have they've committed everything. They're always picking up the double orb as soon as they win the fight, which has meant the points have stayed pretty even. Magnus looking like he may well fall here as well, down to about 20% in the smoke bomb. They can't get any heals to him, so he also falls. OX6 losing out on this team fight. Should be able to pick up the orbs and Bailamos' team. I mean, this is so back and forth right now, Elliot.
No, it definitely is, but Bailamos is still way ahead. And this is the thing, when you pick up both orbs, you're massively disadvantaged in a 6 versus 6 team fight, as 2 targets on your team take 100% bonus damage. Right now, only 1 orb is picked up. Seth in the corner, just hiding for his life, trying to collect as many points as possible. As Loxodar does end up falling. Rank 1 now connecting. Full kitty shot on Seth with no trinket available. Good backup here from Burn with the Infernal drop. Will Seth be able to survive? Parry with the Turbo Fist, but the Stormbolt completely shuts that down. Magnus with a nice kill. Orbs completely reset. And still Team Bailamos in the lead.
Yeah, I actually, one of the big differences here that I noticed is that Bailamos, we said already that he's playing subtlety and how much utility he's had with that. Rank 1's playing assassination. I just don't think the slight additional single target damage you get from assassination is worth giving up all of the utility that the sub-rogue brings. Like a sub-rogue, basically, if the 2 healers stack, can control them both for about, 10-15 seconds if you have some of your cooldowns up, such as your duel, your double cheap shots, all of that with your Shadow Dance. And Bailamos has been making excellent use of all of that subtlety rogue utility. It's been fantastic to watch, honestly. He set up the first kill, he set up the first win, and his team is starting to take the lead. That said, though, they are wiping out a little bit here. Magnus has the orb, actually double orb for the Alliance team here, OX6. They're slightly down on mana, but they're winning this team fight, and they're starting to build up a fairly large lead here.
Ooh, nice smoke bomb kill on a Magnus. Garruk could easily fall as well. Vo trying to keep him alive, but he's tapped on mana. Garruk on the run, still just trying to secure the points that he has. Seth Curry with a nice Transcendence, just portaling right on top. That was so nice. Bailamos with a beautiful Shadow Step kidney shot as well. Good crowd control on Vo. Garruk into the cheap shot, activates the bar skin, trying to survive. Ring of Peace gets traded out by Rook. Really good defense. Wasn't able to heal through the damage, but able to deny a lot of that damage with the Ring of Peace. But it's just so much increased damage when you have one of those orbs that Garruk ultimately will fall. And right now there is a lead for Alliance on this map. This is the first time SX6 has been ahead.
Yeah, it's just bouncing here and there. Like we say, Bailamos has the lead, then SX6 has a lead. It's just, it really has been a back and forth. And I think a big part of that is because of all of these DPS are such scary single target prospects. You know, like you got Burn, Seth Curry, and Varen, three of the most bursty classes. Single target on the side of Bailamos, and then on the flip side you got the consistent damage of Magnus and Wank1 playing that assassination rogue. So really both these teams will one-shot those orb carriers, which is why neither team has really had the opportunity to push too far ahead. That said, Bailamos now with 2 orbs active, looks like they are starting to lose this fight though, as Loxatar falls. Losing a healer with the orb is probably one of the worst situations you can be in for a team fight.
Yeah, Magnus with an orb, Seth Curry with an orb. Seth Curry drops into the midfield. Magnus looking for some damage. They can take down Seth. This is going to be good if they can pick up that second orb. Loxatar being down, massive disadvantage here for Team Bailamos. 5 versus 6. Magnus takes a little bit of damage, leaps out of midfield. While Seth Curry and Magnus realize they're such vulnerable targets, they're just going to be using the best positioning that they can to just avoid some damage. Magnus charges in, implementing that orb, trying to get that bonus damage out. If he can pick Hamsham, it's going to be another split res. Such a nice job from SX6. Now Loxatar, he's charging in. He's got a really difficult job ahead of him in a 5v6 situation once again, and this is exactly what you want on this map. If you can split res the enemy team, it's about as perfect of situation as you can get yourself into.
Yeah, they're going to get a big lead here. I actually think Loxatar made a fairly large mistake. I'm pretty sure he had the orb when he died. So I just don't think healers should ever pick up the orb in this situation. Like, losing a healer like that basically leaves you in that situation where you have 1 healer left for the team fight. They kill Hamsham toward the end of Loxatar's spawn time, which means they've lost so much momentum in the fight here. They're going to have to go for a full reset, looks like. 3 DPS dead. The stagger is going to come in. Varen will die. He's sitting in the ice block. I don't even necessarily think that he should, unless he's going to be able to make a great escape here. Maybe he will. He leaves Loxatar to be butchered by the rest of SX6, looks like. Maybe they will be able to survive this. I would be surprised if Loxatar makes it, but actually a beautiful wild charge. Maybe he can get away with some trickery here. If he dies, it's going to be probably the worst case scenario for Team Bailamos. He gets caught up in the cheap shot, does die, and now, like, look how much time they've lost. It's just, they've been fighting this 5v6, 4v6 for such a long time. They're falling so far behind on points. They do get the kill onto the flag carriers now. Maybe they'll be able to equalize it.
That was insane damage from Seth Curry on that Windwalker Monk. I think he actually activated his Serenity, I believe, and he was just able to wipe the floor with both those flag carriers, taking down Magnus and Garuk in a smoke bomb with the double leg sweep. Really beautiful plays from Seth Curry and Bailamos, and this is a good opportunity for them. They need to pick up those orbs. They need to start winning these fights. Seth Curry needs to not get picked. That was big burst damage from Oz. Can they keep him alive? He has to survive. Hamsham throwing in some heals. And like you kind of said, Hamsham has been put in a situation where he has to pick up the orb, and that's not necessarily ideal for your healers to be taking all that additional damage.
Yep, it's definitely not ideal, especially like with Oz. I think he's running the Sky Fury Honor talent as well, so those Earth Shocks sometimes can just be the most damage. Same with the Star Surges from Garuk. We see the fight has equaled out, both teams with the same number of points, but of course the slight disadvantage for Bailamos' team right now, since they have the orbs. Their Hamsham ends up falling. Seth Curry will surely also fall here with the amount of stacks he's had. He's probably had the orb for the longest time I've seen of anyone so far. He was being very tricky to kill, but does end up falling. Now we see the 6v4. That said though, Vo is out of mana, Rook's low on mana. If Bailamos can survive this 4v6 situation, it's very important they don't lose members at this moment in time whilst Hamsham is resurrecting. But it looks like they're going to be able to stabilize here. And actually, if they stabilize here, I think they might be able to go on to win this one, because they can have all 6 members back. They'll be able to have the advantage with the orb, and they already have a point advantage. They're starting to really take the lead here.
Yeah, this is looking good. Kidney shot on Bailamos. Can they take him down? I don't know if they necessarily have the burst damage. Was good back up here. Hamsham does keep him alive. Waruk taking quite a bit of burst damage. They're looking to take him down, but he does manage to barely hold on. Paralysis on Rook denies the heals. Garuk falls. Varen could easily fall as well. We could be in a 5v5 situation. Magnus sleeps over. He's trying to get the execute. Unfortunately, unable to get it. He was denied. That was really good healing coming in from Loxatar to keep Varen alive, keeping Team Bailamos in this team fight, and they're slowly but surely inching into a lead with both orbs on their side.
You guys can debate whether or not we're doing God's work here on GCD TV, but we're definitely doing Bonsarmni's work. This has been an absolute slaughter fest here. Team players dying left, right, and center. I think both teams have kind of abandoned strategy at this point. They're just going for the orbs wherever they can. They're so close to that 1500 marker that they need to win. Loxatar caught up in bear form, but he does have an orb. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Maledict's flying in. Star Surge is also, as he ends up falling. I'm not 100% convinced that is best for the healers to pick it up, because I mean, I guess it's good in the sense that they have more mana, because they're kind of cycling through their mana pools more, whereas Rook and Vo have been for a very long time now, like 2-3 minutes I would say. They don't really have an opportunity to sneak away for a drink, and since they're not dying, they're not picking up the orbs. Maybe that's actually why their team's kind of like losing this attrition battle.
Yeah, honestly, I just think Seth has been doing a really good job with that flag. He's using his Transcendence portal really well. He does eventually get taken down now, but he did his job. He got a lot of those points. But here's the opportunity that SXX really needed. They ended up winning the fight, taking down the flag carriers. Now they have both orbs in their favor. They are a bit behind on points right now, around so 50, close. But this is such a close game. Keep in mind, right now, SX6, they're up in this series 1-0. This is the upper bracket finals. And Team Bailamos certainly doesn't want to go down to the lower bracket, but it is looking likely at this point with how close this game is.
Yeah, big, juicy Dragon's Breath for Nixia would have been proud of that one, hitting 4 members on the side of SX6. SX6 currently hold the orbs. 100 points left required for them to win this one. They are so close. Bailamos' team needs to push in. They need to shut this down. Rank 1 falls. Who's going to pick up the orb? Will it be someone from Bailamos? You see the Druids chasing for it.
Nice.
Go picks it up first because of the Mighty Bash. Huge play. They only need 20 more points. Rook dies. Who's going to pick that one up? We see the Druids chasing in. Rook with the Transcendence port. He's going to score the Ninja. Both the healers for the first time have the orbs, and SX6 are able to secure it. A 2-0 victory. They advance to the grand finals. Rev's team though.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the burst potential is... Actually, I'm not sure. The Windwalker mod,
I don't think it's bad.
I think with cooldowns, the thing is, for free camo, I think what's going to be really important is when they have cooldowns. If he can push in when he has, his incarnation up, and he gets a big Star Surge, that is going to be an opportunity for them to get really aggressive. But without those cooldowns, not going to be nearly as good. The one thing Balance Druids are really good at, however, is landing those big solar beams that can shut down 2 healers at once.
Yeah, I mean, they will have to see if that can be the X factor. They won't have the kind of Oz factor of the big Earth shocks, so it will come down. I think a lot of it, that burst damage, will be relying on my free camo. If you can get those Incarnation Star Surges. We'll see the teams open up in the middle of the map, though. RevDH actually getting dropped very low in the start here. So we see Cyclones into Incap on Dingle. A nice Vortex, followed by the Death Grip. Good synergy. Keep Rev in place. The Vortex denied the first sleep, and then the Death Grip the second. So now they're in a situation where Rev doesn't really have too much mobility to get away. We see maybe actually even Spen. I think Spen actually used the Ride the Wind there to help his team connect over to Rev. But finally, the Ringer piece from Dingle will enable Rev to get away. They've left Skobix a little bit behind, but I think their tank should be fine. And they're actually looking for the quick cap here potentially. I don't think Datacus has made it across the map yet.
No, not just yet, but he is in a decent situation. Spen trying to get some pressure rolling onto him, but with Corlett connected, I think it's unlikely Datacus really falls down. And he has backup too from Milkman, Solomon. He's going to be completely fine. I'll have to see if he actually can get across the map. I think it's likely. I think at this point, both tanks could probably make it back to their side of the fence, and it will come down to what these teams decide to do, who they decide to send to offense, who they decide to send to defense. But Venom's making a play here on Rev. Rev getting a little bit low. He gets caught into the stun, Dingle into a Cyclone with no trinket. Rev is actually a little bit vulnerable. If they can keep up the crowd control, and Dingle potentially land some interrupts, maybe Rev could fall. But this is one thing Rev does a really good job of. He doesn't waste his mobility, so he'll tank out a lot of damage, hold up his charges to leap away, and that's exactly what he'll do. Got the double leap away to safety, but Dean just still all over him. That's one of the things about the Havoc Demon Hunter is you have a lot of mobility. Also, you are one of the few classes that can chase down a Vengeance Demon Hunter, and they could take down Rev because of it.
Yeah, Rev dropping really low here. He's in the Earth and Shield Totem. Neither of these tanks have very high stacks yet, but Equally, they've both been dying. Datacus had a couple of close scares. Rev definitely has been under pressure. You can see it. The strain on Dingle's mana pool right now down to about 50% already in this game. 3 minutes in. Neither tank has actually made it all the way to their base. I think Datacus is very close now. He's on the ramp in the kidney shot, but he should be able to make it there. Rev as well, very close. Life Cocoon actually forced out now as he's able to use his double leap. So now we've finally made it. That was a scary time for both teams, but they have both now secured, getting to their base. And we'll have to see how the stalemate does play out, because honestly, I think both these teams have the opportunity to kill the enemy tank. Like, Rev has been in trouble for a very long time here. Every single kidney shot feels like he could die. He actually trinks out the last half second of the kidney shot. The smoke bomb comes in late.
Oh!
Cyclone over onto Skoo, but the Spirit Link comes out in the nick of time. Massive cooldowns forced out, though. Excellent push from Datacus.
No, it's a really good push. I think these DPS are just paying dividends. The Death Knight, the Demon Hunter, the Rogue, they have high uptime. They're getting kidney shot after kidney shot landed on a Rev. One Maledict lands. Dingle definitely has his work cut out for him at this point. Scuba as well, but an interrupt, a stun. Rev vulnerable once again. He has to kite away. Does manage to escape using those double leaps. Get away. Dingle's going to be chasing him, and that's a really powerful combo. Once they do get away, it's going to be difficult to chase them down. Solomon in hot pursuit, as well as Venoms and Dean, all three members just trying desperately to reconnect. In the meantime, though, Datacus getting bursted down. He could be in some trouble. He's just sitting here tanking out all of this damage. It's a lot of burst, though, coming in from Sven, as well as I Love My Dog. What are they going to be able to get done? Does manage to get some heals. The Bramble's damage on I Love My Dog is significant, and it looks like Datacus might be able to hold on.
Yeah, that was a really nice Cyclone there. And now actually a sap off of the Cyclone. Ooh. Beautiful play from I Love My Dog. Looking for the kill here. Do they have the follow-up? Doesn't look like it just yet. No follow-up CC onto Colic. Now the Cyclone connects trinkets out. Do they have anything else? Do they need anything else? The answer is no. Datacus falls. Now it's a question of whether they can get the flag. Korlik was able to pick it up. He's on the run, but he's in a kidney shot, and it looks like the Demon Hunter manages to get over to the flag. The Ring of Peace is not in time. Can they kill Korlik? That is the question here, then.
I think it's likely at this point. Korlik is in so much trouble. He doesn't have anything left. Trying desperately to hold on, but they do burn the flag. That was a nice cap.
Yeah, excellent execution there. I think it was the big play from I Love My Dog. He identified that whilst Datacus was in the low Cyclone, Korlik didn't press any damaging abilities on any of the DPS there. He just exposed himself to a sap out of nothing, which, I mean, honestly, you can only say that's a misplay from Korlik. I don't think it's a play that he would make twice. Like, he'll learn from that mistake, but obviously it's costing them. This is an elimination series, and I think the Guardian Druid teams we've seen that, on the whole, they really struggle to get offensive. Because, I mean, the Guardian Druid demands so many resources in defense. That said, Datacus' team has been playing it very different to Bailamos, like, they've only been keeping Korlik on defense. They have been going for good offense, and we'll have to see if they can get a kill on Rev, because this has been much more open than the Bailamos games. Alright. We will have to see if they can do it. We're at a bit of a stalemate here. Both of the teams they're looking like they can kind of equalize the situation here. Rev has had a basically free pass over into his own base again. Datacus, meanwhile, hasn't had any real challenge. Both teams kind of respecting each other. That was a very fast-paced couple of minutes there. Now they're letting it slow down a little bit. Soloman, though, might be the first one to die.
Yeah, that was a really nice pick. Solomon's going to fall in that situation. Once again, Dean moving forward. Is he going to be able to get the damage rolling? Just deciding to leave Rev alone for now. He's going to try to reposition. Once one of your DPS members falls down like that, like Solomon did, Dean, Venoms, it's not that great of an idea to continue the push. They don't want to take unnecessary damage. They kind of need all three members to get that significant damage rolling. At least two. Dean wasn't going to be able to solo him, but maybe Venoms and Dean can get some work done as Dean and Venoms sneak in, trying to get some damage rolling.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this does play out. Like, both these teams, of course, like, the tanks don't really have that many stacks. We had the full reset since the Debbies were able to land the first cap. Now both the tanks are stacking up that damage increase buff. I actually think the Debbies were very smart coming into the blind pick here. Obviously, they didn't know, they didn't necessarily have any information that Datacus would swap over to this Guardian Druid swap, but I Love My Dog playing the Rogue as opposed to the Feral Druid seems to have paid off very well. It's almost as if they did know that Datacus would play Guardian here. They have reconnected over onto him. Kidney shot, good crowd control. I've been really impressed by the cross crowd control coming in from the Debbies. They're playing this almost flawlessly on the offense. We see Scuba having to trade out his Spirit Link quite early here though. So that's a big cooldown for their offense that's going to make it harder for them to stay alive.
Yeah, definitely. Rev still trying to get away with Dingle, but it looks like Dean is in hot pursuit. Let's see where his teammates are. We have to see where exactly Venom is. He's getting kited just so much right now. He needs to get in stealth and get an opener. I think if he can actually land full kidney shots consistently and get out some of that crowd control we saw onto Dingle, that's going to be a really good opportunity. The problem is Dingle and Rev, they're just doing such a good job preemptively kiting Venoms. It's like they can see exactly where he is, running away from him perfectly. I'd be very frustrated if I was Venoms in this position.
All these cool Tyrion knocks as well. It's just like, it's so difficult for Datacus. He might actually just end up dying here again. He can't even have that many stacks, you know. They only picked up the flag a couple of minutes ago. Another good wild charge onto the upper ramp. Another important thing to note is that when these druids are wild charging, they're immediately line of sighting so that none of the enemy druids can follow with their own wild charges. I think it's a really smart play. They've been doing a good job with it. The Typhoon there from i3 Camel actually doesn't knock off Milkman quite. They find crowd control though, because the crowd control has actually been pretty immense here. Hex onto the Corlic, Cyclone to Milkman, dispelled late. Datacus able to survive, Life Cocoon comes out. They're looking pretty stable in the defense. Honestly, the double healer resource though is being committed by Datacus' team, and this is the problem with the Guardian Druid, right? Like, you need to commit so many resources to defense, it makes having a good offense much harder. And, you know, Rev is already so hard to kill. Milkman might end up dying here. This is not looking good at all for Datacus.
I actually cannot believe that was really well set up by the Debbies in that situation, but Milkman managed to hold on. Corlic kept him alive. And like you said, when you have the Guardian Druid, you do have to commit a lot of defensives. It's a nice attempt, but ultimately, I Love My Dog will fall, and that's going to really cripple the offense. Coming in from the Debbies, it was a really nice try, but they'll definitely have to regroup, get that rogue back. And now is an opportunity for Datacus' team to get aggressive. Milkman's going to be charging forward, trying to help out his offense. If he can reconnect to Dean, reconnect to Solomon, it's going to be big. Rev in a stun, taking quite a bit of burst damage. Will he fall? He's trying to kite away. Illidari's Grasp gets interrupted. He's just barely holding on. Dingle just spamming out heals. Trying to use that ZX. He tried to get Venoms and Dean to fall down, but it didn't work out. I Love My Dog now reconnecting the peels. That was such a nice play. Rev and Dingle once again pulling out miracles, but it's not over for Rev just yet. He's still getting targeted down.
Yeah, that was really, really close, to be honest. Like, Rev got caught up in the smoke bomb, no trinket, lived at about 20% life cocoon from Dingle. Dingle's now out of mana. I think I Love My Dog dying on offense was a godsend, honestly, for Rev there, because there's a good chance he would have died. He almost died through all of those peels. Now he's finally stabilized a little bit, able to kite away, wants to get as far away as possible. But Dean, in hot pursuit, you know, what's best to catch a Demon Hunter? Guess the answer is another Demon Hunter. Venoms has mounted up in pursuit right now. Rev does have his trinket available, but he's far away from his healer. Nice little sap landed onto Venoms from I Love My Dog, who has been doing a fantastic job healing. I really think as long as I Love My Dog is in defense, Rev is very unlikely to die here. And I mean, guess what? They don't really need to be offensive right now. They still have the win condition of that first flag cap. As long as Rev stays alive, they will win this game.
Yeah, Spen tried to take down Datacus, but unfortunately did fall. It looks like Datacus is going to be completely fine. He's just hanging out with Corlic right now. The pressure is going to be over onto Rev. He's been able to escape. He's been able to kite. No DPS are really on him. And now there's a weird sort of team fight going on right now. Both flag carriers is going to be completely fine. I think stacks at this point are almost completely maxed out. And it's really scary for both of these teams. I mean, obviously, if you're up 1-0, that's a good position to be in. But if the Alliance can cap, then it's really scary because they do get that advantage for being the team that caps second.
Yeah, I mean, it's really anyone's game still. Of course, the amount of pressure and the amount of offense Datacus' team has been putting onto Rev, you do really get the feeling that if this game goes another 8 minutes, they could easily take him down. And I think there's one more flag in this game, right? Like, it's very unlikely that should a team manage to get the cap that at low stacks, there would be a third cap of the game. But I mean, if we get to that point, it's going to be incredibly hype. We'll have to see. Finally, Dean able to get a connection over onto Rev. Of course, he's been kiting away the entire time, gets that Illidari Grasp. Although Dean, actually, I think some of these classes can actually get out of that, because I think if you can break the root you break the entire crowd control. Rev has been doing a good job just kiting away though. His healer's actually nowhere near him, and he's kind of walking into Venoms here. He's actually jumping far away. I think he's realizing that the offense is starting to take the lead here. Venoms and everyone
this is
are
scary,
just closing on him. He's actually having to run towards the enemy base. This is probably one of the worst situations he could be in.
Yeah, he's caught in midfield. Dean, it will be able to chase him down on that Havoc Demon Hunter. Dingle's mana is doing okay. He's a significant amount of mana. That's the really only thing that's going for them. Milkman in hot pursuit as well, but there's solid defenders. They have I Love My Dog. They have Camel, able to really help Rev out. And this is really interesting. Rev is just crossing the entire map. I don't know if he wants to help out by taking Datacus down, but this is definitely a risky play.
There's actually a berserking in that hut. I'm curious if anyone's going to go for that. I saw it as Rev was running by. Rev's definitely not going to be the one to pick it up. And I mean, I guess maybe it's a decent way to use the Vengeance Demon Hunter. It's just like, well, I might as well just go on a tour trip. You know, maybe he
around the world.
It's Memorial Day right now in the USA. Maybe he felt like it's time for a vacation. Although he's going to be back. He's got work on Tuesday. We have the stun now landing. This is the kidney shot over onto Dean. The peels from I Love My Dog. And honestly, I actually think the strategy may work. It's risky, and if he gets caught in a stun without Trinket, it will be game over, basically. But the strategy seems to work as long as I Love My Dog is staying in defense, because he can just keep the snares, keep the kidney shots over onto the enemy offense. And, I mean, with that, it's so hard for him to actually catch Rev. I mean, he's just, he's just everywhere.
Just live as long as you possibly can, I guess. I mean, cutting across the map, the one benefit that has, like you kind of mentioned, as you're running through the gauntlet of your teammates, anyone chasing you down, they're just going to be getting snared by I Love My Dog, for example. Right now, we can see some pressure on both of the tanks. We got a sap on Corlick. He trinketed out of the sap to keep Datacus alive. There's good pressure here. Rev's still just trying to fight away the best he can. He gets deleted! What was that damage? Good timing! Was such a nice setup, and Rev actually capped the flag as well with 5 minutes left.
And they're leaving already.
I think that's a pretty solid leave, to be honest with you. That was a really nice play.
That was incredible. I was asking who was going to get that berserking. I think my free Camel was like, hello. Loving to shut him down in this one. We've seen the Moonkins often be a target of choice for these teams, so we'll have to see what ends up happening here. Bear in mind that the one time we saw the Debbies on this particular map yesterday, it was actually against SX6, and it was the only one-sided match, honestly, in the entire affair. I think SX6 won that by like 1,500 to 700 or something. It was like really strong performance from SX6. So we'll have to see if the Debbies have gone back to the drawing board a little bit, how they choose to play this one out in the start.
They actually picked up the orb. This is the first time we've seen that. Milkman just immediately picking up the orb, and he could get punished for it. This is something we normally don't see. I don't know if that was a misclick or what, but Milkman, if he gets taken down, they're instantly in this weird situation where they are behind. One orb still available, but I think it's likely it's just going to be this team fight. Milkman does manage to survive, and maybe they're baiting. Like, if Milkman can actually survive, this could be just a giant bait from their team. He did manage to survive the initial assault. Kitty Shot comes in. Life Cocoon gets shredded through. Goodness gracious, that damage was insane. And Milkman will fall.
Yep, whether or not it was bait, it was juicy bait, and that will be the first kill for the Debbies here. That is obviously like the payoff when you have the first flag. I mean, yes, they get 114 points, but they will almost certainly lose this first fight off of Milk dying there. The worst case scenario now, of course, would be if Datacus ends up falling as well, staggering that team res. He gets caught up in the full kidney shot, in-cap over onto Korlek. Do they have the life cocoon off? That doesn't look like it. Datacus falls. Now 2 staggered deaths. That's going to trigger the first pick here from Dean, who's maybe just trying to deny points at this point. Maybe they're going to end up going for a full wipe here with this opener, but at least they're racking up some points on the board, I guess.
This is really weird strategy we're seeing from this team. Dean grabs the orb, runs into the middle of the map, just dies. Milkman grabs the orb, runs into the middle of the map. Now he's vulnerable. If he dies, they're doing a good job getting the orbs and getting into the midfield, but they just become really vulnerable targets at this point, and you can just see what's happening. Team Datacus is kind of just slowly falling apart, although they do have a point lead right now.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
it's their good strat. I'm not sure. I guess if they're winning, but don't
It's
know,
the
it doesn't
first
seem
thing
that
we've
good.
seen going for this strategy, and I mean, it makes sense that if you are going to pick up the orb and your team is going to be falling behind, you want to bring it into the middle so you're getting the most value out of that decision, right? Because there's significantly more points if you're holding the orbs in the middle, but there hasn't been a single point in this game yet where Datacus' team has been stable ever since Milk picked up that first orb, which, I mean, he got 100 points from it, sure. His team's been behind in the fight for a very long time, and now we're seeing the repercussions of that. The Debbies, you know, they have 2 orbs. They're still wiping Datacus' team. The staggered res, the worst scenario, honestly, that you can be in. They're stabilizing it reasonably well, but the points are now equal. 2 orbs in favor of the Debbies. They still have a lot of pressure here. Solo and Dean, this melee composition is quite tanky coming in from Datacus. I guess that's the advantage of it, but they're still staggering, and they're not really getting any pressure on these orb carriers just because of how far behind they've been in this fight.
Rev finally taking a little bit of burst. This massive amount of damage he's going to receive holding onto that orb, but now this is a really good spot for, you know, the team of the Debbies. They are advantaged in terms of points. They've been split resing Datacus' team the entire game. Rev just barely holds on, does fall with Demon War, does manage to snipe that kill, but they now have a nice lead, still up 1 orb to 0. Their ability to stagger Datacus' team was really what put them in this great situation. But it's still a close match, 1 orb each. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, Milk taking a little bit of damage. Milk, of course, was the member who picked up the flag here for Datacus' team. It's honestly quite even. I mean, I think the Debbies did get the better of the initial trade since they're 390 to 290 essentially on points. And there's 1 orb apiece here. Milk will be a vulnerable target at some point. With Dingle down, there's a good chance the Debbies are going to start falling here. They're down a healer. Sko is low on mana. He's without a trinket to get out of any of this crowd control. He's got a lot of work to do if he is going to stabilize his team. It looks like they are going to end up losing a few more members here. And I honestly don't think I think Milk dying doesn't really matter too much. What really matters here is if I Love My Dog can survive, because they're still without a healer. The full kidney shot on Sko, no heals coming out. They get that, and they still have the edge in this fight for Datacus' team.
Yeah, Venom's barely holding on. Are they going to be able to get the pick? Datacus and Korlek still in midfield with good heals. Dean grabs an orb. Rev has an orb. 1 orb apiece. Certainly right now there is a slight lead for the Debbies at around 500 points, whereas Team Datacus is at around 350. Dean getting really low as they focus him down. Life Cocoon coming in from Korlek to keep him alive. He has to just stall as long as he can with this orb. Rev could easily go down as well. He gets bursted down. He's trying to kite away, but just not the same amount of mobility on that Havoc Demon Hunter as the Vengeance Demon Hunter, and there's no getting out of that one. Ultimately, he will fall, and now the Alliance that picked up both orbs, and they're going to be collecting quite a bit of points. They might be able to catch up.
Yeah, Korlek actually is completely out of mana at this point in the game. Datacus also very low. One of the strategies we've seen from some of the other teams is when the healers are they're the ones that prioritize picking up the orbs so that they get killed off, get to reset that mana bar to full. Because there's still a lot of time left on this game. We're 500 points into a 1500 game, about a third of the way through. So if these healers stay then it's going to be the worst scenario for Datacus' team. You know, you can see the great strategy coming in from the Debbies. They're just crowd controlling the healers. They're not focusing on them. They're killing off the melee DPS. Korlek is snuck away though. He's drinking mana in the back line. Rev goes over to stop him, but it's too little too late. Korlek has a nice juicy blue bar. Datacus now looking to do the same thing. Resets coming in from both these healers. Nicely played, as they still find themselves a bit behind on points, but the fight they're starting to stabilize in.
Yeah, things aren't looking bad. Milkman in really good position, just collecting many points. Sven going to be chasing him down. Milkman with a good stun, but I think it might be too little too late. It's going to be so difficult. There's a full kidney shot. Life Cocoon gets taken through instantaneously, but he still does manage to survive, but not for much longer. He will fall. It's just too much burst damage. Now, right now, you can see board they do have both of these orbs, and that is going to be the Debbies. And this is an opportunity for them to come back in this game. They're a little bit behind on points right now, down around 140. They need to keep Rev alive. They have to keep these flag carriers up. But like you said, these healers, they just don't have too much to work with, and the amount of damage that they have to heal through is absolutely insane.
It's always so much fun watching Temple. I'm so happy whenever these teams pick it, because it's just slaughter on both sides. Whoever picks up the orb is basically sentencing themselves to death at the cost of a few points or resources for their team. See Datacus caught in midfield. He has a bit more mana, so they're happy to target him a little bit more, but that bear form is going to be very tanky, whether you're in 3v3 or a 6v6 scenario. My Free Camel also utilizing the bear form. He does have an orb right now for his team. The Horde actually has 2 orbs, and for the first time, we'll see Datacus' team actually catching up and even overtaking the Debbies a little bit here. Oh no, sorry, I think the Debbies are playing Horde right now, right? Yeah, so the Debbies will regain their lead here with the double orb, but they're doing it outside of the central zone, which means those stacks are increasing on both of these flag carriers. They're taking more and more damage without really getting many points. Like, look how slowly their points are going up right now.
Yeah, it's definitely really slow, and Camel and both Dingle I think are going to fall in this situation. Camel's trying to get away. Ooh, a nice leap, but gets sniped by Milkman. Now Dingle in some trouble. Milkman trying to chase him down too. It's going to be a double kill for Milkman. Really nicely done. Venom's falls in the meantime as well, so at least it's not a 4 versus 6 situation. They managed to take one down, 4 versus 5. Who's going to be picking up the orbs? Looks like the Alliance managed to get it, and that is going to be Team Datacus. Are they going to be able to maintain their lead? 1 orb apiece. Dean gets caught into a kidney shot. Is he going to get bursted down? He has the orb right now. They definitely have their work cut out for him. Korlek and Datacus, they need to find the heals to keep him alive. It's such a bad situation to be in. When you pick up an orb and instantly get taken down, the enemy team ends up getting more benefit than you really do. So you have to keep those orb carriers alive for as long as possible. And it really is a question, who's going to fall first? Is it going to be Rev? Is it going to be Dean? Darkness gets dropped out by Rev. Dean gets caught into a kidney shot. Rev moving forward. Both orb carriers into kidney shot. I think it's likely both of them fall, but just big heals coming in from Dingle and Scuba to keep Rev alive.
We're at a perfectly tied game at this moment of time. Actually, one of the things that I believe is true for 6v6 is that the number of points you get on the outer rims compared to 10v10 is even lower, because the developers obviously wanted to incentivize this big skirmish happening in the center field when there's only 6 people. It's, you know, much harder to chase people on the outskirts. That's why you see such little points in 6v6 when the teams do opt to pick up the orbs outside. And that's why it's like almost never worth in 6v6 picking up the orb if you're not going to be in the center, because all you're doing is you're essentially committing yourself to death. Your stacks are going to keep go up, and your team is basically getting no payout for it. So you want to be rushing the center ASAP in the 6v6 mode of this Battleground. The team's still pretty tied. You see it again, 1-to-1 on flags. Horde starting to take a little bit of an advantage. That's the Debbies, I do believe, here, starting to get further and further ahead. Once again, still that opening advantage they got is paying out for them, but the momentum really is shifting back and forth still.
Yeah, but Dean could fall. He's the orb carrier. Can they take him down? Too much damage. He has no way to avoid it on that warrior. Span on the Windwalker Monkey's trying to kite away, uses the Transcendence to get out of line of sight. Milkman was chasing him down. Solomon grips him into the midfield, then tries to get away. Datacus gets sniped here as well. Big damage coming in. Really nicely done by the Devies. They can get this kill on the healers. It's going to be such a massive advantage. Scuba going to be dropping out the Spiritling Totem to keep his team alive. They're going to keep up this lead. They have both orbs at this point. Now over 200 points in the lead. Rev still trying to kite away. If they can take down Rev, it's going to be great. Dingle also on that Mistweaver Monk, going to be really vulnerable. A little bit afraid to commit to midfield. He's trying to just kite around the outskirts of the map as he realizes likely Rev will fall. Doesn't want to give a free kill here to Datacus, but now Datacus in some trouble. He could get taken down. This is beautiful cross kills from both of these teams. Datacus does manage to survive. Good heals from Korlek. Now this is an opportunity potentially for the Alliance to start getting some points. Team Datacus, they have to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, the Debbies are 1-0 up in the series. It's an elimination series. They're just 200 points away from eliminating Datacus from this tournament. I've been thoroughly impressed by the Debbies, more and more so. This was the map they got destroyed by SX6 on yesterday. They're looking like a whole new team here, as they are momentarily going to be able to pick up this map. Datacus has the orb, but not for much longer, as the Restoration Druid, the captain, falls, and his ship may well follow with him very shortly. 150 points, double orb here for the Horde, for the Debbies, who are looking to close in on this victory.
Yeah, Rev just dancing circles around Team Datacus. Dingle as well. Look at Dingle's position. He's so far away. He has that Transcendence up. If they ever chase him down, he can run into the midfield, then portal back up if he needs to. But this will be a Debbies victory. I think it's really unlikely at this point that they fall. Dingle portals up once again. They have both orbs. They're just 40 points away from closing out this game. Extremely well played by them. And it looks like Team Datacus will tap out of this one.
Yep, so that means we will have the Debbies going up against Bailamos in the next series.
Dry Brew It's a tank shredder. Basically, it shreds through tanks. Whereas Seth Curry, it's a little bit more difficult for him. Basically, the only time he can kill Rev is if Rev is in a stun. The opposite for Spen is he's going to have high uptime on Bailamos, who's just sitting in bear form basically the entire time, trying to tank through that damage. And with the Tiger Eye Brew and the amount of burst damage you have with Serenity, I could easily see one big crit with Fist of Fury, Rising Sun Kick, and they could take down Bailamos with unexpected damage.
Alrighty then. So we're going to have Bailamos and Rev running into the midfield. This is the first game of the lower bracket finals. Winner will go to the grand finals. Loser will be eliminated here. We see Bailamos sneaking off to the side. He always seems to find a way through the enemy lines. Once again, he's going to walk into the enemy base. Meanwhile, Rev doesn't have to sneak his way around. He just jumps through the enemy lines, and he has also made it to the enemy base. So both these tanks have achieved their goal in the start here. We're unlikely to see any quick caps. And yeah, pretty standard start for both of these teams.
Yep, Scuba taking a little bit of damage in the midfield. You definitely don't want to be losing anyone this early on in the match. Scuba will survive, and when you're in these situations where you have sort of a 5-man skirmish where it's 2 healers versus 3 DPS, I was just going to say, I guess it's very unlikely someone falls, but, you know, Burnt, Baron, they prove me wrong, and that's the power of that Fire Mage with the Destruction Warlock. If you can get a greater Power Blast off with a Chaos Bolt, you can just say good night to someone, and it's going to be Camel that sleeps early on.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Burnt didn't even press Infernals in this opening fight. He was holding onto that 3-minute cooldown, perhaps for a tank push, or some, you know, like when the tanks are actually engaged in the fight, but they still managed to get the kill on My Free Camel. That's going to give them a slight edge here. Bailamos, though, actually, it kind of works out to his disadvantage because My Free Camel has spawned right where Bailamos was running. He chose to run through Graveyard this time, as opposed to Ramp, which we've seen from him in previous attempts. But the Guardian Druid is just as mobile, to be honest, as a Havoc Demon Hunter before that buff starts stacking up. I think at 5 stacks of the flag carrying buff, that's when you lose the increased movement speed, and Bailamos is just using travel form. He actually gets caught up in a Hibernate though. Nice little cheeky play coming in from My Free Camel, but I don't think it's going to lead to too much. Bailamos just able to kite away here. He's so tanky before the stacks start to build up, so he should be just...
Yeah, should be. I mean, that was a very nice play by Camel. If Camel can keep landing these Hibernates consistently in the match, it will be good. You can see Camel moving forward. He's going to be trying to get some damage out right now. I love my dog actually getting bursted down, getting caught in a swap. He vanishes off to escape. Baron Nova's him out. Looking for a greater power blast. Is he going to be able to take him down? This is going to be disastrous. Rogue is such an important part of an offense. If he gets taken down, it's going to be disaster. But luckily, Dingle gets there in position to keep him alive.
Yeah, Dingle actually is in the offense right now. Seth Curry has a really good Transcendence positioning, I believe. He was right on top of Rev. He has a 1v1 here. If he can catch Rev, there's no healer in support right now. Dingle is on offense. He is now starting to mount back. Doesn't want to risk anything early on here, as Rev has finally been caught. The Ring of Peace, although good crowd control from Rev denies anything. Honestly, I don't think that Seth Curry has managed to get a single attack on Rev throughout this entire time that he's been in the 1v1, showing that Rev really is a step above these other Demon Hunters.
Yeah, he certainly is, but I mean, Seth Curry honestly hasn't hit any of these Demon Hunters. This is why I just think it's such a weird offensive strategy. I mean, the only thing it really does sending in Seth is force a healer to come back. That's it. Other than that, there's really no chance he gets a kill. If he does, it's going to be a complete miracle. Burnt on defense, does manage to snipe a kill on Camel. And now Bailamos, Loxatar, Burnt, they're going to be feeling relatively safe, and they're just going to be committing to this 5-man defense once again in this matchup. And we haven't seen the same kind of pressure we saw earlier on in the tournament from SX6 against this defensive wall that Bailamos has really put up from the Debbys so far in this matchup. They're going to have to rethink their strategy in terms of their offensive push.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, right? Because I feel like the Debbys just have a worse composition than SX6 had for the offense. I think the Elemental was actually it was such a big player for SX6 in taking down Bailamos when we did see this matchup in the upper finals earlier today. We see a full wipe now coming out for the Debbys in their offense. This could be a potential opportunity for a counter push from Bailamos' team. We saw them try this earlier against SX6. They narrowly were able to survive this SX6 when they did go for this counter, and this is Burnt Burnt has his Infernals, and I haven't seen him use this ability the entire game. He's probably saving it for the attempt here on Rev. We'll have to see how he decides to play it. Rev already in pole position to kite. They have to go all the way around the ramp to even get up to his level, and then he can just jump down whilst they're doing it. So hasn't really been forced to use anything yet, since Seth Curry doesn't actually do any damage to him. And Seth Curry is already so low once again on this offense that, I mean, I just don't know if he'll be able to get anything done here.
Oh my goodness. As soon as they get close to Rev, it's Cyclone on Seth, Paralysis on Varen, and then all of a sudden, Rev double leaps away. He's gone, nowhere to be found. Camel just trying to take down Seth. If Camel can take down Seth, this is the perfect opportunity. Burnt has moved in, Varen's moved in as well, and if Seth falls, then it's going to be a scary situation where I just don't think they're going to be able to kill without Seth Curry there. Camel, though, could get taken down, and this is not the greatest situation for the Debbies to be in. Rev, this is time for him to run. This is Danger Town because he just lost one of his defenders. Seth Curry, Burnt, Varen, they're going to be feeling relatively confident to push forward and try to take down Rev. Meanwhile, Bailamos, he's sitting in his base, sitting completely pretty. Hamsham actually abandons Bailamos. They're making an all-in offensive push. One of the first times we've really seen this from Team Bailamos.
Yeah, this is actually, I think everyone is on offense here. Loxatar, both healers for Team Bailamos are going for the play here, leaving Bailamos completely exposed if they don't get the cap here. This is very, very scary. Rev is doing a fantastic job again, kiting, using the Ring of Peace in the tunnel. It's a move we've seen from them time and time again. As we do see, he's just kiting away. I think they just need to split some offense. We see Mindfree Camel in stealth. Now, I love my dog. They see Bailamos, the lone bear, in his base. 3 DPS on the way. No healers in sight. This is a scary situation for Bailamos.
Yeah, Hamsham, he's panicking. He's trying to get back, but Camel's denying him. He bashes him. Throws him in a cycle. Now Bailamos, he's all alone. Spen, I love my dog. What is Bailamos going to do? Rev, he still has to kite away. It's not over for him as well.
Here we go.
Look quickly at Bailamos. How's he going to survive this? He's just tanking through the damage. It's basically a race to the finish at this point. Hamsham won't be able to reconnect. Bailamos is surviving, but Rev, he's looking like he's going to be fine. He just needs to get in position to cap the flag. Bailamos will ultimately fall here. He just has no heals at all, and he will die. That was a great peel off by I Love My Dog, by Spin, to get aggressive. And furthermore, Camel getting that crowd control on Hamsham, denying his ability to reconnect, was just really, really well done.
Yeah, I think the Debbies played that excellently. They instantly read the situation. That there was
they got the flag, though.
I can't believe they got the flag, actually. I feel like Rev should have easily been on the flag point for the cap there. Maybe his kiting pattern didn't enable him to, since the DPS were on. We'll have to see how he can play this one. He's currently with the flag, very close to the cap. I'm actually trying to see who has it.
Burnt
on the side. Burnt has it? Okay, so Burnt has it right now. He's trying to cross through the map. If they can get over to him, they will easily land the kill. Can Bailamos reconnect? He's in stealth, approaching. He's getting very, very close, but Burnt's still stuck in the house right now. Since all the DPS did chase after Bailamos, they're not there to get the kill on Burnt right now, but they should win the race before Bailamos gets there. And I mean, now there's the killing shot. The Rogue is connected. It's looking very bad for Team Bailamos.
Yeah, it definitely is. Rev, in the meantime, though, also taking quite a bit of damage. He needs to kite away. Still trying to avoid. Are they going to be able to take down Burnt? Honestly, I can't really think of a worse flag carrier. Just not mobile at all. Ultimately, will easily fall. There's massive heals coming in, but this damage is insane from Sven, and I Love My Dog. Revel on... Oh, he's not on the cap.
He's not on the point yet.
Not on the point. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get there. Flag was picked up once again. Bailamos, did he get it? Did Bailamos actually get the flag? Is he going to be able to escape?
I think Seth Curry has it. Seth Curry has it. He used the Touch of Karma there. They're going to go through that kidney shot. Bailamos is running close. Spirit Link commits. Actually, a beautiful Transcendence positioning from Seth Curry. This guy has been insane throughout this team. I would say he's been one of the best players on Bailamos' team. We know him from the arena tournaments. He's had some fantastic individual performances. And look, Bailamos and Loxatar are druids. They have insane mobility. Bailamos actually, he falls off. But Seth Curry going to be able to reconnect. There's no one in sight. They will swap the flag back over. The druid mobility coming in clutch. But now it's not over. Bailamos is nowhere near his healers right now. Pack Spirit once again. Hamsham getting controlled in the backlines. The Rogue reconnecting. I Love My Dog. There's a movement speed impairment for this Guardian Druid. I don't think he's going to get out of this one.
He might. Loxatar is there to heal him up. Burnt with beautiful peels as well, just spamming out the fears, trying to get some counter pressure rolling on his Sven. You might be able to take him down with his Chaos Bolt, which certainly Bailamos would be able to survive. Touch of Karma denies that kill. Fear still spam happening onto I Love My Dog. He needs to get a kidney shot. They need some sort of crowd control. Hamsham now there. Bailamos has done it. They've managed to escape. What a beautiful play, like you said, from Seth Curry to set this up. Bailamos, if he can get back into his base, now it's going to be Rev that's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, touch of death committed from Seth Curry. He's looking for big damage on Rev. Uber is in the defense, though. It's only 2 people on offense for Bailamos' team right now. I think it's a tough ask for them to land this kill once again. Rev kiting away. He gets away from Scuba, but he's looking for Dingle. Dingle's trying to chase him. Rev without heals currently. The Life Cocoon does connect as 2 do manage to find each other, stabilizing temporarily. Seth Curry with the stun forces out Trinket over onto Dingle right now, but with 2 healers and a 3v2 situation, Rev should be able to survive. Meanwhile, I Love My Dog probably going to die here, gets killed off. Loxatar actually with the finishing blow, the Resto Feral Affinity, looking for that one. He's actually found Rev here. Even Feral Affinity is going to be significant damage at this point. The Restoration Druid is soloing Rev. Loxatar looking to be the MVP. Heals reconnecting from Dingle though. Looks like he's juked him away for now. The Fire Mage reconnects. Rev could die here. Maldix connect.
That was a really nice interrupt from Rev. Only reason he's alive right now. Decent heals coming in once again. And Seth Curry has finally found his target. Rev in a lot of trouble. Can they take him down? Bailamos isn't going to be able to cap. If they do, Rev just barely surviving. Life Cocoon comes in from Dingle, saving the day once again with a Ring of Peace. Rev not completely out of it. He just can't get topped off. Baron's on top of him. They can get it with the damage. Scuba, Dingle, they do it! They managed to keep Rev alive, but a double Ring of Frost comes in with a double Dragon's Breath. Rev's still running and hiding for his life. He can't kite his healers for too long. Seth's all over him if he can catch him in a stun. Rev does have a Trinket, opposite traded out immediately. Got Haymakered on his Trinket! Seth Curry, just insane plays. Rev still just flailing to survive. Bailamos in the meantime also taking a little bit of pressure. How is he going to be able to survive? But I think it's Rev that is in the most trouble.
I don't know if I should make more disbelief that Rev's staying alive. He does finally fall, or that Bailamos' team has actually got a 1-0 lead in this game. This entire game has been absolutely crazy, absolutely insane. Bailamos died at the start of this play. That's what led up to all this. He died. Seth Curry somehow managed to pick up the flag, had an excellent transcendence portal positioning, managed to reconnect with Bailamos. And I mean, they got away with murder there. Like, I can't believe that Rev didn't manage to cap that flag. Somehow, ultimately, Bailamos' team finds themselves 1 up in this series after a beautiful offensive push, finally taking down Rev. And I mean, this is where Bailamos' team wants to be. They know that they're more than happy turtling out these situations. It takes about 8 minutes for the flag stacks to completely stack up, so there's no way that we will see a full reset on those stacks, meaning that Bailamos is actually in a prime position here. Their turtle strategy is going to see them through this game, assuming they can live it up to how they have in the previous games.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a great job of it in the past, like you said, so it would be really surprising if they didn't end up being able to survive for this long. Honestly, just really well played there. That final offensive push where Baron Seth, they could get on top and take Rev down. I think that's the first time we've seen Rev fall, which is pretty crazy in this matchup. Bailamos really proving us all wrong. He said this is the motivation that they needed. All of us kind of voted against him in this matchup, but they're proven they're still here to play.
Yep, and I mean, winning this map would be huge for them because, of course, Warsong Gulch has been the map that they've struggled with the most. They've really only been going for this turtling strategy. I don't think they've actually got any flag kills against the majority of teams they've played against here. If they're able to win this one, they're going to have a huge lead in the series. Bailamos showing why, the name rings RBGs. Whenever you think of RBGs in North America, one of the first names you would always say is Bailamos, and he's looking to prove it here. Why in the first 6v6 tournament of GCD TV 2019. Saps though, Bailamos caught in normal form right now. Might have to trade out the Trinket. Looks like he should be okay. Trades out Bark Skin. Double DPS connecting Star Surge. Rifle Camel is on fire right now. Has that Incarnation active. Big damage, but being crowd controlled. CC'd on his Trinket also. Nice place to shut down that Incarnation.
Yeah, Seth Curry on a one-man mission once again. Try to put some pressure on Rev. I Love My Dog taking some burst damage. Burnt and Baron. If they can get a kill, they do. They manage to find huge damage. Nicely done. That offense is going to get shut down now, but Bailamos is going to be feeling relatively safe. I think really that Rogue is the most important tool on their team in order to take down Bailamos. And with him gone, Bailamos isn't going to be locked down. There's no threat of big kidney shots. Camel could easily fall as well. Bailamos moving in, trying to take down Camel. And this is really looking good for Team Bailamos. He's in a safe position with Loxatar. I think they're just going to fully commit to a defensive strategy. Seth Curry just sitting on Dingle. Seth Curry is just, I don't know. He's been playing really well in this game. He always seems to be doing exactly what he needs to be doing in these matchups. You know, chasing down Rev, forcing Dingle to come back. When Dingle's finally trying to help out with the team, Seth Curry's all over him, shutting him down. And I've just been really impressed with this play.
Bailamos is even, he actually made the play there to go over to the hut, pick up the berserking and click it off. He doesn't want to take any chances in this game, not giving his opponent the opportunity to get that powerful buff that would enhance their damage. So Bailamos, he just knows all the tricks on RPGs. He's been doing it for such a long time. He's not willing to let his veteran status forego him in this situation. 4 minutes left on the timer. You can see that he still has the increased movement speed, meaning that he has less than 5 stacks at this moment in time. I think the stacks stack up every minute, so there's no way he'll get to 10 stacks. It's looking fantastic for him. He's over with Hamsham at this situation. I think Loxatar most likely should be trying to get back to defense. He actually gets kidney shot far away, but they didn't opt to commit damage to that one. So both the healers will be able to reconnect over onto Bailamos. Of course, in addition to that, you've got Burnt sitting in defense. You've got the Ring of Pieces. It's looking, I mean, a good situation. Bailamos, though, once again gets caught in a stun outside of their form. Maybe he was trying to land a wild charge there, but no one was in line of sight. Infernals connect, though. Burnt's looking to clear out this off.
Yep, can he do it is the question. They've actually changed up their healing strategy, so Dingle is going to be the one that manages to push in with the offense instead of Scuba. Scuba's going to be back defending Rev from Seth Curry. I don't know if that's necessarily the best pick. You'd think Scuba would be a better option for their offense to shut down Burn, shut down Baron, but it's Bailamos who's in a kitty shot. He's caught in the midfield right now. I love my dog. Back into the fight. Spen as well. If he has Serenity, Bailamos could fall. It's a lot of pressure coming in. But Burns, he's been doing such a good job on that Destruction Warlock. He's getting massive counter pressure. It's just a really difficult situation to be in because you want to interrupt the healers so you can take down Bailamos, but if you're not interrupting the Destro Warlock, you're just dead. And Rev is actually taking a surprising amount of damage as well. I really don't like the fact that Scuba and Dingle switch up roles in this match. Seems like Rev is just way more vulnerable. Dingle's not nearly as good at healing this, healing this offense and really shutting down some of the damage Burnt has available. I actually think this is just a really big mistake overall from this team.
I guess the only reason I can think they might have done it is because they think Dingle is a better offensive healer. Maybe he's playing the Way of the Crane and they think that additional damage will help them, but it definitely doesn't look good in defense because Rev can't kite with a Resto Shaman. He knows that the Resto Shaman will just get kited as well. And I mean, because of that, he's just tanking damage. Sco's burnt through his entire mana pool. Seth Curry, when he has uptime, turns out he's quite a scary prospect. But maybe none of this will ever end up mattering because the offense did get wiped out. Bailamos still has that 1 point lead with 2 minutes left on this game, ladies and gentlemen. Bailamos with the 1 point lead. Their defense has been impeccable all tournament long, and they just need to turtle for 2 more minutes here, not even with maximum stacks. I think they're at 7 stacks right now. And I mean, if they can do it for one more offensive push, they will win this game and have a fantastic lead heading into what could presumably be their grand final push.
Yeah, I mean, winning the first game is definitely going to be comfortable for either one of these teams. The Bailamos team doing it in style, and yeah, that last offensive push, just definitely not a fan. Dingle was crowd controlled from start to finish. Varen, Burnt just spamming Fear and Polymorph over and over. He has no defense like Scuba does, so I really want to see Scuba being the one that is going to be pushing in and playing offensive, but they're not going to be making that adaptation, and because of that, I just think it's so unlikely to actually push through and take down Bailamos.
Yep, it's definitely looking that way right now. They're setting up, they're posturing for this final push. Here comes the kidney shot. Bailamos actually isn't in his optimum defensive position right now, and he's sitting in the Earthen Shield Totem, so he's going to be kind of committing. He's actually walking out of his own Earthen Shield Totem here from Hamsham, because he'd rather get back into this room where we've seen him have so much success. Looks like he's just kind of tanking through it. I don't know, like the damage isn't high enough. The gateway's been set up. Maybe he can walk over to his gateway to get that uphill position. Instead, just wild charges up there. There's no one up there to batch him. 30 seconds left on the timer. Bailamos' team will win. A nice knock, though. Big play coming in from My Free Camel. Typhoon and Bailamos back down, but he didn't hit everyone. He didn't hit Hamsham, meaning that wild charge onto Hamsham is still an option for Bailamos here.
Yeah, definitely. Bailamos getting sniped, though. Big burst damage. That's going to be the Spiritling Totem, that lifeline coming in from Hamsham. He triggers out of the Cyclone as well. They don't want to fall behind. There's 11 seconds left. They have to use everything. This is the moment. This is so close. With just 10 seconds left, they almost killed Bailamos. I love my dog. He has to hold on. 2 seconds. 1 second, and that is going to be it. The Bailamos team take the first map in the series.
Fight and wipe out the Debbies, then most likely, you know, they're going to have a big advantage not only on lava but also going into future cuts as well.
Yeah, what's going on? Lava spawns, water right now in the central minecart. Looks like Rev is going to quickly run over there and tag that. And like we kind of talked about for Horde, it is an advantage. If Rev just tags it, converts it, and runs back into the team fight, that's an ideal situation. But looks like he's not going to do that. He's going to just sit, try to catch that note. Finally now going to be moving over. Camel getting low, Scuba as well. Team fight definitely going in favor of Bailamos right now.
Yeah, that is the disadvantage of sending Rev over. Obviously, the payoff is very much worthwhile as Rev does finally connect into the team fight. His team needs to recover from behind. Bink Dingle already had to trade out his trinket. See low health bars all over the side of, and actually a Spiritling coming out as well, and a Darkness. Huge overlap there from Sko and Rev. That's the big raid cooldowns committed already on the side of the Debbies. Loxatar meanwhile taking a bit of damage, but Greater Pyros are connecting over onto Sko. Full blind onto Camel on his incarnation. No damage coming in from him. Sko so low on health. No Spiritling available. Barely gets away with his life.
Yeah, burned his landing. Chaos Bolt after Chaos Bolt. Finally, that gets shut down just a little bit by Camel, but I love my Rogue. He gets caught into a stun. He's going to be taken down. You can see now, Horde side, luckily for them, they did manage to take that first node at the central point, but it looks like Alliance will convert and Team Bailamos will be able to catch up, taking cart number 2. Now, finally, the top cart spawns. Rev immediately takes it. Good positioning by him. Now he's going to be slowly getting this money. We kind of talked about another really important part of this map is split resing. Now that I love my dog has spawned on Rogue, if they can take down Dingle really, really quickly, it's going to be huge. Another split team fight. And this is kind of disastrous right now for the Debbies. They're just in a situation where they're mound down once again, and having that be a healer is just a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, they're being a bit tricky, you know, like Rev has been doing a fantastic job. I honestly think he's been one of the MVPs for this Debbies lineup throughout the entire day, putting out plays, and he's been the one picking up these off carts for them, which has been seeing them get advantages, but Bailamos' team has been completely annihilating the team fights. Like, we have set something off inside this team here by predicting against them. They're looking like a completely different roster, absolutely destroying the Debbies in every single team fight right now. We see split reses, we see deaths galore. I don't think we've seen a single person die yet on the side of Bailamos, and this water cart will cap first. The water cart is closer to capping. It's a shorter cap path than the top one, so they're going to have the edge on lava when it spawns as well. The things are definitely starting to steam ahead in favor of Bailamos.
Yeah, I think that's certainly true, but they're still behind at this point. I mean, they do have a lead, or they don't have a lead. They're getting more kills, that's for sure, but I think with the positioning Rev's had where he's picking up these carts, these off carts that are spawning, look, they have top, it's just going to ship. Eventually, it's guaranteed points. Now they can get into a team fight situation, which they have been losing, but they're still winning. Like, they're still ahead on points, so it's not too bad. I think it's kind of a dangerous game when you're just throwing party members down in these team fights at sort of a disadvantage. Rev's just going to be playing the midfield once again, potentially trying to pick up the newly spawned cart if it does happen. I just want to make sure he's not going to lose that investment of that top card, as it's unlikely they can really contest the central node at this point. Team Bailamos easily clean them up.
Yep, so it will be another 1-for-1 trade. The central cart won easily by Bailamos, and they, like I said, they do have the slight time edge on that as well, so they're already starting to reposition here. Take control of center once again for the new lava cart. As it spawns, you can see Seth Curry and Hamsham already there to cap that as soon as it spawns. That said, actually, it does end up going over to the Horde here. More bodies committed from the Debbies. Nice positioning from them. I guess that's one of the advantages if you have like a full team of melees, is that you can just have your team constantly inside the cart, whereas these casters, Burn and Verin, whilst they're trying to set up their Greater Pyros and Chaos Bolts, they're doing it from further away. So, you know, whilst he's casting their Greater Power, you can see Verin right now, he's actually leaving the cart passively as it moves away from him. So The positioning, they've got to be very careful about it. Rev once again instantly caps that water cart in favor of his team, and that's where these little advantages are coming from the Debbies. Rev always, even if his team loses the team fight, he's making sure he's first those carts, getting those little, 5 or 10 point advantages, and it's starting to add up. Already 50 points between the teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely starting to add up, and actually this node's going to get converted, and now the Debbies, they're in a situation where they have both carts in their favor. I don't even know, how did that happen?
Look at the crowd control.
Yeah, the crowd control is too good.
Range are just, they're never in the cart.
Yeah, they're just completely knocked out. They need to get deeper into this node, because at this point it's going to be a 2-cart advantage for the team of the Debbies. This is a little bit of a disaster for Team Bailamos.
Yeah, I mean, they're winning the team fights, but that's not the only objective here. This isn't arena. Like in RBGs, winning the team fights is only part of the battle. You've also got to make sure you're converting that into objectives. And the Debbies here, if they can get 2 cards, that's going to be absolutely huge. Full resources being committed by Bailamos' team. All of these cool tier and racials, that really seems to be the ultimate race, since we do have, tournament server. All these teams can play whatever racial they want. All those cool tier and knocks coming out, knocking people, punting them out of the carts. Debbies convert 1 cap. Looks like they're going to be able to convert water here as well, and now have a huge lead.
They're just owning Team Bailamos. Like we said, they kind of were losing the team fights, but in terms of positioning and their map awareness, it just seems like they are a cut above the rest. Rev going to be completely defending right now that central point, and that will cap over. Now this is a good situation for Team Bailamos to try to get a kill, but Bailamos gets caught in a stun. He could easily fall here. There's a lot of burst damage coming in from the Debbies. Bailamos catches some big heals from Hamsham, from Loxatar, in order to survive a beautiful leg sweep coming in from Seth, clipping everyone on the enemy team, and that will keep his team alive. She's trying to push in, but Horde, the Debbies, it looks like they're going to be able to hold on to this cart.
Yep.
And Rev, once again, look at Rev! Oh, it was so nice! He prisoned Bailamos right out of the circle and just jacked it right in front of his eyes. He had no trinket. That was just beautifully done once again. Rev, honestly, MVP of the series.
It's insane. Yeah, Rev has been playing absolutely crazy. He has complete advantage over the Rogue too, because he has the Spectral side. He just sees Bailamos coming, stuns it, nicks it from under him. Poor Bailamos here. That's, if anything's going to make him more mad than our prediction, I feel like it's something like that. But I feel like the Demon Hunter also is going to have a complete advantage against the Subtlety Rogue. There's no way that a Subtlety Rogue can kill a Demon Hunter 1v1. Rev's going to be completely content to take this into a 1v1 situation. That said, Dingle does end up falling in the 5v5 team fight up top. So Bailamos' team have flipped that cart. They now have a small advantage. Hamsham is starting to peel off. They're looking to try regain center, as it looks like both teams have stopped contesting that one. They're going to give it over to Bailamos. But as long as Lava stays in favor here, they're actually going to go try get the Lava. If they can get the double cap here, this will put Bailamos way back in the series.
They did it. That was really nicely done. Beautiful crowd control on Loxatar. Unfortunately, or on Spen, pardon me. They got the crowd control on Spen, and because of that, they were able to get more members in. Really nicely done converting these 2 nodes. So this is the perfect opportunity for them to play catch up in this game. I'll have to see. Top is going to get capped. Ooh, I love my rogue. Is I love my rogue going to be able to ninja? I don't think so. Varen's actually defending over there, so there's a lot happening over on the other side of the map right now. Looks like Lava will be going towards the Alliance.
Up top, there's a Druid there as well. Varen is up there, but this could actually be a ninja. I don't think
they're going to get it, I think. They're going to get it back.
Out, but it is a 2v1. There's so much time on the cart. I actually think they've got this for sure. The Debbie's coming up.
Varen just dipped, dude. He doesn't want to have anything to do with that. Peaced out.
Yeah, he doesn't love his rogue, so he's going to be out of there instantly. That means it's actually a 1-for-1 trade, and with such an advantage already on points, the Debbies really needed that. That was Bailamos' ticket back into this game here, and now the Debbies able to shut that out. I was saying like the macro play there from Bailamos was absolutely insane. They won the cart, they flipped it back over, won Lava as well. It was looking great, but the counterplay, they weren't ready for it. The additional stealth members on the Debbies not accounted for. And Burnt actually left that card. If Burnt had stayed, I feel like they would have held that. So maybe a slight mistake from Burnt X there. Now we're once again finding the Debbies far, far ahead. Somehow Bailamos needs to win 2 cards on one of these trades.
Yeah, Burn, 14. Bailamos is defending right now, and he's just been such a heavy hitter in the team fights. When these teams do go head-to-head, he needs to sort of abandon his post and come help out, because this fight at Lava is going to mean a lot. It's basically going to be an all-out slugfest, but it's not the worst position for Team Bailamos to be. It's actually the best position they could be in. They fight right now. The team fight doesn't really matter if they lose. Well, it does matter because Horde is winning, but they have that off card going their way. That's the one thing they do have going for them. So this is going to be a team fight. They definitely need to win.
Yep, and they're looking good right now. They have actually, I think they have like maybe a man advantage. I think they have one extra person here, but everyone's doing a good job of staying inside. Spen actually gets crowd control outside. A nice kidney shot coming in from Bailamos, just securing his team the advantage here. We see it is looking like it's most likely just going to be another 1-for-1 trade. Both these caps will happen at the exact same time here. So watch Rev. Is Rev already peeling off? You can see he's going for it. The ring of pieces are coming in though. The ride the wind from Seth Curry helping Bailamos' entire team reconnect to these carts. But a beautiful route coming in from Sko. The triple Earth Grab, I think that was, means that he's actually first into the cart. Hamsham gets it. Double Horde connection here. This is really good for the Debbies. They already have a massive lead. I think one more cap will probably do it. 150 points for a cap, plus the residual points from these carts. Even the top flag, the fact that they have that already before they go to this team fight is huge.
Yeah, I mean, they could literally just sit on the top card at this point in the game and they just win. I'm pretty sure that's just the winning strategy, but they're going to be going for it. They're going to be really committing, keeping the pressure up against Team Bailamos, keeping them sort of on the back foot in this matchup. As the top cart marches its way towards the end. It's still a little bit away. This lava will certainly cap first, so this team fight is going to be really, really important. We have to see Team Bailamos hold on. Maybe one of them sort of escape. Look at Hamsham. He's going to go do it. He's going to go convert top for the Alliance. And now we'll have to see if they can win this team fight. I think it's unlikely at this point. It is a 5 versus 6 situation. Hamsham just positioned so far away. If they can hold on to this note, this would be such a miraculous comeback.
Yeah, Hamsham actually, he didn't really commit to the play. He didn't actually fully cap the note. Now he's had to go all the way back.
Oh, no.
He is capping it now for the team. So he has capped it for the Alliance now, but it's such a long time that he's been away. If Horde can cap this lava card, I'm not sure if they're able to do it. It looks like they should. Hamsham was away for so long. It's just about putting bodies in the car. They have 6 bodies versus 5. They can hold this. They will be about 40 points away from winning the entire game. It's looking so good for them. Hamsham went for a risky pay, and it has not paid off in this situation. The payload delivers for the Debbies. 40 points is now the name of the game for them. Meanwhile, Bailamos' team needs over 600.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Spen's going to be converting the central node right now, and if that's for the Horde, I think those residual points, as long as they can hold on tight, that will be enough for them to win. Once top converts, actually Rev's going to go ninja. Is he going to get it? Rev's just crossing the map. This would be really big for his team. If they get that, the game is just 100% over. Rev just sitting there. He's having fun. They get it. Horde, 2 cards to none. 25 points away from closing out this game. And looks like they want to tie up the series.
Yeah, I mean, this was just a clean game from the entirety of the Debbies. They played it fantastically. I think they really abused Burnex in particular on that Destro Warlock. Like, him and Virin, they both have to stand there and cast for such a long time. They're just getting constantly punted out of the cart by the Courtierans, rooted everything. They don't have the mobility that the melees have. It was just such clean execution from the Debbies. And then Hamsham not...
I love my dog and Rev to sort of maneuver around the map on the rogue and sort of keep the enemy team guessing, and that really has been one of the strengths. I mean, you can see with Camel, I love my dog, Rev, having 3 DPS that can be in stealth. It's basically hiding what moves you're going to be making next, and I think Bailamos, you're going to have to do a really good job making sure they're tracking those players.
Yeah, I mean, however you want to pronounce Bailamos, like he said himself, every single language recognizes the word leader, and Bailamos has always been the leader throughout RBG communities in North America. He will probably be the one shot calling these 2 rogues and druid on the side of the Debbies as they look to cause mischief, get ninja caps over on the mines potentially. Bailamos has done a good job so far in previous series on this map of holding his own even in 1v2 situations. But I Love My Dog and Rev Rogue, they've also done a good job of ninjaing. I don't think these 2 teams have met prior to this series, so it's going to be a jolly good show if they do go for that. Obviously, at the start, the main fight will be over Waterworks. Actually, it's a lot of trickery going on. There's only 2 people for each team currently committing to this fight, as the Rogues are yet to reveal themselves. They don't really want to give away their position right now. Spen is in defense right now, getting sapped up. So one rogue reveals himself a little bit. That's Bailamos sitting in the backline with Spen actually committing over there. That's going to force Burn back into defense. It's really interesting strategy coming in from Debbie early on.
This is really weird to me. We have Rev moving forward, and then I Love My Dog peeling back to defend. I don't know. They just traded places. I'm not exactly sure why that just happened, but yes, I Love My Dog. He's more confident in this 1v1 versus Seth Curry. Seth Curry moving in. This is what I talked about. The Windwalker Monk going to be able to do a really good job in these 1v1 situations. You can actually see this is something that might be important later on if we end up where nobody caps a base at this point. Right now, the Alliance is actually slightly ahead, which is it could end up dictating the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, that normally we see these teams cap perfectly in sync. I'm wondering maybe if one of the members used more movement mobility to get over. Actually, really good cross-crowd control coming in from Vern. He CC'd both the members. Scuba had to trinket to deny the ninja cap from Hamsham. That would have been a sick play if they could have actually capped the base in the 2v2 situation. And that is one of the potentials of the mage. You know, like you have the Ring of Frost, you have the polymorph. They already force out one trinket. Now it looks like they're going for the inverse play, but first going to happily trinket out. The 2v2, I actually kind of like it from the Debbies. They're trying to cause a little bit of chaos, I think, in the comms from Bailamos' team right now, but so far Bailamos' team's been matching them.
Yeah, you have to keep the leader distracted. Like you said, if Bailamos can make the plays, then it's going to be difficult for the team. But if you keep him distracted enough in this matchup, force him to focus on this sort of 2v2 setup, maybe that's what you need to sort of break that leadership. I'm not sure. Good crowd control coming in right now from the Debbies. They managed to get a kill on I Love My Dog. He's going to be taken down at the White House in a 2v2 situation. Now Seth Curry and Burn, they're actually doing a good job. Dingo's going to try to defend, but if they can get a full fear on him, they might be able to cap Lighthouse.
Yeah, I actually think Seth Curry might have soloed I Love My Dog 1v1 at Lighthouse, and now Dingle has resurrected and he's come back to defend, but he's too late. I mean, Burn's going to get these chaos pods. They might actually get the kill here. Full counter spell as they look to get the kill. Seth Curry actually leaps into range. Dingle will fall.
Ooh,
I love my rogue. He's trying to get back. I don't know if he's going to make it in time. Seth Curry's going to deny him. What a play. Seth Curry MVP at the start of this one as Burn picks up the first flag.
Oh, Team Bailamos, they got to be pleased with this one. They're up 1 and a converted node over against 0 of the Debbies, unfortunately for them. And still, we can see Waterworks in contention at this point. Bailamos going to have to defend against Spen and Rev at this point, but we've seen him do it before. We've seen him being able to defend Loxatar. He's almost in a good position. If they can just hold on to these 2 nodes, they will win the game, but they're doing a great job also just denying any cap at Waterworks. It's really, really important, and so far, Horde is just going to be inching further and further towards victory, and the Alliance, they're just stagnant at this point. They don't have any points going their way. This is kind of disastrous for the Debbies.
Seth Curry, what a player. This guy, like, he wins the 1v1 again, and that was the looming threat against Milk, I remember last time that Bailamos' team ran on this map and ended up beating Datacus. Now they have 2 bases off of his play. They were able to get the kill through Dingle, through everything. The Alliance are yet to cap a single base in counter to this play from Bailamos' team. The points are racking up 2-0 base advantage, and that will add up very quickly. The Alliance obviously losing out. Hamsham falls though, as they will most likely counter with a pick on Waterworks here. It's only Vern left over on this Fire Mage. He's probably either going to get CC'd or killed, most likely in the near future. But members are peeling in. It's getting close. Like, the longer they can get this, the full blind comes out. Actually, the rogue is able to get back now. I feel like they should just kill off Vern. Like, at this point, you've won the fight. Don't go for the crowd control. Like, if people keep snowballing in, but they do manage to get the cap just about. So it will be a 2-1 lead in favor of Bailamos. But the onus is still very much on the Debbies if they are to convert this game into victory. This is an elimination series.
Yeah, Team Bailamos, they just have to play really, really defensive in this situation. Make sure they always have at least 2 defenders at a node. Really reduce the amount of opportunities there are to ninja cap in this matchup. Loxatar could get picked off here. His stock Rev is going to be defending for the team of the Debbies as they try to make a play happen. But when you're this far behind, it's a really difficult situation to come back from, and you kind of are forced to make risky plays. You might end up seeing Rev get off of defense, try to move forward, look for a ninja cap, try to win the numbers game, but I think if they just sit back, they play it passive, only try to win with 5 members, I don't know if they're going to be able to take one of these caps away in a team fight.
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult situation to be in. That said, if you were going to try and get a ninja cap, like this would be the competition to do it. You've got the double rogue, you've got the Moonkin Druid, so there's a lot of stealth opportunities. Bailamos is really going to have to lead his team here. Doesn't have his trinket right now, so that could be a potential opening for a ninja cap if they can catch him off guard later on. There's a little bit of a skirmish going on at the lighthouse right now. Seems like both teams are equally matched in terms of resources. Got Hamsham coming back. I Love My Dog is posturing in stealth right now. I'd actually maybe like to see him go for a play at Mines. He's actually going to blind up Hamsham and commit to this fight, though. They want to win this one here at Lighthouse. It's probably the better place for them to be fighting since it's nearer to their spawns. We see a smoke bomb play coming out, but I actually think that Spurn might have preemptively got the Fist of Fury there on the kidney shot, so maybe a nice play from him. Loxatar taking a little bit of damage, running back, getting the gate, though. It feels like this is just kind of like it's stalling from Bailamos' team. Like, they know they win the longer this game goes on, and like the onus is really on these rogues to create some sort of play, and so far they've been unable to find it.
Yeah, Rev, he needs to do something. Like I said, I don't think playing it safe is going to bank them a win. I think they have to make some sort of risky play. At this point, they're going to be peeling off of Lighthouse. It seems like Team Bailamos, they're easily able to defend at this point. Actually, maybe not. If Loxatar falls, it's going to be dangerous. Bailamos actually needs a little bit of backup at this point. Hamsham trying desperately to get back in range. Needs to keep Loxatar alive. We'll have to see if he's able to do it. Burn with beautiful peels. Bailamos keeping the flag nice and clean. Scuba trying to look for some ninjas, but that easily gets shut down. Bailamos all over it. He does not want to throw away the series. You can see Rev on Rogue. He's going to be moving forward. They've actually decided to bench one of the healers. So Dingle's going to be defending. Rev's going to be moving forward, looking for a kill. They need more damage. I don't blame them for trying to make this play. I think with the way the battle was playing out, where it's sort of 2 healers, 2 DPS versus 2 healers, 3 DPS, it's really difficult to land a kill. So I think you have to switch it up. You have to bring in more damage, and you have to try to get a play.
Yeah, I think this is really smart, and obviously the way that Bailamos has set up his defense is he's got Vern and Seth Curry sitting back right now, so those are 2 big damage dealers, and as soon as the second row commits, you can see the shot call comes in. Seth, you're safe to go. Vern can solo defend. Both rogues are here at Lighthouse. Incredible play, incredible shot calling from Bailamos' team, and now the odds are going to be evened up. Once again, as soon as Seth Curry enters that fight, you've just got the feeling that his team won't die. That said, Smoke Bomb comes in. They get the kill onto Hamsham. Big play here. If Loxatar falls as well, they will be in trouble. I Love My Dog low, but Scuba shouldn't have any difficulty keeping him alive. Loxatar already low on mana as well. I actually think Hamsham dying there could be a big momentum shift. They're trying to ninja the base, the healer's job, Scuba, to force the issue with that one. Now they're going for the kill on Burn. CC over onto Loxatar, but here comes the kidney shot. This could be scary times for the Druid.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. There's a lot of pressure on him right now. Hamsham's crossed the map. Baron is getting sapped up. Rev, he's kind of revealed his position. I don't know if I necessarily like that. He's trying to just slow down Baron from rotating, but now they know where he is. Baron's going to be able to move forward, and I think at this point, Bailamos knows he's probably going to have to 1v1 a rogue to defend. Rev actually revealing himself, coming back. They're really committing to Lighthouse. They have to get a kill here. Infernals gets dropped out by Burn. He completely whiffs it. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to land that stun, but still will get the bonus damage. Camel barely surviving. Baron looking for Greater Power Blast. Does manage to take down Camel. He's gonna, yep, the Greater Power Blast hits. He will fall, and they might actually be able to hold on to this node after all. Things are just looking so good. At this point, I think one node wins the game for Bailamos, so I think it's pretty much over for the Debbies at this moment.
Yeah, they need a 3 cap right now. There's only 300 points on the board for the Debbies, and there's only 300 points remaining for the victory here of Bailamos. He is so close to winning this game, winning this series, eliminating the Debbies from the first 6v6 tournament of the GCD TV Series 2019. Even at Lighthouse, it seems like they're not going to be able to get it. Camel dying. Scuba now looking like he'll fall in the Mighty Bash. Does end up doing so with Dingle obviously set to defense. I feel like they could have, maybe they just needed to throw all 6 players at the offense, like Dingle defending. Even if you lose the base now, I mean, it's GG either way. 200 points left on the board for Bailamos, and I mean, you were right, man. Like, we did what we needed to do as casters, and Bailamos, this was incredible shot calling. Like, you could just tell the way that they were tracking the rogues. Seth Curry got optimum use in this game, and I mean, I shouldn't have bet against him. I said I shouldn't, and then I did anyway. So there you go.
Yeah. I just feel like this is their map. Like I just feel like this is such a good map for the way they play it. Bailamos does a really good job with his defense. Seth Curry creating massive opportunities. Honestly, Seth Curry was probably MVP of this game with, opening up Lighthouse, getting that kill onto I Love My Dog, and then a beautiful Ring of Peace denying I Love My Dog in stealth, running in to stop the cap. And just those kind of plays, you just need one good play like that, two good plays, and that's what pulls you ahead. On this map, once you fall behind on 2 nodes, it's really difficult to catch back up in a 66 situation, especially when you're playing against a team as well coordinated as Team Bailamos. Yeah, Varen's just going to be playing fire, so it's basically been the same compositions out of this team every single map. The only flexibility we've really seen from this roster so far is Bailamos. He switches over to the Rogue. They're not on this flag carrying map, but other than that, this is the composition that they feel is best, or this is the only composition they could play one way or another. It will be ride or die for them off the back of the Windwalker Monk, the Restoration Shaman, the Destruction Warlock, and the Fire Mage.
Yeah, I just want to check one thing real quick. Which spec is Magnus playing? Because I heard he's actually playing arms in this one, but I can't see, it hasn't updated for me just yet, so we'll have to pay attention to what he's wearing. That's a good question. Where is he? Let's find him. I'm flying down. There we go. So he is playing arms, which means they will have the sharpened blade for those big Earthshock pushes. I think that's actually a really important thing to shout out, because sharpened blade is one of the most powerful killing tools in the game. It's a 6-second 50% healing reduction that you can apply to the target. So if they put that on the tank, it's going to affect frenzied regeneration. It's going to affect swift mends, like any heals that comes through onto Bailamos. And then combining that with the burst potential we've already seen, if the team is shouting out, the Star Surge plus the Earth Shock, when those stacks really start to build up, I think that could be actually a really smart play from Magnus. That said, he will be easier to kill without the Fury self-heals.
Yep, I think that's certainly true. Seth already positioning defensively. He's going to be trying to harass Juan the most he can, manages to find the paralysis. Is he going to get a leg sweep? How much damage is he going to commit? Uses the Haymaker to just knock him back. He's just trying to delay as long as possible, giving Bailamos a good opportunity to get into midfield, get to a safe spot, get back in his base. Magnus on that Arms Warrior. Like you said, Sharpened Blade, just a really powerful tool, but one of the problems with the Arms Warrior is you have no self-healing, whereas the Fury Warrior, he can keep himself alive. Magnus on the Arms Warrior offensively might be a little better, but defensively, he's not going to be able to stay in those fights for nearly as long.
Yep, we see a Hibernate connected by Grunt over onto Bailamos, locking him up in midfield currently. Looks like, once again, though, he's got no issue crossing the map. Like, I actually think Guardian Druids are probably better at getting away prior to the buff stacking up than Havoc Demon Hunters, Vengeance Demon Hunters, sorry, just because they can shift all of the snares very easily, and then obviously they have the increased movement speed with the travel and cat forms, in addition to the wild charge. So even getting like Vortex and Death Grip and all that, you can just spam shift out of that. As long as you stay alive, there's going to be no issue there. Both tanks able to cross the map quite simply, and it's just kind of a level fight right now in the midfield.
Yeah, they're looking for some greater power blast. Can they get a kill? Vo does manage to range the second one. Baruch going to be taking some burst as well. We just have a 5v5 brawl in the middle of the map. Bailamos, he's retreating to his base. Juan as well. But there's no real offense committed by either team. They're just going to be looking for a 5v5. And I wonder how this is going to play out. I feel like if they can get a pick, it's going to be really good for someone to push forward. But at the same time, we could see one of these DPS just break off and start trying to apply some pressure.
Yeah, and normally it's Seth Curry for Bailamos' team that does go for those plays. So we'll be watching to see when he does that. I think Burn, I want to give him a little shout out, Burn X on the Destruction Warlock, because he's really smart about the way he manages cooldowns. Like, for example, his Infernal, which is the big 3-minute cooldown for the Destruction Warlock, he'll only use it either when Bailamos is in dire need of help, like really needs it as a peel and to wipe out the offense immediately, or most likely, and how he's used it mostly on this map, just simply to go for the kill on the enemy Demon Hunter, and it's been working well for them. Obviously, it saw them take the game against the Debbies on Warsong Gulch. We'll see an early Infernal here, though, coming into the triple Shadow Fury, just making sure that Bailamos is okay. Like you say, neither team has really committed too much to the offense there. Certainly, Bailamos' team hasn't, as it's just kind of a Seth Curry on his own at this point, I believe.
Their style is definitely survive at this point. So they're going to have Varen, they're going to have Burn, Bailamos, Hamsham, as well, I believe, the rest of Druid on their team. Loxitar just completely defending, trying to survive, and this is the strategy we've seen work against some teams, but later on in the game, when that damage stacks up, it just seems like Bailamos is just a real vulnerability. If Oz can connect with Magnus and Baruch at the same time, it's just a lot of burst damage. It can basically just blow him out of the water very quickly, whereas for Juan and Rook, it's going to be really easy to survive Seth Curry. Like, he's just not going to be able to do anything. It's more of an annoyance. It's like a little fly trying to swat away the whole game, but it's unlikely they end up taking down the flag carrier.
Yeah, equally, Bailamos hasn't really been challenged too much yet, as the stacks are starting to build up. We're over 5 stacks now. I can't see exactly how many stacks, obviously, but like I saw that one of the red buffs just ticked up, so they must be starting to build up a decent burst. I'm actually kind of watching Oz. Let me go. I'm gonna go fly over in my little spectator bubble over here, see if I can see the berserking. Bailamos is actually dying whilst I'm doing this. I do really want to see if it's up. It's not up just yet. Maybe that means Oz actually already has it. He might have already gone for that play with the berserking. That was obviously what secured them the kill last time these two teams met. Oz really has to be the playmaker here.
Yeah, that certainly does, but Burn shutting him down. Instant interrupt on that lightning lasso. That was a really nice vortex on the gateway from Bailamos. Baron looking for greater power blast, and like we kind of talked about, Magnus on that arms warrior has to be really careful. Doesn't have the same sort of self-healing as the Fury warrior, so all this damage is permanent on him unless he can start getting some heals. At this point, Orvo could easily fall, but so far they've been doing a good job keeping him alive, and it's going to be all about those sharpened blade kind of one-shots where Direct and Oz have damage. That's when you sharpen. That's when you try to burst down Bailamos, and this could be that opportunity they're looking for.
Yeah, it's looking really good for them. Like, they're committing one healer offensively. Vo is always staying aggressive, which means that Magnus can definitely afford to be playing arms. Doesn't need to worry about self-healing since his healer is there supporting him. Has the defensive stance as well. These sharpened blade pushes are looking really... I mean, it actually makes complete sense like why they would be playing this. Just reduces all the healing. If they time that with some burst, it's going to be an easy kill onto Bailamos at some point in this game. Even now, like, I mean, it doesn't even seem like they're able to wipe out this offense coming in from SX6. That's been the playstyle for Bailamos' team. They win the 5v4. I mean, yeah, the 5v4, and then they go for the kill. But so far, it looks like Bailamos could just die in any single Stormbolt. The Infernal comes in, desperation time from Burn. He recognizes that his team needs it, and when Burn starts using his Infernal, that's when you know the team feels they're in trouble.
Yeah, Magnus on the Arms Warrior really putting in work when he has uptime, when he gets the Stormbolt with the sharpened blade. It's so difficult to heal him up. Oz getting swapped to, though. Burn trying to take him down. He gets cycloned up, but Oz ultimately does fall, and that will shut down this offensive push, potentially. Ramos still taking a lot of pressure, just weaving in and out of the room, trying to avoid as much damage as possible. Burn really punishing the team right now. Really defending. Bailamos doing an excellent job. Magnus falls, Oz falls, and this is going to be a little bit of a reset.
Yeah, I mean, it's the nice wipe. I think whenever they commit the Infernals to defense, they will be able to convert that 5v4 advantage into a team wipe or into a victory. They get the kill on Oz, and that will be that. That said, of course, if they're using all their big offensive cooldowns to wipe SX6, it's very unlikely that we'll see Burn actually cross the map and go for a counter push here. Looks like they actually might be going for something with it anyway. Seth Curry even was back in the defense lines there, so that we had a full 6-man defense. I think the stacks are now completed at the 8-minute mark, so 10 stacks on both of these team members right now. We have to see how Bailamos' team does get aggressive here, because there's still members down. Bo still hasn't resurrected, and you can see members pushing up the map. We have the Mage. I think the Warlock is also pushing up, so all 3 DPSs are looking for a push here over onto Juan. It's Juan and Rook's turn to show their stuff here for the team. No.
Seth Curry messed up his port. He put it on the edge, and he ended up trying to transcendence over to Juan and just fell off onto the ground. A little bit of unfortunate timing there for Seth, but Varen finally in a good position. Burn trying to get there as well, but Oz is doing a good job intercepting this offense.
That was a really nice play from Oz. He got rooted by Loxitar, so that Loxitar was going to go get the Berserking buff, but he lightning lassoed Loxitar so that he could get in and get the buff himself. Excellent use of the elemental utility, and now Oz is a big playmaker here. has that berserking buff for about 30 to 40 seconds, I believe. 35, I think, is the exact number. So he can clear out the offense here, and now he needs to be the person getting to Bailamos.
Yeah, I think this is just one of the problems with the offensive lineup from Team Bailamos is you have Burn and Varen, the Fire Mage and the Destruction Warlock. When they're mobile, or when they're in a team fight, they can get those casts off. They're going to be really valuable. But Burn trying to rotate across the entire map, if you just send Oz back, he's going to root him, he's going to snare him, he's going to keep him killed, and it's just really difficult for him to actually rotate and stay on target, especially against a hypermobile tank like the Vengeance Demon Hunter. So it's been difficult so far for Varen and Burn to really get anything rolling. Once again, Juan's just going to leap down. He's going to kite away. It's sort of up to Seth Curry to make sure that he can actually land some crowd control, some stuns to keep him locked down in place. But Juan is not making that easy.
He's definitely not. We see Bailamos. You can see the nice little locked gate. Since we're on the 6v6 mode, the top map is not available right now. He's just kiting down the tunnel. Magnus is able to connect as we see the Warrior Fear actually committed onto Loxatar. They're really trying to get aggressive here, but not all the members are there. Oz is still in defense, so I feel like they're not going to get too much achieved with this. Bailamos slowly kiting. It's not quite as impressive as a Vengeance Demon Hunter, but his bear is doing the best it can. Wild charges away from Magnus at this point. The Arms Warrior does have a little less time. Juan actually dropping really low in the process. They actually have a really good defense right now, but he ends up dying regardless. They get the kill. Bailamos is not on the point right now. He's outside, so there's a good chance someone may be able to pick it up, but it's obviously an ideal situation. Magnus is unable to get there. Garuk is chasing, but he's slowed. He's not as slow as Bailamos, though he should be able to. The spam roots coming in. Hibernate landed, or Hibernate attempted. Nice. We see him. He should be able to get past the Cyclone onto Bailamos. Cyclones on both players. Someone needs to get there. Direct actually trinkets out. He should be able to get there, but they need to keep him alive if they can actually cross the map. This is looking great for Bailamos' team.
Yeah, it definitely is. We'll have to see what they can get done. Juan needs to get there. He needs to drop the flag. It's all about this handoff at this point. Lockstar trying to just take Garuk down. Feral Affinity doing a little bit of work. Garuk manages to find the full Cyclone. He trinkets out. He needs to get another Cyclone or a Basher or something. He could just fall. Loxatar is going to take him down. Maledic lands against the Stormbolt into a Cyclone. He has to reconnect to Vo. Juan's there as well. Are they going to get the turnaround? Loxatar is the only one that can shoot it. They have to click it.
They got it. Ooh, that was really risky. Really risky. Loxatar was right there. Cycloned at the exact same time he dropped it. So beautiful play coming in from Garuk. But I mean, that was a really close call there. And Juan just dies again instantly anyways. Bailamos is on the point.
He picked it up though. Who's got the flag? That's the most important thing right now. Trying to kite away.
It's like Vo
Burst
right
damage
now.
coming in. It's going to be so difficult. I think it's Vo. Oh, what are you going to do? He's in bear form. He's trying to kite away, but a beautiful interrupt coming in from Baron denies it. Another pickup? This guy's got the fastest fingers I've ever seen. Magnus grabs the flag. He's trying to get away, but Ring of Peace denies. Seth Curry says, no way. This is my house. You're not escaping from it. And ultimately, that will be a point conversion for Team Bailamos, and they are going to be up 1-0.
Yeah, Bailamos' team are able to convert that first victory, and I mean that was off of kind of like again against the run of play. Like Bailamos was under so much pressure for a long time. One had the members in defense. Oz was back there, but he just got caught out. So much damage coming in from Seth Curry once again. One of the big playmakers throughout for Bailamos' team. He joked around calling him Seth Carey. He's looking to put his team on the shoulders once again here on Warsong Gulch. This is the Grand Finals. The Grand Finals is just the best of three, ladies and gentlemen. So if Bailamos' team are able to convert this, 7 minutes left on the timer, then they will be in prime position to take this Grand Final and the first cup of the 6v6s.
Yeah, Bailamos, he's going to be sneaking in, and it was 7 minutes left. That's plenty of time for them to stall out. We know they're very comfortable with that. That's not going to go up to max stack, so if they can just commit to a solid defense, I don't really know what S66 can do right now. They're going to have to find miracle kills, great crowd control on Loxatar, on the Hamsham if they want to actually take down Bailamos, but we'll have to see. Bailamos is going to be running to the midfield. They have to take him down. Basically, I think if he can get into his stronghold, into the Horde Fortress, I think it's GG. They just know how to position too well. I don't really see them falling down.
Yeah, whenever Bailamos gets into the stronghold, as you say, it's just like the wild charge is a 15-second cooldown, and every single time he just drops down and then he ports up every 15 seconds. There's no other class that can do that on such a regular cadence, I believe. So It's such a nice setup from them. They recognize the strengths of the Guardian Druid, and they've been utilizing it really, really well. That said, there are opportunities for outplay. You know, Oz can thunderstorm him down. Maybe they can get a nice vortex on one of those wild charges, set up an opportunity. And also, he does have to leave bear form to get access to that particular version of the wild charge. So there is a small gap. Maybe you can land a stun with the Stormbolt or something like that from Magnus and open up a window. So there's definitely still opportunities here. That said, 5 minutes left on the timer for the map. This is playing right into Bailamos' hand.
Yep. We'll have to see what exactly they can get done. At this point of the game, we really have to see SX6 try to get aggressive. They need to go for these one-shot kills with Sharpened Blade. They need to really commit to their offense. Seth Curry, though, forcing Rook to come back. And I really like what he's doing. Is he going to fall, though? Seth Curry could ultimately die. I don't even know if he cares. If Seth Curry falls right now, it wouldn't be the worst situation for them to really be in. He could come back. He could help defend. But, I mean, certainly it's better for him to pull back Rook, which makes it a lot more difficult for SX6 to push in and remain aggressive, especially if they only have one healer they can do it with.
Yeah, Greg's actually getting a little bit sneaky here. He was stealthing around Bailamos' team. Oz is in offense. You can see already they're chasing here. Bailamos actually kiting away from his team, including his healers at this moment in time. It doesn't seem like he's going to commit to it though. He runs back, attacking Magnus. This is the Infernals coming in from Burn X. They want to clear out this offensive push from SX6. They will, of course, have access to another Infernals before the game ends. 4 minutes left on the timer at this moment in time. We see the coils coming out. One was actually reflected. Magnus reflecting the death coil will shut down a lot of that burst from Burn. Nice play from him on this Arms Warrior. Bailamos has opted for base camp. He's in this little ledge. We've seen him on time and time again. See if Oz and Co can connect. This is a big Stormkeeper here.
Yeah, a lot of burst damage available for Oz. Unfortunately, not really getting much done. Bailamos realizing the situation, using some of his defensive cooldowns, and they're just going to be camping it out. Look at this positioning. He's just weaving in about on his side. Baron might get a kill onto Oz. If Oz falls, that's little to no hope for this offense to actually make a play. Almost gets knocked down. He's going to be sitting down there. Burn with a beautiful gateway. Loxatar is going to be chasing him, and they've kind of left Magnus, Oz, all these DPS members behind sort of this gauntlet that Baron and Burn have set up. It's a lot of damage, but we'll have to make sure Bailamos, he doesn't overextend at this point. There's so much on the line. They just need to survive another 3 minutes. His positioning so far, he's opted not to just sit in that little cubby. He's been running outside. Magnus with a beautiful Stormbolt looking for a kill. Almost in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, Bailamos definitely taking a lot of damage. Here comes the lasso. Full stun. Trinkets out after it was already interrupted. Down to 60%, but that's exactly what they needed. They get the trinket from Bailamos. He's already dropping low on cooldowns. 3 minutes left on the timer, and the belief really is there that the team of SX6 could still get this kill. They have such big potential burst damage. Once again, though, Bailamos just going to port upstairs using that wild charge to the best of his ability. Still dropping low, though, down to 50%. His healers are struggling to connect. We see Sheeps coming out into Oz. Desperation time. They don't want to be sheeping the DPS. They want to be killing them. No Infernal available for about a minute and a half. Do you get the feeling that Oz is going to have a lot of uptime here?
Yeah, he's definitely going to have a significant amount of damage. We'll have to see if he can actually get it off. They need Magnus to reconnect, but Magnus has been left all alone. Varen and Burn, they're really trying to take him down. He's such a major part of that offense. He needs the Sharpened Blade. That's why he went onto the Arms Warrior. Get Sharpened Blade up onto Bailamos. Also the beautiful knock. He actually knocks everyone. Hamsham knocked down. Lockstar knocked down. Juan could just completely find in this situation once again. Seth Curry trying to create pressure, but hasn't really been able to find it. And the name of the game at this point is you have to take down Bailamos. You have to chase him down. And for Team Bailamos, they just need to kite. They need to survive as long as possible. They need to make sure they're shutting down Oz. No lightning lassos available. Deny the crowd control. Slowly take down their team. And that's going to get them the win.
Yep, I mean, that's what they're looking for. But if Grook falls, it's going to be almost curtains. Vo is just getting spam crowd control. This mage lock. Burn and Virion are doing a fantastic job. They recognize only the Restoration Druid is in the offense for the team of SX6. They can just crowd control him. Magnus has no self-in and Grook has very little. They can easily win this with the mage lock. Now we see Infernals coming out as well from Burn. This is danger time. Bailamos, though, dropping low. This is the final push. If they wipe out here, they will lose the map. Bailamos, though, down to 50% health, kiting away desperately. Using that little kiting he's using this pattern really well. He's like kiting, using the wild charge down, and then he walks back upstairs. They have the vortex, all the snares and slows, the infernal damage, exposing them to the open field. But Bailamos, I mean, he's just chilling. He's like, again, he's back around, out of line of sight of everyone. He actually drops down again. He's on the run. 50 seconds left. He feels like if he can just make a break for it, he's going to stay alive here.
Well, look at Hamsham, look at Lockjatar. They are with Bailamos at this point in the match. Everyone else's responsibility is just snare up those DPS. Garuk, Vo, they're moving forward. They want to take him down, but the question is, can anyone else reconnect? Is it too little, too late for SX6? Is this final or defensive run from Bailamos going to pay off? But he's actually running back into Magnus. Maybe not the best play. He just has to hold on for 27 seconds. He doesn't want to leave the defense of Burn and Baron. They've been such a pivotal role, or played such a pivotal role in this matchup with Polymorph, with Fear, with Dragon's Breath, Ring of Frost, to protect their fearless flag carrier. Magnus Heroic leaps in. Only 10 short seconds left. What are they going to do? And Bailamos hold on.
Yep, 8 seconds, 6 seconds now, as Bailamos has surely done it. Oz trapped in the room. He will not be able to get the kill. An excellent defensive.
I'll have to see if they can do it. And I believe that actually is a Dark Iron Dwarf mount.
Ah.
We're not going to be getting that anytime soon.
Nope.
I don't think there's the Dark Iron Dwarf druids. But
no, unfortunately not.
No. Oh well.
You made me sad, man. This game will make me happy, though.
Yeah, this game's going to make me happy very shortly as both teams march towards the center of the map. Is anyone going to pick up an orb? I think it's unlikely. It's not the strategy these teams really implemented. Bailamos in center field right now in stealth. Rank 1 moving in as well. What is he going to be able to get done? Who are they going to open on? Hamsham gets sapped. This is an opportunity. Crowd control on the healer. Really going to go after it. Bailamos gets a counter sap on Rook. Nicely done. Beautiful leg sweep coming in from Seth. Manages to clip Magnus, Goruk, and Vo. Are they going to be able to get much follow-up damage? Doesn't look like it so far, but that was a really good opener.
Yeah, less of a leg sweep, more of a full body sweep there coming in from Seth Curry, catching the entire team, essentially, as we see the kidney shot now over onto Rook. Very little damage coming out there. I think both these teams are hesitant. Obviously, SX6 find themselves one game away from losing the chance of being crowned champions, so they're going to be hesitating just a little bit more. And Bailamos' team, of course, they're getting better and better throughout the day. They did lose this map the first time these two teams met in the upper bracket. So also a little bit of hesitation. Trinkets actually being forced out from a couple of key members on the side of Bailamos' team, though. Potentially a smoke bomb opportunity for rank 1 if he goes for that play. Burn dropping low. They can force out some major cooldowns here. I'd love to see them make a big swap to Bailamos momentarily.
Yeah, in terms of damage, Team Bailamos, they have a massive lead. They've had a lot more pressure. Renasti gets interrupted. Are they going to be able to find the burst? Oz has a lot of work cut out for him. Kidney shot over onto Bailamos. What are they going to be able to do? He gets caught in the kidney and taken down. That was a really nice play.
Yep.
Like we kind of talked about, this could allude to what's going to be happening for the rest of the game. SX6 strikes first blood.
Yeah, as soon as you find a trinket on one of those melees, you're looking for the kidney smoke bomb play, and rank 1 is all over that one. Gets the better of Bailamos in the start of this game, has the first blood, and we've talked about how impactful that has been on this map. Every single time we've played it throughout this tournament, Gruk able to pick up the first flag. They're not committing fully, though. They're only picking up one flag for now, just in case Gruk were able to be taken down here. I feel like they don't want to have 2 exposed members, because at worst, this could go down to 5v5. Seth Curry dies now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up a second flag. Actually looks like Bailamos' team got to it first, though. Hamsham, the culprit, having the flag on the back line. Maybe they should swap some damage over onto him. They would deny the points, and they'd also kill off one of the healers, and it looks like that is going to be their target of choice.
Yeah, Hamsham now caught into a kidney shot. What is Varian going to be able to do? Is there any extra damage?
Ooh,
or any extra damage? Yeah, he just gets deleted out of the game. Seth Curry as well. Gruk now kiting away. Second orb about to be picked up by Bailamos, but that's going to be... could be a little bit difficult. That was a nice ring of peace coming in from Rook that denied it. And Magnus picks it up. MVP Rook right there. That was such a nice ring of peace. These monks really utilizing that utility spell to their advantage.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good ones from both Seth Curry and Rook in this matchup. Honestly, though, Bailamos' team, they're having this issue of the staggered res. Hamsham picking up that orb and then dying hasn't been great for them. He should be the next person to rejoin the fight, though. Currently 5v5 for Hamsham. You can see him flying in on that beautiful Drake mount. So we will have a 6v5 situation since Gruk died. Currently, though, a big advantage in points for SX6. They do lose 2 members with the flag, though, so Bailamos' team will be recuperating that loss with the 2 flags of their own.
Yeah, Seth Curry gets caught into a bash. Oz trying to take him down. He has Transcendence in a really good position. If he needs to, he can just jump down to center field, which is exactly what he's going to do. Oz trying to look for the solo kill. I don't think he's going to be able to find it just yet. Seth just maneuvering around. This is a really good opportunity for Team Bailamos to start getting some points on the board. They might be able to even catch up as they do have both of these orbs, but in a team fight, in this situation, they're not advantaged. It's going to be easy for them to take down members. Garuk gets sniped down instantly. What is going to happen now? That was such a good pick-off there for Team Bailamos. Yep, you would expect them to lose that team fight, but that could swing this fight in their favor.
Yeah, they should be winning this team fight. That was the Infernals from Burn. Every single time he presses that ability, they need to track him. I feel like they're putting so much attention into denying Varian that they're forgetting sometimes about Burn and those Infernal Chaos Bolts. Actually, that one kill shifts the entire momentum of this fight. They were supposed to lose this one, like you said, Ben. They have 2 exposed targets. Obviously, Loxatar will end up dying here. Seth Curry most likely will as well at some point in the near future, but they were able to completely remove any disadvantage they had, and then some, with a 100-point lead now. They still have one of the flags up. I think Seth Curry is the person with it. Does eventually die. Seth Curry has been one of the best people at holding this flag for a long period of time. He's just so slippery.
Yeah, Bailamos, he does grab one of the orbs. He's running on the outside of the map right now. And like you kind of said, in the 66 format, being on the edge, I think he actually has limited points, so he's not going to be grabbing that much. But what it does do is deny the team of SX6 to really get both orbs and get more points rolling. So I think it's more about that than anything. He just wants to deny their ability to get points, but Bailamos gets caught into the kidney shot. Doesn't have his trinket available. He's in a lot of trouble. He shadow steps away, but just really big burst damage. Oz all over him. Nice cheap shot to try to get a little bit of peels as he looks to hide away once again. Seth Curry trying to back him up with a beautiful Ring of Peace. Bailamos does manage to escape with his life. Now they need to try to get a kill. They need to try to take down Garuk, and if they can do that, Burn's in a really good position. Lands the Shadow Fury. Chaos Bolt. Is that going to be good night? No, Garuk does manage to survive. Rook in a great position, and they will be able to hold on, but that was a good attempt by Burn.
Yeah, Rook's currently solo healing in the fight. Vo actually went for a drink there. He was 0 mana. He sat down for a while, got up to 30% mana, so still not a great situation to be in. They do get the kill onto Bailamos, though. Both orbs are killed right now. Fight completely reset as we have a 5 versus 5 situation here. Both orbs picked up by the Horde side. Interesting strategy here. Normally we don't see teams committing to it where the fight is evened out, because they will have 2 exposed targets now. Loxatar actually picked up one of the orbs for Bailamos' team there. He has a lot of mana, so if he gets killed off, it could be detrimental. Seth Curry dropping low has the other orb. Bailamos' team racking up an insane number of points right now with 2 orbs in the center of the map. But if they end up losing this fight and staggering, it could end up backfiring.
Yeah, it definitely could end up backfiring, but Bailamos now in a position to help out his team. Loxatar going to get sniped down. Taken down in the fight. Hamshan now left alone to heal up his team, and now they're in a 5 versus 6 situation again. Can they grab the orb? Bailamos, he grabs it, and this has just been a battle of essentially them getting out-positioned on this map. Bailamos, Seth Curry, they've just been doing a way better job grabbing these orbs. Unfortunately, I think Bailamos will ultimately fall, but no, Hamshan there, able to get a little bit of healing, gets interrupted by Group. Nice interrupt. And now 2 members down. This is danger time for Seth Curry. Is he going to be able to get away? He's in the midfield right now, spamming out heals, Stormbolt. He will eventually get executed. And now this is where we have to see SX6. They need both orbs, but Burn, he steals one once again. These guys are thieves in the night. He's taking these orbs consistently over and over, and it's been really difficult for Oz's team to catch up at this point.
Magnus with a nice reflect on the death core there, once again on Burn. Should be able to get this solo kill. Pretty sure the Warrior wins the 1v1 against the Destruction Warlock, especially with the Orb. It's been a difference in strategy, honestly, from these two teams. Whereas SX6 have been playing it smart, you know, sometimes they just, even when they're winning a team fight, they won't actually pick up orbs. I saw Oz running past one earlier in the fight because they want specific people to pick it up, like normally Garuk and Rank 1 have been the people picking it up. Bailamos' team have just been like, there's an orb, get it. Don't even necessarily go into the center with it, just deny points from the enemy. And these two strategies are so evenly matched right now. The points are 800 apiece. We're halfway. 2 alliance flags right now, but of course they're exposed members. Garuk dies, and the advantage of the fight is starting to lean towards Bailamos once again.
Yeah, Seth Curry picks up the flag. They're just dying. They're taking the orbs. They're doing a good job. But like you kind of said, it's really a difference in strategy. And now for one of the first times in this game, SX6 actually manages to pull ahead. Every single time they're getting a kill, they're getting a little bit of extra points. And those points start to add up over time. Hamsham now caught into a bash, but almost they have to be able to survive think they're still waiting on one team member to have an even team fight. Finally, it's going to be an even team fight, 1 orb apiece. Who are the vulnerable targets? Magnus is very vulnerable for SX6, whereas for the team of Bailamos, Seth Curry is the vulnerability. He ports away from Magnus. If Magnus gets taken down, it's going to be great. Have to do a good job keeping these flag carriers alive.
Yeah, Magnus dropping low. Chaos Box next will take him out immediately. This is the Infernals once again from Burn. We'll be watching him. What can he get done in this situation? Gets Trinket out of the crowd control there. Looking for Chaos Bolts. His team has the lead in this one right now. The Horde are starting to pull ahead. This is fantastic news for Bailamos. If they win this game, if they win with 500 more points here, they will be the champions of the first GCD TV 6v6 tournament in this rated Battleground. This was the map choice of SX6, and it's not looking great. Seth Curry, though, does end up falling. Both flags reset, 50 points in it right now. As we see a second pickup, Bailamos' team, they're just picking up the flags constantly. Bailamos himself, especially, is all over those points. And I mean, it's working out for them. They're getting these small advantages. Honestly, the fight isn't even that bad for them. Both the healers on SX6 are completely tapped on mana.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. And with these orbs, they're still pulling ahead. 1,100 points to 950. Hamsham could easily fall. Loxatar gets interrupted. How's he going to stay alive? Still just so low, barely holding on. Hamsham will fall. Is Vern going to pick up the flag? Is Vern going to pick up the flag? Are they just going to keep going after these flags over and over and over? Magnus, they need to start getting points. Magnus is going to grab the orb. He fears up Seth Curry. And now this is the situation SX6 wants to find themselves in. They just slaughtered Team Bailamos in a team fight. They have both orbs. They're in the midfield. This is their opportunity to catch up in this game and potentially even pull ahead.
They needed to get the kill on Loxatar. They narrowly missed out. Oz almost soloing him, but I mean, as long as they don't stagger the kills, Bailamos' team will just have an advantage here. They kill off Magnus. Obviously, there's another orb active right now for the Alliance team, but I mean, Bailamos' team, they're all coming back. Hamsham's back in the fight. Bailamos is back in the fight. They have a 6v5 advantage. They have a 50 to 100 point advantage also. Gurk isn't actually even getting optimum points right now. He's sitting on the outskirts. You can see that he's basically getting nothing for his team. He'll get one shot as soon as anyone puts any damage onto him. Cheap shot coming out. Looks like they're not even trying to kill him right now. They're waiting to stagger it a little bit more. He's running away. Again, not getting maximum points. The further he runs, he will just get one shot as soon as he re-enters this fight. This is looking better and better for Bailamos' team. They could reverse this. It was a 2-0 the first time these two teams met in favor of SX6, and Bailamos' team is 200 points away from making this a 2-0 in the grand final for them to win.
This would be unbelievable. What a comeback story it would be. You can see here, Guruk falls down. This is looking even better for Team Bailamos. There's an orb up. Is Hamsham going to be able to get it? If he can grab this orb, it's huge. Manages to grab one. Bailamos grabs another as soon as Seth falls, and they're just going to run, collect these points for as long as possible. SX6, they have to be flailing. This is essentially match point. If they lose this, they're knocked out of the tournament. Team Bailamos will be the champions. They just have to hold on a little bit longer. They just need 100 points. 80 points left in this game. They have to take down Bailamos. They have to do it now. Hamsham barely surviving as well. He gets taken down. Rook gets the paralysis. Magnus looking for that final little bit of damage. This would be a miracle. They take him down. Okay, they only need 22 points left. Are they going to be able to grab both orbs and hold on? They could come back in this game for sure.
This is so close. If Bailamos' team gets a single orb, they win this game. 22 points is all they need. 200 now for Team SX6. They do have the split res. Hamsham died. Bailamos died. Now Vo taking damage. Both these orb carriers need to stay alive at this point. Rook gets Cyclone, so he's not in trouble. Meanwhile, though, Vo, the Chaos Balls are connecting. They need to shut this down. He's so low on health. Surely he's going to fall. Who's there to get the flag? Looks like rank 1 is there to catch it. It's so close. Any kill will win this for Bailamos' team. 12 points is all they need. 10, I believe, is the number you get if you kill someone, but it's not enough.
Oh my God!
SX6 wins by 12 points, and we are somehow tied 1 apiece. So it's really going to be a question of who does get the first advantage.
Yeah, it does look like Magnus is going to be playing that arms specialization instead of the Fury, so limiting his mobility, but I think his ability in a team fight with the sharpened blade, try to put someone away, is going to be a lot stronger. It's one of the best utilities in the game in terms of offensive capabilities. So he will lose a little bit of that self-healing, but I don't mind the decision. I feel like they want to have better team fight. They want to actually be able to secure kills in the game. we look at defense right now, we have Bailamos defending for the team of Team Bailamos, and Rank 1 defending for SX6, whereas Garuk now positioning his way into the team fight.
Yep, so we're going to have a pretty even fight here. Whereas we saw a lot of trickery on the Debbies running the double rogue composition, this is much more standard from both teams. 5 members each going to be trading. I really like the gateway setup that Bailamos team's done. Gives them quick access over the water. I think it's a pretty standard play in RBGs, but it's always something you want to be setting up if you're playing at home, making sure your Warlock does do that. They're shutting down Burn early here. I'm trying to see if he's committed his Infernals. Doesn't look like it just yet, but it seems like he's a pretty safe target to just tunnel down, shut down damage. Should be hard for him to get any kills as long as they're targeting him.
Yep, definitely Magnus getting bursted down just a little bit, and he will be much more of a vulnerable target. Although with that D-stance, it will make him quite durable. Both rogues have still just positioned very far away on this map. They're not opting to really assist in offense just yet. Actually, Bailamos might decide to move forward. He's getting off his base just a little bit, but I think it's a really risky maneuver. I don't know if they want to leave it to chance at this point. With having a rogue defend, it's a really scary prospect to get off your base and just get ninja capped on. It would just be a complete disaster, a complete throw. So I don't think either one of these teams are really going to try to make that risky play.
Yeah, it is super risky, right? Because as soon as you reveal yourself at Lighthouse, the only way the play can even begin to work is if you have someone to cover, because as soon as that first sap hits, someone will rush down Lighthouse. So it really is like a game of chess. Both teams are probably just going to kind of sit back, have faith in their team fight capabilities. No one's really given an edge so far. Slight mana lead in favor of Bailamos' team, as Hamsham obviously has slightly better mana than Rook. Both the druids pretty even at this moment in time. But in terms of cooldowns, like, no one's really budged too much. I don't think we've seen a single life cocoon come out yet from Rook. No one's really dropped super low at this moment in time. We see the incarnation wearing off from Garuk. He wasn't able to get too much done with that. I think Burn hasn't quite committed everything yet. Now he's committing. This is all of his cooldowns. He's using the shield wall to deny interrupts. Actually, pre-shield walls the solar beam, looks like, but the silence effect, maybe it caught him at the end of his shield wall. That's going to force out the life cocoon. For the first time, Burn has been completely shut down on this infernal push. That said, Magnus has to trinket out, get the reflect on that chaos bolt. Could have been scary.
Yeah, it could have been a really scary moment. Polymorph on Vo, interrupt on Rook. Really good cross crowd control coming in from Baron. He's been doing a great job now, looking for greater power blast, but Oz just shutting him down every step of the way with the grounding totem, the hexes, the wind shears, the lightning lasso, really limiting his output, but that kind of frees up Burn like we were talking about. I think in this team fight, it is so much up to SX6 to make sure they're just tracking what is Baron doing, what is Burn doing. If they can shut down those casters, I think their team should end up having a mana lead, but it looks like Hamsham and Loxatar, they've just been doing a better job sneaking away and getting drinks on this map, having way higher mana, and that could end up winning them this team fight.
Yeah, it's surprising to see how many parallels there are between this and kind of arena gameplay. Like, the Infernal comes in, and then both the healers are like, okay, they're going to use everything to shut you down. We're going to both go drink, similar to what you would see. Now they have a massive lead over Vo and Rook in this team fight. No real offensive cooldowns to convert it. That's the combustion coming in from Varen. Once again, the little trade of the life cocoon over onto Vo. Nothing really doing. Rook might look to clean away. Actually, Vo uses the Tiger's Dash to the other side of the map. He's looking for a little drink right now, relying on Rook at this moment in time, as both the teams are kind of having this standoff. No one's really committing too many resources. Both the rogues also just sitting back. It's really anyone's game at this point. The points are, once again, completely identical. So if we did have that stalemate, we could have that tie, which would be incredible for the final game of the Grand Finals.
I mean, it would be remarkable if we just saw a complete stalemate and just a team fight 5v5 at Waterworks the entire game. But I think it's looking more and more likely. Neither one of these teams really wants to make an aggressive play, and you really can't blame them. Think about what's on the line. They've been playing all yesterday, all today for this final map, for this opportunity to win this tournament and be our first champions of the 6v6 RBG tournament that we have here on this channel. And it's been a lot of fun watching them play, but like I said, you really can't blame them for this sort of hyper defensive, really safe strategy.
Do you happen to know, like, once again here, I'm pretty sure this is true because I'm checking in the extension, Rank 1 is playing Assassination, whereas Bailamos is playing Sub. I mean, clearly it's comfort for both of them because that's been the theme throughout the series, but I am curious which spec should win the 1v1, I'm pretty sure the answer is assassination because of the bleeds, right? So if it ever did come to that, rank 1, you know, in that 1v1, should they find each other, could potentially find an advantage there. Pretty sure he would win that. It could be something they look for.
It looks like Team Bailamos, they are going to budge first. Seth Curry peels off. He's wanting that 1v1 with rank 1. He wants to harass Lighthouse. This team fight is going nowhere fast. They realize it. They need to try to set something else up. The problem is, Varen and Burn sitting here at Waterworks, they're going to be able to be really disruptive with the amount of crowd control they have. At this point, they're not even playing to land kills. It's just about control. Just live as long as you can. Send the attack dog Seth over there. Try to make something happen. Try to create some opportunities. And now, as a response, Gorick, he has to peel off from the team fight, and Seth and Gorick are having a little bit of a 1v1.
Yeah, and this is exactly the strengths of Bailamos. Every single time, you know, it's team fight, maybe Seth isn't getting too much done, but if you can get him into this 1v1 situation, I would be really scared. Gorick is like, guys, like, I know we need only one person to come off so it stays even, but do I have to 1v1 Seth Curry at this moment in time? You can see him trying his best. He's high on health. He's been doing a pretty good job, honestly, so far. Touch of Karma forced out. Maybe he's actually winning this one. If he can defeat the Titan, Seth Curry, it's going to be a fantastic feat of strength, if nothing else, for his team. Obviously, we're currently in the situation of like 4v4 and 1v1. Seth Curry, he also, interestingly, he set up his Transcendence closer to the base. So maybe he's setting up here, rather than actually going for the ninja on this particular play. He's just forcing out cooldowns. You know, he got the trinket from Guruk there. So he'll be able to set up a Touch of Death leg sweep later on if he wants to. And he also has the Transcendence set up really close to the base of rank 1. So maybe that's an opportunity later on, but for now he's just going to head back to the 5v5 team fight. Yeah,
trying to get aggressive over on Rook. They can take down this healer. It's going to be huge. Bash coming in. Vo, good response there. Throws out the Iron Bark to keep him alive. He will ultimately survive. That was a really good attempt, but like you said, with the positioning of the Transcendence for Seth Curry, he can also just run away really quickly. If he's just in this position right now, he uses Transcendence, he uses Flying Serpent Kick, all of a sudden he has a massive lead over Guruk if he wants to try an assault on Lighthouse again.
Yep, this is the Infernal push right now from Burn. We'll have to see if he can make the enemies feel the burn at this situation. You see the Earthen Shield Totem to answer. Nice play from Hamsham. But it is the peel, like you were saying. Seth Curry runs instantly. His Transcendence is on the other side. He can push in very, very far here. Actually, he sets up a new Transcendence slightly further back. Guruk in hot pursuit. He's actually going to portal back a leg sweep. I guarantee that's what he was looking for. It doesn't actually go for it, though. Guruk has his trinket back up, so I feel like Guruk would be able to survive this. Not entirely sure what Seth Curry's play is here. I don't think he'll win the 2v1 as good as he is. Looks like he is going to try and force the issue.
He's getting back up from the captain. Bailamos, he's going to be moving forward, decides to abandon his post. Lockstar in a good position, though, to go defend if he really needs to. And now we find ourselves in a 2v2 situation. Kidney shot onto Guruk, blind, or cheap shot onto rank 1. Who is Seth and Bailamos going to have to go after in this matchup? Who wins this 2v2? The entire game could come down to the setup.
Yeah, at the same time, though, look at Oz. Oz sees that Bailamos is gone. He's in hot pursuit of the space, but Hamsham reads it. Oz, he makes the jump, though. He's by far and away the furthest forward here. This could be a throw, potentially. Seth Curry's also dying. Loxatar is in hot pursuit. He's looking to shut down Oz. Nice read from Loxatar. It will be a 1v1 situation. I don't think we're going to see anything beyond a stalemate. Seth Curry has died in the 2v2, meaning that Guruk and rank 1 were able to get the better of that exchange. Nicely played from them. We saw them doing an excellent job the last time they were challenged 2v2. And I mean, honestly, I've been very impressed by these guys. Like Guruk and rank 1, we saw them camping mines, winning 2v2 after 2v2 against Darkpen's team. They're doing it here against potentially the very best in the grand finals.
Yep, really well done. Oz needs to get out of there as soon as possible. Seth Curry and Bailamos, they have backed up Loxatar on the zone. They can pick off Oz. That's going to be an opportunity for them to push forward and potentially take down Waterworks if they really wanted to. Kidney shot over on Oz with the Fury. Good burst damage. Oz is going to be trying to survive as long as he can in Ghost Wolf. And he's not really doing too bad in this situation. I think it is inevitable that he'll fall at some point given the situation. But that's when I want to see Seth Curry. Bailamos, they have to just hightail it into the fight at Waterworks and try to swing the advantage in their favor now that they have a numbers advantage.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll try win the team fight here. I mean, Loxatar was looking to leave a little bit, but then he saw Hamsham dropping low, immediately decided, hey, I'm not going to go for anything sneaky. I don't want to risk my other healer dying at the base. They do have a slight numbers advantage here since Oz is down, but since both teams have double healer, you know, Voa and Rook are sitting on full mana, I think it's very unlikely. That said, they do get the kill onto Grook. Now Oz isn't there, Grook isn't there. It's a 3v5 situation right now. It's still hard for them to actually win this fight since the double healer is sitting on the base, but they're trying their very best. Infernal coming out from Burn. He wants to push the advantage here. Ring of Peace, they're going everything on it, but Magnus is doing an excellent job denying any flag captures. He's sitting on that base like it's his grand final, life on the line.
Varen's in a lot of trouble. Chaos Bolt lands. Vo's in a lot of trouble. Varen getting a lot of significant damage off there, and this is a split res they do not want to have to deal with. Vo now fallen. It's all up to Rook. He needs to keep his team alive, but you can see Varen in the back line just spamming out Greater Power Blast. Is he going to be able to land another one? They shred through the Life Cocoon, 2 Greater Power Blasts, potentially 3. Rook hightails it out of there. Into the room, gets counterspell. Hamsham looking to cap the base, but that gets denied. Looks like they will be able to survive this positioning from Rook. I think ultimately will allow him to stall out the game long enough for Vo to really reconnect.
Yeah, you can see both these teams are playing on such a high level. A play that was made, I think, like 3 minutes ago or so now, is still having repercussions just because of how well Bailamos' team is pushing the advantage. It looks like they have just about managed to recover. Vo gets back into the fight, so the split res will be denied. Loxatar, though, he's getting a bit sneaky. You can see him moving towards mines, thinking about it. Maybe he's scared of some sort of ninja cap on Bailamos. Maybe he wants to make them think that Bailamos isn't there. Not entirely sure at this moment in time, but either way, looks like his team is doing just fine without him. 4v5. Hamsham, though, without a trinket, needs to be careful. Maldek's committed. This is the Astral Shift. DR stun comes in. Might be able to force the Spirit Link totem here. Doesn't look like it quite. Loxatar's back in the fight. Should be able to help keep him alive. He's still really low. The Swiftman comes in. He'll...
Yep, big Swiftman will stabilize Hamsham, and we are back in the situation. Frank 1, he's going to be defending Lighthouse. Bailamos, he's going to be defending mine. Seth Curry peels off. He uses the gateway, trying to just get over to this base. He's going to be moving forward, looking for a ninja cap in the situation. And Garuk, he's been a little bit slow to chase him down. They were really delayed on that, but I think with Garuk moving over now and Frank 1's ability to just use sap on Seth Curry if he really needs to, I don't really see Seth Curry being much of a threat at this point, and him peeling away and having this little 1v1 situation doesn't really net anyone an advantage. It kind of is just a neutral play at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that Seth Curry's going for it, though, because it feels like in the team fight it is a stalemate, and whenever Seth Curry goes for this, there's no real downside to it. His team doesn't lose anything in the fight since Grook leaves, and you always get this feeling that Seth Curry could make something happen. Rook actually has to come back here to keep Grook alive because Seth Curry is definitely winning the 1v1 this time. Rook, though, able to stabilize him. Once again, the Transcendence port was set up quite aggressively from Seth over onto the base of rank 1. Maybe they can get a little play here where they crowd control Guruk for a long period of time while Seth Curry peels off. That could be something interesting to watch.
Yeah, try to keep it locked down.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because he's a Moonkin, but, you know, a few fears, a few stuns. Guruk doesn't have a trinket right now. Could be something they look for.
Yeah, look at mana. I mean, Hamsham's mana still doing great. Loxatar's mana doing great. Vo and Rook falling a little bit behind, but they should be okay. Seth Curry looking for a solo kill right now on Rook. Can he do it? That would be complete miracle. Magnus coming in with a beautiful fear, defensive fear to keep Rook alive. Vo reconnects. There's going to be no kill opportunity there. Double Mortal Koa coming in from Burn, looking for a Chaos Ball. It gets paralysis on it. Nicely done by Rook, shutting down that damage. Baron moving forward to back him up with some greater Pyro Blasts. Not able to really find just more than one, and as a result, Rook and Vo will easily stabilize.
Yeah, big damage onto Magnus. This is a polymorph on him, though, so maybe a slight miscommunication between the Mage and the Warlock right now. Looks like they should be fine. They are keeping up the mana pressure, but I mean, we've seen this. This is half the Battleground now, you know. It's 790 out of 1,500 points. No one's broken the deadlock so far, so it doesn't feel like this team fight is going to have anything barring, you know, some big Earthshock from Oz or some big play. Loxatar dropping a little bit low. Actually, very low. Forcing out the Spirit Link there from Hamsham. Mana is looking fine on these two healers, though. They're getting quite aggressive. Magnus really able to push that advantage with the Arms Warrior, with the Sharpened Blade. Hamsham now the target of choice for a little bit here, but the Urban Shield Totem should be enough to keep him alive momentarily. So I'll try and ninja the base.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be really difficult to take down Hamsham. He goes in Ghost Wolf. He's essentially a tank with all the talents that really benefit Spirit Link. But Loxodar could fall. Beautiful setup coming in. Oz with lots of burst damage and a sharpened blade. Loxodar barely holding on, but he gets sniped. Guruk, Oz, Magnus, big burst. This is huge. Healer's been taken down. Now it's really up to Hamsham. What is he going to do? How is he going to survive? Guruk, in the meantime, getting caught in a lot of damage. Baron and Burn putting out significant pressure. Hamsham's just going to be using this big house to kite circles in Ghost Wolf. And if he can do that, he can just survive as long as possible. Bailamos is going to be moving forward to try to help them out. He's actually getting off the note. He realizes how important this fight really is. Hamsham, what are you going to do? He gets interrupted. If Hamsham falls here, it's going to be a complete disaster. But it does look like he might be able to hold on. Lockstar almost in a situation where he can keep it alive. He needs to heal up Baron as well. This is great pressure from S66, but I just don't know if it's going to accomplish much.
Yeah, I mean, they have big pressure, but they really need to get another kill. Lockstar's almost back. It was a really scary moment. Baron actually has Corduroy's procced. I thought they might be able to take him down, but looks like they will get away with murder here. Again, the game will tie up. I mean, this is the stalemate we expect, right? Like, in Arena, quite often the games end up going to dampening. There's no dampening in RBGs. The healer to DPS ratio in this 5v5 is even more favorable of long games, so they really have to pick their moments here. I think this fight has been fighting on and off for about 10 minutes now, based on the points that these two teams have acquired. Vo drops low. He's quite low on mana as well here. Could be a potential opening, but I mean, both these teams are in a complete gridlock, and I think the playmaker has to be Steph Curry. Like, if Steph Curry can run away, maybe he feels like his team is not stable right now, based on how close that was. He's trying to stop the drink from Vo right now. He recognizes that that's the biggest advantage his team has right now, is that one of the healers is completely out of mana. He's just chasing him down, making sure he doesn't get any, whilst the rest of his team goes after Rook.
Yeah, I think that's really intelligent play. You just have to track both of these healers, which can be difficult to do, but when you have an advantage like this... Oh, Hamsham almost actually ninja there! Ring of Peace coming in, denied that from Rook. Good awareness. That would have been a complete nightmare if Hamsham had managed to just sneak away with that cap, but with his positioning, it's not looking too bad for Team Bailamos. Both rogues still just... I can only imagine how many times they press their sap macro at this point in the game to make sure they're not getting ninja'd on.
Yeah. I mean, both of them are, like, this is the thing, like, they look like they're not really contributing, but I'm willing to bet with the pressure this high and the communication probably in the comms so heated, they're both, like, really, like, spamming buttons, like, trying to make sure they're not the one, because you don't want to be the one that gets sapped because you're, like, sitting in the same spot, you know, like, that would be the most horrific situation for your team to discover that you've lost your base. So neither of these rogues are going to take any chances. Loxodar actually is starting to... I feel like Magnus is starting to expose a weakness by just tunneling Loxodar. He's struggling to deal with it. The sharpened blade into the bear form, plus all this spell damage from Oz, is actually quite hard for the Restoration Druid to deal with. And Hamsham doesn't necessarily provide enough healing always to keep him alive. So Magnus has found a weakness and he's going after it. Does feel like Oz's team has the edge in this team fight most of the time. It's only really the Infernals from Burn that have been flipping it, and he doesn't have those for a couple of minutes. He used them quite recently, so...
Yep, Baron manages to land a greater Power Blast on Oz. Is he going to be able to secure a second?
Ooh.
Oz could go down, Chaos Bolt, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Ironbar connecting from Vo. Vo just completely tapped out mana. They're not letting him escape at any point in this match. If Rook goes out of mana as well, if Team Bailamos can keep up this pressure, keep the healers out of mana, it's going to be a really good situation they find themselves in. I don't know if they'll be able to deal with the damage of the Fire Mage and the Destruction Warlock. Hamsham looking for a cap right now, but Oz on top of him. Hamsham just threatening that over and over. Seth Curry peels away, Guruk in hot pursuit. I feel like we've seen this over and over again in this matchup, but Bailamos is the one who actually comes off his node. Seth Curry and Bailamos, they want the 2v2 rematch. They queued up again. It doesn't look like this is going to be the matchup they want to take. Bailamos is feeling a little bit scared. He's going to be going back to his flag.
Yeah, I think there must be really clear communication when Bailamos does push up as to whether his team or the enemy team are going to be the first ones to make it back to Mines, because that really is the risk, right? Like, as soon as he leaves the base, he needs to make sure his team has him covered. So if they say, hey, we're getting peeled, we're not going to be the ones to get there, he immediately goes back. And unfortunately for Seth Curry, that leaves him in this kind of 1v2 situation where he's like, hey, Bailamos, weren't you coming to help me? But most likely, might actually end up falling here. It's like Guruk is falling away a little bit. If they can get the kill here over onto Seth Curry, they might be able to have a small advantage. Maybe they can even push forward onto Bailamos' base, look for something there. But it looks like Seth Curry is not going to actually fall down. Drops a little bit low, but both these hybrids are just healing themselves up, Garruk and Seth Curry. The exchange has been made, and again, neither team able to break this gridlock. Both teams have healers with mana now. We're at 1,200 points almost out of the 1,500. Very real possibility this goes to a tie. I hope Toxic's ready.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens. Hamsham once again looking for a res. At this point, with the way these games are playing out, it seems like it just comes down to mistakes. But Garruk actually is going to get taken down. This is a nice attempt. Loxatar, he's going to be moving forward. They're trying to make a play. If they can loot the body, Seth Curry and Bailamos, they could move forward and take down Rank 1. They could cap Lighthouse. Bo in a bit of a panic. He's trying to escape. Loxatar in a great situation right now. Great position. This team, Bailamos, is going to be able to do it. How are they going to set up this cap? Almost just spamming out Phantom Knives. He does manage to get Rank 1 out of stealth. He's going to be able to get the sap. There's the full blind. Bailamos looking for a cap. He trinkets out. Shadowy duel. Now Seth Curry. He's going to cap. They might do it. He's so close. Garruk trying to shut it down.
He made it. Bo peeled off from the team fight. He was drinking, so that's how come he was able to get there faster than anyone else. He makes it back. That Moonfire, they could have been at maximum 1 second left. That was so well set up by Bailamos and Seth Curry. They queued up for that rematch, but it was not a fair rematch. Bo comes in, but it might not be over. Rook is completely tapped on mana in the team fight. He's without his other healer right now. If they can take him down after this life cocoon, this could actually be the edge that they needed. This could still spell victory for Bailamos. It's so close at this moment in time. Could easily be a tie. Rook, caught up in a fizz, managed to top himself somehow, though still not able to connect to him right now.
Wow. What a crazy, crazy turn of events. I cannot believe that it happened there. It's seriously a hero play. What just happened? Did they take it?
They ninja'd it from under them. Wait, really? No, there's no way. I didn't see. They actually managed to get it from Bailamos?
They actually did it. I can't believe it.
Rank 1 must have gone for the counterplay. Rank 1 must have gone for the counterplay after Bailamos went for that 2v2. I mean, we weren't looking at that, but I mean, somehow, some way, they have turned this from what should have been victory for Bailamos' team. Like, what was literally half a second away from it, though with the hero play. And then Oz and Rank 1, they just charged at Bailamos' base. They already had him out of stealth. I really need to see a replay of that because my camera was not on it, but that is the game winner. That's the grand finals for them.
That's it. All they need to do is hold on to one base and they win the game. They've done it. I can't believe it.
Yeah, we're like gobsmacked. It was like Seth Curry, insane. Bailamos, insane. Like, oh my god, they're gonna get it. They don't get it. And now Oz. I mean, we stopped talking about him for a couple of minutes, and he just ran right at Bailamos' base. Him and Rank 1 have maybe secured it for his team left. 150 points on the chart. 2 bases to 0 at this current time. Obviously, the Lighthouse will eventually go over to the Horde, but I mean, it's just too little too late. I mean, SX6, they're going to win the first Grand Finals.
Yep, they are going to win the first Grand Finals, barring basically a miracle at this point. Rank 1 with the Rank 1 plays, just really beautifully done. And I'm sure at this point they can't believe it because you can imagine how close Seth Curry was to capping that node. Like, it had to have been a half a second, a second at most. And if that would have happened, this game, this series, this tournament would have been completely different. So, well done by Bo.